The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. Ah! The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Stop! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sports! Hello, beautiful people. And welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this It's a Zoo Thursday, March 7th, 2024. This sports program starts now. Sports are fantastic. There's a lot going on in sports all around the sports world. We'll be chit-chatting about all of it, even a moose that wasn't field dressed properly that has punished a multiple-time Iditarod champion who has now got a 2-hour penalty because he didn't gut the moose properly in the eyes of the Iditarod committee. So, gonna have to talk about that because there's some drama and controversy in a dog sledding race happening an hour north of Anchorage, Alaska that has seemingly been happening for the last 1,000 years. Also happening in sports, business is making decisions for teams right now. Next Wednesday, 4 p.m., every single team has to be under the salary cap deadline that jumped $25 million this upcoming season. The biggest jump in salary cap history since the salary cap has been tracked, I think in 1994 is what we saw this entire thing. Now, was there a salary cap before that? Probably. I have no idea. I was 7 years old. But now, with what the salary cap was in 1994, $36 million. Upcoming year, it's 240.
55.4?
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah. The NFL has come a long way.
Yes, they have.
They have come a long way.
Unreal.
With that being said, there is still some people who are getting axed because their cap number was way too large in the eyes of the team who has to get underneath the salary cap by next Wednesday. Now, the Buffalo Bills made a lot of moves yesterday. They basically got all our friends.
Pretty much.
Right. Yep. A lot of them. All of them.
He's got rid of all of our friends on the team. Buffalo Bills looked at their roster and said, who has ever been on the Pat McAfee Show? We're going to cut him.
Get rid of them.
And that's why James Cook didn't say anything when he was on the show.
Right.
Yeah, James Cook came on the show, and he only said like 40, 50 words for an entire conversation. Upbeat, joyful. He knew what was coming potentially.
Yes, he did.
Mitch Morse, love this man.
Yeah, the best.
One of the best appearances on our show that any person has ever had.
Oh, yeah.
Plugged in, dialed in, tried to stir some great personality, and an absolute dog on the field. But if you look down below, $8.5 million is, depending upon who you listen to and who's keeping track of the contracts, that's how much money they're saving on the cap next year. The Bills are one of 8 teams that are above the salary cap still right now at this exact moment. Jordan Poyer. I didn't get the chance to play the handpan.
No.
The pan.
Yeah, the handpan.
The handpan.
Yeah.
The
cool drum.
I wear no shoes and socks and bang on this thing.
Yep.
He's like one of the most handsome guys, cool guys. His story's phenomenal. He's been a dog for the Bills for a long time.
Yep.
Last year was in a free agency, was looking around, ends up going back to the Bills. Was excited and thankful to go back to the Bills. I think he is going to give probably a very emotional thank you to Buffalo and everything that has happened if he moves on. There's going to be teams that are interested in all these guys, obviously, but Jordan Poyer, he's a good friend of the... Here he is. Here's a handpan.
There he is.
Crushing it.
There's a handpan right there.
No shoes.
That's Jordan Poyer. Got a meditation room in the building.
Yeah. Whatever team picks him up needs to...
Jordan Poyer cleared our chakras.
He did.
Right.
Live on air.
Yeah.
Good friend of the program. He's no longer with the Buffalo Bills, but if you look at the bottom there, that is the amount of money that they're saving.
Yep.
$5.7 million in the salary cap. Tre'Davious White, dog, $10.2 million saved on.
Ooh.
Deontay Hardy, wide receiver, $4.2 million. He had made some plays this year.
Oh, yeah.
Hardy made some real plays this year. People are going to want all these guys. And then Nyheim Hines, obviously, with the jet ski incident that happened last offseason, his season didn't get off to how anybody probably saw it goes. They say $4.66 million. Von Miller, who at one point, I believe, and it once again, these contracts are always so, you have no idea what's real and what's not real because agents are given a number, teams are given a number, the NFL, the NFLPA, salary cap, like, we don't know what's real, what's not real with anybody's contracts, but seems to be an overall agreement. I think he had over $10 million guaranteed coming up to him next year.
Wow.
So he restructures his contract down to below what his guarantee would be for next year. Like, that's an insane move for a future Hall of Famer to make.
For sure.
But we've heard Von Miller chit-chat about how much respect and appreciation he has for Brandon Beane. And Brandon Beane has told us how much he appreciates Von Miller. So I assume they just handle business. Von understands the situation and does all that. That's a big team move. Like,
oh, yeah.
That's a big, team move by Von Miller. Hey, good on you, Vaughn.
Vaughn.
I assume there's a lot of people in the NFLPA telling him you cannot do that. That is not good precedent for us to set going forward, that you're going to agree to less money after a year where you didn't perform your best that you're supposed to get so they can restructure their salary cap, that's their job. There's probably some people telling him that in the world. And Von Miller said, no, I like the Buffalo Bills. I would like the Buffalo Bills to be great. I'm okay. I've made enough and I keep him moving. I assume there's a lot of incentives for him to be able to get back and get way above that. Maybe some more motivation. Maybe he's excited about that. But that's a huge move by Von to say, hey, I'm here for the team. Taylor Rapp got extended. Mitch Trubisky got signed.
Nice.
And now there's conversation, obviously, about Josh Allen's contract being changed from a salary to a signing bonus so that they can prorate that entire number over the duration of his contract so you can cut his salary cap hit basically in half. This is the salary cap gymnastics that everybody's doing that I think Tom Brady and Bill Belichick maybe have started back in the day as the move.
Yep.
So there's a lot going on in Buffalo. They're not the only team, though.
True.
Denver Broncos just made a
Boy, oh boy.
massive move. I think whenever you think about these, like with the Denver Broncos right now,
Sure.
they got no quarterback.
Nope.
Wide.
They got no all-pro safety.
Wide.
That's a rebuild. That's a, hey, how you doing?
For sure.
Worse.
That's 31 other teams going. Justin Simmons is available.
Yeah.
Okay.
For probably relatively cheap money if Denver's going to have to pay. And Russell Wilson's available. For how much? Relatively cheap money because Denver is going to have to pay. It's like a wild time right now. And if you're a great player on the Denver Broncos, every other team is keeping an eye on what the move is about to be made over there. So good luck to Sean Payton and the vision in which he's trying to build the team. Good luck to all these players that are now entering free agency a week before most other teams. There's still 7 other teams other than the Buffalo Bills that have to get under the salary cap. We'll be excited to watch those moves take place. But that's the time of year we're in right now.
Yep.
And Con Man, one half of the Toxic Table at Boston Connor and Ty Schmidt. Con, we were just talking about before we went live. It's a beautiful time of year. You know why?
Why is that?
What's right around the corner, pal?
Free agency, baby.
And what does that mean?
It means the Patriots are going to get much better, but a lot of teams, of course, are going to get much better. And yeah, you look at that, and it is crazy to think that, the salary cap can be manipulated, first of all. Like, it is very easy to get under the cap. Like, those numbers, they look intimidating. Like, if you're a Chargers or Dolphins fan, like, oh, no, we're $18 million.
Saints
Excuse
were
me.
what?
We can't forget the Saints were 40, 80 million.
Yeah.
It might have been
over the
100s,
cap.
to be honest.
It was ridiculous. And they were, I believe, over the cap before they've made some moves. But this is the time of year that I love because it is front office season. This is where we get to see, hey, who's making moves? Who's in the front office that's earning their keep? Like, I feel like the Packers, that's one team that always does well, no matter what. Like, we were looking at that dead cap number, that the Broncos are dealing with. And number 3 right there, Aaron Rodgers. A lot of teams don't come back from that. The Colts with Matt Ryan, when they had to deal with that, they ended up with the number 4 pick.
Hell yeah.
Obviously, the Patriots are the number 3 pick. I'm not bashing that whatsoever. Packers had the third highest dead cap hit in the history of the NFL, and they go to the playoffs. So, like, there are ways.
You dotted it a bit, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No questions.
How about Goody?
Yeah.
I doubted him, too.
Well,
I doubted him very loudly. I was like, do we know if this guy has any clue what he's doing? And then you look a year later, it's like pretty historic what this team was able to accomplish, actually.
Incredible.
And the handoff of the baton from Brett Favre, that was a compliment. You played great football.
Yep.
You had the baton.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You started the race with the baton of, like, incredible quarterback play at Green Bay 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a compliment. Now that has been settled.
Yeah,
Right.
Clear.
he ran that baton. He was reckless with that baton.
He was very reckless.
I mean, he was.
That's why we loved him.
Yeah, he was wide open out there with that baton. Also a compliment. Also a compliment.
Yeah.
But then he handed that baton over to this, hippie character.
Yep.
And then he would just.
Yep. A little less reckless with the baton.
But then he grabbed that baton sometimes and started talking into it.
Yep.
And you learn a lot about the person that's holding it.
Get rid of this guy needs to get rid of the baton.
Some people started saying that.
They did.
Some people started saying that.
Pass it.
So then that baton gets passed to a guy who was dropped into one of the most uncomfortable situations. Like, just as somebody we were almost directly in the middle of that entire thing. And from the beginning, this is not Jordan Love's fault. Like, Jordan Love did not sign up for this. The draft kind of happens, and then he just steps up, and he's an absolute dog. I mean, what a time for the Green Bay Packers. And congrats to Goody, seemingly, and to the Packers. You got a guy for another 20 years, seemingly, with Goody.
Yeah.
His hair he looks young.
Yes, he does.
His hair flows well.
Great.
So he's just going to do this for another 20 years, seemingly. And look at you guys. You're in a good spot.
Yeah. I mean, this is actually very interesting because I think most Packer fans would say, like, during the Rodgers years, like, you always hope that they'd be uber aggressive during free agency because it was always, hey, one piece away. Like, any of these big marquee names would pop up and it'd be like, oh, okay, this would be awesome. If the Packers would just go out and get a guy like this. And they typically never did. Very similar to the Steelers. It was always just build through the draft. So now it's one of those situations where the Packers did everything they needed to do. They got much, much younger and obviously kind of expedited the rebuild window because they go to the playoffs right away with that super young roster. But you look at a couple of these guys, like safety is kind of a position of need. We have all these safeties. So, like, I don't know if they feel like they can maybe go get one of these marquee guys because they have such a young roster and they're not paying a premium price for a lot of these guys at very important positions that are getting paid a lot. So it is kind of weird as a Packers fan going into this free agency because everything kind of just seemed it's almost more
Too
so,
hunkadory.
A
little bit, but it's also they have a bunch of picks in the draft again. So it's kind of like, hey, if we could get one piece in free agency, that'd be great. But Goody, you address the draft and you go find a couple more
Goody, you do what
junkyard
Goody
dogs.
does.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Goody, you go do what Goody does.
Exactly.
That's an awesome thing to feel if you're in for, like, a lot of teams. By Monday, all these deals will be announced.
There you go.
Because they're already finished in Indianapolis pretty much at the Combine. So the first day of tampering period is actually the last day of free agency for the first wave of free agency. All the high-end, top-end, highly sought-after free agents, their deals are probably nearing being done already. So whenever those are announced, teams can have immense hope immediately.
Oh, yeah.
You bring in one big name, and you think maybe this changes everything. For instance, Jerry Dulac of Pittsburgh Post-Gazette.
Doing a long
Of
time.
course.
Okay, he's been around a long time.
Legend in the game.
Spells Jerry with a G. Okay, that's how long he's
That's
been
how
around.
you know.
Yeah.
Okay, Jerry with a G. 2 R's, obviously, name's Jerry, but with a G at the front instead of a J.
A little weird.
Now, we're not saying this guy, as Pittsburgh people and Yinzers, we're not saying Jerry Dulac is Ichiro in the batter's box.
Sure.
Okay.
Not hitting everything.
Not everything isn't you know what I mean?
Not spraying it.
Like, there has been a couple Jerry Dulacs going for a bomb.
Sure.
And boy.
Misses big time.
Yeah, we are nowhere.
Yep.
Some perk strikeouts.
And that's not because Jerry's just making things up. I think he's potentially misled, but he has been around Pittsburgh a long time, knows a lot of people.
Florio mentioned the other day. It's like,
Yeah,
hey,
Florio said, like, hey, when Jerry Dulac says something to me, now we have to reiterate the fact that Jerry has been wrong, but like not 1,000% batting percentage, which, nobody would have. But Pittsburgh guy is now saying that the Pittsburgh Steelers seemingly, this is what he's reporting, interested in Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson interested in Pittsburgh. They're going to have a meeting before free agency. That'll be before Monday. If he's $1.2 million as at quarterback, which is the league min in the vet min, he's in a free agency market now, right? Russell Wilson is now a free agent.
Yeah.
He can go wherever the hell he wants, and he knows what his salary is next year. I'm making $39 million next year. Okay, that's what I'm getting paid to play quarterback at some team. He can go date anybody he wants. Good for him. I hope he enjoys it.
Yeah.
I hope he enjoys the hell out of it. I hope he feels refreshed. I hope that whenever he hears teams that want him, confidence maybe comes back. Not that it ever seems like he lost it, but I hope it happens for him. If he was the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback over Kenny Pickett, one half of the hammer,
Dahn.
Cowboys, Tone Diggs. What do you think the response would be that? And does that team win if that takes place?
Well, I talked about it earlier in the week. He had 26 touchdowns and 8 interceptions last year. Like, that's a that's a really, really good year. It's like not these days as much, but like 26-8 is like MVP type numbers in the past. Not last year, obviously. I'm not saying he's an MVP or anything like that. But the Steelers threw 24 touchdowns in the last 2 seasons combined. So I do believe that Russ is an absolute definite upgrade, especially with your bringing in Artie Smith in, and if you're starting off of play action and starting with the run game, like I think Russ is actually like a perfect fit. Now, is that us?
For Pittsburgh too.
Wow, yeah.
If he wins,
Personality-wise?
all this stuff feels. Now, listen, Russell Wilson. I want to let you know, the city of Pittsburgh is the right city to have your back with the way you operate. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
With the way you are, if you win, they are the right city to have your back.
Ooh.
A bunch of, I don't want to say shit-talking, white trash yinzers, but yeah.
Sure.
So like, sorry. He's a perfect human being. We're sorry. And then immediately attacking Cleveland probably.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, then immediately going elsewhere. Like, Pittsburgh would be a good city for Russell Wilson to have on his back. So, because all the chirping that takes place about Russell Wilson potentially on the internet, Yinzers will come out and be like, "Wait, this might happen in Denver.
Yeah.
This isn't happening."
This is our guy.
He's winning games for us. Okay, so you can relax. Now, if he loses, though,
baby,
that'll be a quick stint. That'll be very loud, very quick. I think.
The Halloween costume Tone Diggs might have on.
No.
You kidding me?
By October.
Yeah, by October 31st, when Tony might have to dress up as on Halloween.
So we're saying Pittsburgh, the city, as a, and a lot of talk about culture today around sports media, which we will definitely dive into in a moment because we're right in the middle of it with our friend of the program, Dalton Schultz, coming on yesterday. But like Pittsburgh, the culture, if you win, it'll be amazing. If Russ goes in there and people think Kenny Pickett's an upgrade, Kenny Pickett went to Pitt, he's there, kind of how last year went with Matt Canada, then he gets hurt. And if Kenny Pickett plays well or shows any glimmer of hope, and then Russell Wilson goes in there and doesn't play great, it'll be loud.
Yeah.
But if Russell Wilson goes in and wins,
Yeah.
that is the perfect city for him. Mike Tomlin, probably perfect coach for him, because Mike Tomlin will also talk shit for Russell Wilson.
And he's not going to chew him out on the sideline.
Bingo.
That is not a Mike Tomlin move. He's a player's coach. I do think it's a good fit. I honestly really, really do, if that were to be the case. And it's not us giving up on Kenny or whatever, but it just hasn't worked out so far, whether that's the OC or Kenny or whatever. But Russ has won a Super Bowl. He had a statistically really good year last year and showed, like, that was a terrible situation that he did that in last year too. Like, as far as, when did it come out? October, that they were like, hey,
after the bye, October, I think.
And to do that, I think it's good. I would be happy. I think most Yinzers would be happy because there are Yinzers on the internet, but a majority are, they know what they know, and they know Russ as the Super Bowl winning quarterback. I don't think they know a lot of other stuff that's gone on. They would embrace Russ with open arms.
I think so too. And listen to these conversations that are taking place. Pittsburgh Steelers maybe have Russell Wilson as quarterback, and you can see the gleam in Diggs' eyes as he's starting to cook it. He's like, Arthur Smith has never really had, doesn't matter.
Ever.
At quarterback position. Seemingly. Now in Atlanta, it did matter. He ended up getting fired as a head coach. Yeah. But Tannehill also on the market, right?
Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill also on the market. And Ryan Tannehill had some great years, great football, great athlete. We get it. But it's like with Russell Wilson and Arthur Smith, with Naj running potentially, Derrick Henry also on the market. Not saying we're getting the old gang back. But I'm just saying, like, the thought of Arthur Smith being like, okay, so I got a guy at least that can put the ball where
some throws.
Right where he needs it to put it. We can assume he's going to do that every time.
Would I be happy if Russ was $25 million? Probably not. Okay.
Bingo. That doesn't matter.
But 1.5, yeah. That's
even $5 million. Like, if there becomes a bidding, if there comes a bidding war, where it's like, we'll pay you. It doesn't matter because nobody's going to get above 39. So he's getting that money anyways.
Is he signing a 2-year deal or a 1-year deal, you think?
Well, I would think that Russ would want at least.
So how much money would it end up being?
In the second year?
Because it wouldn't be 2 years, $2 million.
Broncos are covering both years, right?
They have dead cap. I don't know if they're covering both.
How much is guaranteed in the?
I thought the 39 was just the first year.
Anyways, this time of year is all about the salary cap gymnastics and figuring it out. That's why you'd be happy with Russell Wilson because it's like, he's only $1.2 million.
You can bring in other pieces.
Yeah, you can build it up. But like Russell Wilson's a free agent right now. He's doing the dating. That's why this time of year is fantastic. This time of year also brings some, some sad times.
Yeah, for sure.
The end of some times.
Right.
Now, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end, of course. But up in Buffalo, there was a lot of some other beginnings, endings just yesterday.
That's right.
Joining us now as we dive a little deeper, as we look into the weeds a little bit, as we try to go boots on the ground as opposed to always being the national zoomed out doofuses or something. It's time to feel the beat.
Sped it up a little there.
Yeah, I felt a little juice. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This man is the host of the Extra Point Show, 10 to noon on WGR 550.
Hell yeah.
He's also the Bills beat and sideline reporter, friend of the show, Paisano, Sal Capaccio.
Yay!
Sal, how are you, baby?
I'm great. I missed you in Indianapolis, my brother. I was there for a while. I think you got there a little bit after me, but I was excited. Thought we could kind of meet up, do a bro hug or something like that, but that'll happen soon.
Sal, unlike you, we are not a smart professional outfit. We scheduled our break during the time that everybody that we cover is coming to our city. So It was a mistake. That's on us, Sal, and we appreciate you hoping to at least meet. We need to make that happen because we're incredibly appreciative of you. Let's talk about the Bills, Sal.
Yeah.
Every one of our friends on the team, except for you, got cut yesterday for salary cap moves. What are your thoughts on this? Obviously, next Wednesday by 4 p.m., they have to be under the salary cap. But, like, when you think about some of these massive names to the culture and the pillars of the team, what are your thoughts on the decisions that Brandon Beane had to make, and how do you think Buffalo Bills fans are taking them?
Well, let me start with, I don't think it's hyperbolic at all, guys, to say that this was a historic day in franchise history. I had people comparing yesterday to me to the day back in 2000, I think it was, the day they released on one day, Bruce Smith, Thurman Thomas, and Andre Reed. Now, look, I understand that those guys went to Super Bowls and they accomplished more as a team. I get it. But that's the kind of day it was for the Buffalo Bills and their fans. You're talking about pillars and cornerstones of this organization over the last 6-7 years since Sean McDermott took over and what they've accomplished. They're the second most winning team in the NFL since then. Obviously, the Chiefs are first and the Chiefs have Lombardis. The Bills don't. So I understand it's not completely apples to apples, but it was a historic day. As far as how the fans are feeling, well, I did my morning show this morning. I was on the morning show at WGR this morning, and I asked, Bills fans to basically describe it. And most of the fans actually responded in some way with, it was necessary, it was needed. Like, nobody's happy about losing these players, but the Bills, it came time for them to start a new iteration of them. They're still trying to win with Josh Allen his prime, and with that comes some really tough decisions. It's a sad day, but I also think that a lot of Bills fans are really looking forward to what they may be able to do going forward to kind of reset it a little bit here.
Well, I assume friend of the program, Brandon Beane, and the boys over at the Bills. What is the Bills' address? Do they have like an address that they're described by the rest of the Buffalo?
One Bills Drive.
Okay, so I'm assuming everybody at One Bills Drive was very happy to hear your morning show this morning, where fans were like, instead of killing them. Not only about the bison only being 16 feet tall,
right,
of course,
but also about because those types of moves can go two different ways with the public. Whenever you get all those guys pretty popular, I'd assume, and Bills fans are very thankful for. And when they've been there for as long as they've been there, you don't want to obviously you have to make decisions that your fans aren't going to like, but you don't want to turn them off either. You don't want to piss them off and make them think anything. So the fact that they're being sensical about it, I assume One Bills Drive is thankful for it. Let's talk about One Bills Drive. What does this mean for the future now? So how do they replace all these incredible players? What do you think the thoughts are? Free agency's coming up. Obviously, they're not able to spend big money. Are they looking for veterans? Do you think that they're going to try to pay cheap? Do you think... I think there's 11 draft. I don't know 10. How many? I don't know how many draft picks. A lot of draft picks, I think. What are your thoughts on how they're going to go forward now? And can the team win still? You think?
Well, as long as you have 17, you can win, right? I mean, I think that it's nonsense that suggests the Bills' Super Bowl window is closed.
Hey, that's everywhere this morning, Sal.
Yeah.
That was everywhere this morning, Sal. That was everywhere.
Well, I know people say that, but look, I mean, the fact is, we know a couple things. Sean McDermott is going to really coach up that defense, even with all the injuries last year. Say what you will about having a defensive head coach instead of an offensive head coach and how that can kind of change the dynamic of the offense. The one thing is that we know Sean McDermott is very, very good defensive mind and coach. Did a ton of injuries last year, and they're still one of the best defenses in the league. We also know that this is the opportunity for Brandon Beane with you're You're right, actually, Pat. They have 10, but it will be 11 once they get a comp pick from the Tremaine Edmonds, losing him last year. Gotcha. So there you go, my man.
Do my research.
But while I was out in Indy, where I didn't see you, Pat McAfee, Brandon Beane actually did say, to me, he sounded like a guy who was much more optimistic about their salary cap situation than what we make it out to be. And obviously, he knew these moves were coming. Now, they're getting close to where they need to be. The Tre'Davious White move doesn't save them anything until June 1st anyway. They're going to restructure Josh Allen, I would think. That's going to get him another probably close to $20 million. They're going to have some money to play with. Now, the question is, do they use that money? Can they go big game hunting? I don't think so. They will look for some bargains, but I do think there's room to get a guy who maybe they can say, look, we'll put some void years on it. We'll spread the cap out. We really need you. But, man, those 11 draft picks they're going to have, Pat, they have never been shy about trading around and even moving up. And I wonder if this is the year where the Bills say, heck with it. I'm going to go and move up and get the wide receiver we want. They've been talking a lot about explosive plays, adding that to the offense. And on top of that, they met with more wide receivers at the NFL Combine than any team met with wide receivers.
Mad Mel told him that. I think that was what when I heard Mad Mel talking to Brandon Beane, that was one of the things he was speaking directly at him, not letting Brandon Beane talk about. Going and moving one of the 11 draft picks, feel good about that.
Nailed it.
To move up is good. That's a lot of ammo to make a move in the draft. You talk about Josh Allen restructuring for $20 million. How about Von Miller restructuring? Do you think the Buffalo Bills fans realize that? I think he was supposed to get more guaranteed money next year than the new restructured deal that he agreed to. So normally these things are turned into like signing bonuses, and you're not really losing out on money. And the way it was like initially reported was like, restructures his contract for the good of the team. What a hero here. When really you're just getting money that you're supposed to get over the next 12 months on one day, and then it's able to be spread out over the next 4 years. Von Miller actually takes guaranteed pay cut here to restructure his deal that a lot of people thought was huge, I think, immediately upon being announced whenever he went to Buffalo. Do the Buffalo Bills fans realize that? You think that he did that? And what do you think that means about Brandon Beane and Von Miller's relationship in this entire thing?
Yeah, we actually had some calls and tweets come in today that said, hey, I know that Bills fans are kind of, down on Von and he didn't have a productive year, but man, kudos to him for doing this because he did. He took a straight pay cut, it seems like here, guys. I mean, he took the guaranteed money and said, okay, well, a lot of that I can earn back in incentives. But if I'm going to do that, then we're going to be better as a team and we're obviously going to accomplish a lot. I wonder, and I don't know this, I wonder if Brandon Beane went to Von Miller and said, look, if you don't do this, we might have to release you. And then Von said, coming off the injuries, the fact that he's his age, would he even get that much money on the open market? I don't know. But the bottom line is he did take a pay cut. It's going to save them about $8 million on the salary cap this year, but he's going to have the chance to earn that back in incentives. And as far as their relationship, as you guys know, Von wants to be a general manager in the NFL. He has made that very clear to us. I can only imagine the conversation of Brandon Beane going to him and going, hey, Von, want to be a general manager? You got to have these kinds of conversations with guys like you sometimes. This is what happens.
Well, yeah, well, not bad leverage, too, if you're a GM and you're Von Miller trying to negotiate somebody's deal and say, when I was at my end of my
Yeah, true.
Like, I already made enough money.
Look at this.
Just like you have. I have. Now it's time to go on it, for the good of the team so we can build. That's not bad leverage later, if that is the move in that entire thing. Buffalo Bills are going to look different next year. How different, though, not only with those mentioned? Go ahead, Con, man.
Yeah, Sal, very happy to hear that people called into your show about Von Miller because the only thing I see on there is how much Buffalo hates him. So just to know that there are callers supporting him still is great news. Dowdy still wants to be a GM after yesterday in Buffalo. But some of the guys that, explosive
You're
plays,
saying those conversations would suck if you're a GM.
I'm saying Von's probably looking around like, oh, my God, I love these guys. And Brandon Beane loves these guys. And he has to tell them all to go to hell?
I mean, that is real to think about, like how miserable of a day yesterday probably was for that in one Bills drive.
Bingo.
Yeah. One Bills drive yesterday.
Especially how good the vibes are at all times up there.
Seemingly.
Yeah, seemingly.
From every time we've called it.
Pending cryptic tweets. But looking forward, you mentioned... Pending. You mentioned explosive plays. Stephon Diggs, he's one of those guys that can produce them. And then obviously Gabe Davis, his time during that last game as he left the field wasn't as ceremonious, if you will, as I think everybody thought it would be. Do you think there's a chance that the Bills bring him back? You mentioned moving up in the draft as a possibility, but do you think they will look to try and keep a guy like that, or because the price that he'll probably warrant in free agency, he won't be coming back to Buffalo?
I do think the there's a chance. I do think the Bills would like to bring Gabe back, but they're going to have a value on him. I think that he'll get more on the open market, and Gabe knows that, and he's earned that right, as everybody likes to say, and good for him if he gets that. But I will tell you guys, Gabe Davis loves Buffalo. He was a team captain at 24, 25 years old, I think it was last year. He's a guy that he has roots here now. I think he'd like to stay, so he might have to weigh, what those options are as far as how much money. But I don't know if the Bills can come close to what other teams are going to be willing to offer, because I think the Bills are going to be looking to kind of have a little bit of something different. But Gabe as a player, Gabe, what he means to this organization, Gabe's DNA, the Bills love him. I think they would absolutely take him back if the price was right. But, you see Mike Evans getting, re-signed, and you see Michael Pittman in the tag and T. Higgins. That wide receiver market is dwindling as far as names. So you got to move Gabe up there a little bit more. And I wonder what his market holds. That being said, Brandon Beane said he still believes Stephon Diggs is a number one wide receiver. He didn't say we got to get more weapons for Josh Allen. He said we got to get more weapons around him so teams don't take him away as much. So I think that's a really big indicator that they're looking for somebody who can take the top off a little more explosive plays. They talked about Rack. Not that they don't think Gabe is a good player. I think they really do. I don't know if that's quite the skill set. So it would have to really be the kind of deal that would be friendly for the Bills. I think Gabe would be very open to coming back and the Bills, but I just don't see how that fits money-wise.
What did Gabe? He had a 80 or 90 or what was it?
Two of them.
ago.
Yeah. Against Pittsburgh 2 years ago. Yeah.
We said we would donate. If it was 75?
75 or
Last
longer.
year wasn't.
Think about how hard it is to have a 75-yard play, because where the team has to be, you're only going to have like one or two plays there.
Yeah.
To even.
And it was a 98-yarder that day. We're at the 2-yard line.
There it is.
And that's the thing about Gabe. You remember that play, but he's not a burner, but he separates downfield. He's a tough guy to kind of analyze. He's really near the top of the league in yards per catch, but it's not because he just takes the top off and runs straight line speed. He's a bigger guy. He gets a little separation. There's some inconsistencies in catching. So, yeah.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, everybody wants more weapons these days.
Always.
The only issue with the wide receiver market is, obviously, talk about franchise tag and stuff like that. These younger wide receivers are coming into the league being better.
Filthy.
Than ever before. Like, these young wide receivers from 7-on-7 in high school and 1-on-1s on the internet, their catch radiuses are absurd. And contested catches, they love.
Yep.
That is something that this generation is almost been training for all the way through high school, through the content era. In my eyes, I think that has benefited it. But young wide receivers and then the top end wide receivers are going to be the ones.
Pat, can I say, I think you're so right, because I've said on my show, if you go to a random Pop Warner game on Saturday, high school game on Friday night, all these 7-on-6, all these spread offenses these teams are running. But when we were growing up, running back was the cool spot. That's where all the athletes played. Now it's wide receiver. And now they have a good, 10, 15 years of all these rules in the NFL. And honestly, I think wide receiver is almost like the new quarterback, where you got to get these guys on rookie contracts. The market is exploding so much. And now if you can get 2 or 3 of them on your team, it's going to really help you build around that.
Yeah, we think that the wide receiver market is going to go, you have your rookie contract to prove whether or not you're a guy.
Yep.
If you're a guy, you're going to get paid absurd.
Yep.
You're going to get paid quarterback type money. If you're not a guy, it's going to be tough, because the young guys are coming in, and it's going to be the same exact thing. Diggs dropped in my ear while you were talking there about the wide receiver.
What's his last name? Khalil Shakur?
Yeah, he came out of nowhere. He was everywhere, seemingly there for a good 4-week stretch.
Yep.
He was kind of everything, young guy. Ty Schmidt has a question for you, Sal.
Yeah, Sal, speaking of Stephon Diggs, it seems like every offseason, in terms of the cryptic tweets and all that kind of stuff, whether it's real or created, everyone always kind of wants to create some big problem between him and the Bills. A couple years ago, to your point about them bringing in other talent around him so teams can't take him away, it was kind of the, hey, he's not getting the ball enough. He wants to be, after the playoff game when he went crazy and dismiss the media and all that kind of stuff. Is everything good in terms of the relationship between the Bills and Stephon Diggs right now? Because it is kind of that time every year you can, set your watch to it. It's okay, what kind of new news is going to come out about Stephon Diggs being unhappy in Buffalo?
Well, it seems like it, because there hasn't been any cryptic tweets yet that we know of, right? But who knows? That could wind up happening. But what did happen was he went on Kay Adams at the Super Bowl, and he talked about how, well, you never know. I'm ready for anything, whatever happens. And that always kind of opens the door for, what do you mean, whatever happens? Are you not committed? And I think just from being around Stefan over the last few years, Stefan knows this is a business. He knows that any moment, look what happened yesterday, guys. Guys like Mitch Morris, Jordan Poyer, Tre'Davious White, at any moment. This is a guy that got traded once in his career. So I just think he approaches every day thinking anything can happen in my career. But as far as the relationship, we haven't had any of that stuff happen. I will tell you, Stefan Diggs and Josh Allen are very good friends. They know that they're very good for each other. They're friends off the field. But there's always going to be that speculation because Stefan Diggs never comes out and ends the speculation directly because I think he just always knows that anything can happen in this league, and I don't want to be painted into a corner, and I got to be ready for anything to happen. But as far as the Bills and possibly what could happen in the future with him and his contract, there's really nothing they can do. I mean, even though you see all these moves, that would be a massive, massive dead cap hit that they're not willing to take on for their number one wide receiver. And I believe Brandon Beane when he says that he still believes he's a number one wide receiver and he's got to get him a little bit of help.
People in the NFL are taking $85 million in dead cap hits
I know.
these days.
That's amazing.
That's what people are doing these days. They're saying, you know what? Yeah, I'll pay $85 million, get this guy out of my face.
Why not?
Yeah, I'm done with it.
Whatever.
I am done with it. Let's move along. It's a crazy time in the NFL right now. As the salary cap continues to grow, people are still, kind of suffering from the consequences of spending, and guys are getting cut. But let's transition away from the team itself, and let's talk about what surrounds it.
That's right.
Amen.
Tom Diggs has a question for you, Sal.
Yeah, Sal.
Yep.
In our America right now, okay, Bill Belichick, coach of greatest dynasty of all time, has to go to college football camps to be a coach right now. Okay, something to think about there. Court storming. Kids are going to federal prison for court storming right now.
Yep.
Okay, I'm watching PBR. That's professional bull riding, and these kids are wearing helmets.
That's right.
Okay,
That's right.
And then yesterday, I hear that the Buffalo Bison outside of the new stadium are only going to be 16 feet tall. What is happening in our America right now, Sal?
Sal,
Shouldn't those bison be closer to 30, 40, 50 feet tall? What's the reaction in Buffalo to the bison right now, okay?
All right, so let me start with, first of all, I stormed the court at what was the Carrier Dome one time.
that baby,
Arrest him.
Syracuse,
Arrest him now!
I'm a court stormer. I tell my 10-year-old son, one day I want you to storm a court and FaceTime me and let me know
Hell
about
yeah.
it. I'm going to be right there with you, buddy, okay?
You
So I'm okay with that.
prison.
Enjoy the experience. All right, now, I actually went to what we call the stadium experience here in Buffalo, which is where you saw some of these videos coming out. I had a personal tour of what's happening here to show everybody about the new stadium, which is going to be phenomenal.
personal
and amazing.
tour.
Like
Sal Capaccio, the
These,
Buffalonian brother.
Yeah, I don't know much about bull riding, but I can tell you about bisons. Oh, look, they're going to be big no matter what. They're still actually going through the process of it. And the way it was kind of explained to us, the bigger you get, the less detail you can have, the more it's like not seeing the forest through the trees.
That
Plus,
doesn't make sense.
guys, they want to have this thing as like a destination. People can go take pictures. You want to have something that you can actually be able to do that with. But at the end of the day, I know that people want the most incredible bisons ever outside the stadium, and I get it. But holy cow, the main attraction is going to be a beautiful new stadium in Orchard Park, New York in 2 years. And I don't think anybody's going to care much about the Bisons once they see what this stadium's going to be, because I got a chance to see it, and it's amazing.
Okay, valid. Because we can't see that stadium yet. And when SoFi came in, everybody was like, damn. Okay.
Place is awesome.
Yeah, it's like, that's a very nice thing. So now granted, the idea not to put a roof on SoFi,
Stupid.
but have like a
Open canopy.
We got a really decorative tarp that hangs over the top of this thing.
Bingo.
Now, if there's any lighting, though, shut it down.
Done.
Shut it down. So that was certainly something we learned like maybe a year or two after SoFi rolled out, because we thought this is the perfect setup. So we don't have that moment with the Buffalo Bills new stadium. What we do have is the hope that these bison are just going to be
Massive.
just huge.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think 16 feet is massive. And you said you want people to take pictures with these things. What we're worried about, just because we are assholes, immediately, first thought is, do you know how many drunks are going to be climbing to the top of these things and jumping on top of them because they are 16 feet? Are they gonna, and it is up on a little raised
pedestal deal.
so there might be like
As they
20
should
feet
be.
at the top of that whole thing. Maybe it's getting bigger
Okay.
by the moment here, but is there a worry that Bill's Mafia is going to be doing shooting star presses off the top of these things through tables in Buffalo? And I assume they're going to address that.
Listen, I'm sure they're going to have plenty of security there, guys, for sure, because we all know what happens at Bills games and tailgating and Bills Mafia. Let me tell you, though, it's really interesting you talk about that, because I heard for years, they're going to want to get rid of tailgating. They're going to want to just get people there and not do all the shenanigans and go inside and buy their beer. We love tailgating here so much in Buffalo. This new stadium is actually going to have bigger parking lot spaces with room to put a tent behind your car to tailgate more.
Oh, my God. That's the story.
Yeah, perfect.
Hey, that's the story. 16, 20-foot bison.
Bravo.
Old news.
Yep.
Actually designing parking spots to
Yes.
be bigger so that people can show up earlier and stay later to celebrate the Bills. Hey, that's good shit.
That's bravo. That's well done.
That is. We respect that.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
touche.
That's a
Wow, that should have been the headline.
It should
Forget
have.
the bison. Yeah, we got bigger parking spots.
Hey, Sal, thank you for making today better for us, pal. We appreciate that.
You got it, guys. Anytime. You know I love being on with you. Next time we'll catch up for sure, whether it's Indy or somewhere else, my man.
Okay, you know what? We'll come up to Buffalo, brother.
Yep.
yeah. Check
I
out
love
this
it.
parking spot.
I love it.
Yeah, we will check out these
Check
parking
out the
spots.
bison.
Have to.
You know what? Mitt's actually going to live in a tent in the parking spot.
Yep.
Boom.
All season.
All season long.
Start to finish.
We appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. Sal Capaccio. That's the news.
That's
Oh,
huge.
yeah.
Legit.
Revolutionizing tailgating.
Yeah.
Because everybody else is trying to get smaller so they can charge more people for spots.
Bingo.
Yes.
So if you happen to drive a truck or an SUV, it's like, it is very, especially if you got a baby
Oh yeah.
and
It's a nightmare.
put in a car seat and you got to get car seat out.
No way.
That's a real problem.
Yeah.
And I thought I was saving the world when I got my car. Remember?
Yeah. Of course.
And then a lot of stuff came out after.
Correct.
Well, I mean, certainly seems like for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction in everything.
Sure.
Even opinions and thoughts and savings of the world.
Right.
I got the big Hummer EV because it looked cool and it could drive sideways.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Crab
Crab
walk.
walk.
And I was saving the world. And I was saving the world.
You
remember?
were. Yeah.
I was saving the entire world.
Yep.
No more gas.
Boy, were we wrong.
Well, there's certainly been some things, I guess, that have come out, and
Oh, there's been more.
I will still grandstand. There's more things that have come out, but I will continue to grandstand. I was saving the entire planet.
I saw one of the
sorry,
major
Captain
parts,
Earth.
but
Okay,
he's
I don't know what to tell you guys, but like it's big. So parking places is impossible.
A nightmare.
It is actually, and then got Mackenzie in car seat or whatever. It's like, so you got to open it to get that out, because you inside. The amount of times I've had to do
Need 3 spots, pretty much.
the amount of times 3, that would be a big.
I'm saying your car.
Yes,
Like
but
legit.
I am so sick of doing this one here.
Oh, yeah.
Hold the door.
Door dinging someone else's car.
Trying not
Yeah,
to.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
I am trying not to because I think that is like the rudest thing of all time, especially if you just keep it moving and not tell them. So the amount of times I'm doing this number here.
Yep.
And then like falling out pretty much and then shutting it.
Oh, it's impossible.
And it's like, why'd you do that? Oh, they did that so they can just shove 1,000 more spots in here.
Yeah.
Cash.
It's like this thing definitely got smaller. Like this is certainly not how this is always. There's no way this is how big parking spots have always been. As cars are getting bigger, my car's saving the earth big. Okay,
Well,
I don't even know.
Again, we should be easy on saving the earth, okay?
That's what I was told.
Your car is helping with the emission of fossil fuels.
Yeah, but I was told I was saving the earth. Forget the classification that you're putting it in.
I'm just saying.
I was told I was saving the earth. So I bought it strictly so I could show up somewhere and tell Nick Moraldo that I'm saving the earth.
Yep.
That is literally the only reason why I got it.
Well, people say there's an overpopulation problem, so you're helping out there too. All the people mining the batteries, they're certainly
Okay,
dead.
all right.
true.
Okay.
There you go. That's a good spin.
Point too.
It's a good spin.
Hold the phone.
Anyways, let's move. That was disgusting.
We also get spoiled with our parking. I mean, we have this massive 500 car parking lot out here, and we got 12 cars. So you can kind of just, it's beautiful. You pull in and.
I do appreciate the fact that Dirty since day one has been like, where is there not a
Yep.
spot?
Great mom.
And I'm gonna make day one.
Yep.
And it has been sweet.
Yeah.
I saw that the other day. I pulled my thing right up. I mean, I'm about to run. I'm
As you
four
should.
wheeling a little bit.
Yeah. Well, how else are you going to use the crab walk feature?
Bingo. You see that thing? I turned
Oh,
that
yeah.
thing.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I feel so cool. Can never use it anywhere else. Not as cool as you would have thought. Like
Sure.
when I bought that 3D TV.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yep.
thought that was.
It was the best thing ever.
I walked into Best Buy on what we'll say was about 90 milligrams of smoke. Okay. Back in the day, it wasn't being measured that way. It
Right.
was, the whole thing. I walk in there, the first thing they have right in front of you, the thing you're not supposed to buy, the thing that they're trying to get you to buy,
Exactly.
was this brand new 3D TV. They strapped me into these things, and I was like, what's the biggest one you got? Like $8,000 or something.
Oh, yeah.
Bring it out here now.
Never
Absolutely.
expected to sell that thing, ever.
And not one time.
No, no.
$7,400 or something like that?
Yep.
Give it to me. Need it.
Yep.
Absolutely
Those
need
things
it.
had a good run.
Aquatic vehicle.
There's like 4 movies that are 3D.
Yep.
You watch those each one time, and one of them sucks.
Yep.
And then you're done.
Yeah.
There's really nothing
Lose
else.
the glasses second weekend.
Break them.
Yep.
Potentially
Yeah, sit on 'em.
accidentally sit on them.
Oh, it looks
That's
like
like a newer version of them. That's a newer version. They used to be like...
Oh, yeah.
Like the paper one?
It's like I'm putting on a virtual reality kit.
Yep.
To watch the TV pretty much. It was the biggest waste of money of all time. Like, you're not supposed to do that.
No.
Yeah, there's a lot of dumb shit, but the Buffalo Bills making those spots bigger. I mean, phenomenally smart. I appreciate that. You know, and if I don't want to get into, and I don't know enough about anybody's politics to dive into it. Remember, the governor opened up the bars
Earlier. Yeah.
whenever they were playing in Buffalo. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That city, like they like football. Like they love football. They appreciate football. And I think that also feeds into the fact that their response has been like, yeah, this is necessary. Not a lot of cities would have that response, I don't think, Tone Diggs.
No, I think the blue-collar football cities would.
You think Pittsburgh would respond that way with that? Maybe, right?
With the open up the bars, right?
No, I'm talking about the cuts of the teams, of the players.
Yeah, they okay, so they haven't cut the pillars that the Bills did, but they've made cuts this year that the fans were super, super happy about. I mean, there's been times in the past where guys have been cut. It depends. Like, it would be a 50-50 thing, I think, today, as far as, like...
It's whether or not you trust the organization, right? I think it's an organization trust meter.
Steelers fans highly trust the organization.
Okay, so, like, they'll do that. Buffalo seems like that's the case. I would assume Green Bay now trusts the organization.
Absolutely.
When Bill is running it for however long it was, like, trust the organization.
No matter what.
He would cut great players.
Yeah.
He would get rid of Hall of Famers.
Yep.
He would get rid of, like, pillars of community. That Bill Belichick would do that on a very regular basis.
Young guys, too, who would be pillars if they stayed.
And I think, like, in the GM football world, they're all like, if I did that, I would get run out of town.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that guy has won Super Bowl every other year pretty much for the last decade and a half. So if you can do that, go ahead and do it. It's like Patriots fans were just like, yup. And everybody else in the NFL was almost like, Bill knows.
Yeah,
Bill
exactly.
knows what he's doing.
I actually...
Feels like that's how Bills fans are viewing Brandon Beane and team. They should feel very good about that, I think.
I think just from experience, I think fans get more upset when you hold on to guys too long versus cutting them, you know, whether it's a year or so early or whatever. I feel like fans are actually get more upset when they hold on to guys too long. And the whole, like, window is closed for the Bills thing, I think a window is closed for the Bills. I don't think the window is closed. I think a window with that team has closed, but you still have Josh Allen, so I don't think the window is closed.
Okay, let's move away from the Buffalo Bills. And Sal Capaccio, we love you. This Jerry Dulac article in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette linking the Russell Wilson Pittsburgh Steelers thing. Once again, because people might only see this clip and they might just have tuned in, potentially wherever you are, Jerry Dulac has been covering the Pittsburgh Steelers for a long time in Pittsburgh. From Pittsburgh, me, Tone Diggs from Pittsburgh, Big Nick back there is from Pittsburgh. So we understand Jerry Dulac in the Post-Gazette and everything like that. Been around. And the Steelers obviously are huge in Pittsburgh. Jerry Dulac has connections. He has not been right 100% of the time. No. Okay, he has been wrong before, so it's not necessarily a guarantee. But he was saying that the Pittsburgh Steelers and Russell Wilson have showed a lot of interest in each other. They're actually going to meet before free agency opens up. Now, Mike Tomlin takes a lot of trips. Goes to every workout, every pro day, every combine, every dinner. Right. He's very involved with a lot of things, as obviously Omar Khan, who they call the con artist, who gets deals done in a fashion that benefits the Pittsburgh Steelers sometime, the new GM. So it's like, are they just doing their due diligence, or is there actual real interest, which Jerry Dulac is reporting of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, that Russell Wilson also interested. Then he released an article. He said, article coming soon. In article in Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Jerry Dulac, who's been covering the Steelers for a long time, he says, hold the phone. Don't look now. Does Russell Wilson own Acrisure?
Yep.
And Pittsburgh is Acrisure. Russell Wilson's on a board with Acrisure people. Russell Wilson is attached from a very business standpoint to the people of Acrisure. Is that right?
Yeah, this is a different company, but is a company that is tied to it's Evolution Advisors, but it is tied to Acrisure. There's a paragraph that I sent in from the article about it. But yeah, so Russ is based But Russ is basically a Steeler, is what I'm reading for here.
Because he's in business with Acrisure.
I mean, if you're just going to connect the dots. He also says in this article that Russ has already talked to one other team as well, so that is out there. But I mean, that'd be good business.
Russell Wilson in his own
that other
state.
team doesn't have Acrisure.
Now, I'm not saying he owns Acrisure, but it sounds like he does high-end business with the Acrisure people.
Right.
Thomas Tull right there, also on that board, is a minority owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, that guy doesn't have skeletons.
Russell Westbrook, though, he ain't got nothing with the Steelers.
Russ might come play.
I mean, wasn't the whole thing with Russ he doesn't want to compete? Like, I get like they're not punting on.
He owns the stadium.
Absolutely,
he does.
He owns the stadium.
If they bring him in,
he's got a ketchup bottle at his house.
Yeah, there's not. He owns the stadium.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of a done deal.
Absolutely.
We don't know if that. I don't.
There's no
honestly,
way.
this is the problem with this time of year.
Yeah, we're doing it.
I'm so sick of us already. Did you hear what we just did? Mm-hmm. I saw one picture on my phone and go, hold on.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
And now we automatically got to assume that it's going to happen because everything could potentially happen. Right now, Russell Wilson could be the Pittsburgh Steelers starting quarterback next year. Mm-hmm. Now, if you already took a team date somewhere else already, I don't know where it could be. We could assume maybe Tampa, Atlanta, Minnesota, New England, Las Vegas,
Washington.
Could be Washington. Mm-hmm. Commanders just did something. He signed Zach Ertz. He'll be on the show today.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah. Zach Ertz will be on the show today, 2:15 Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, it could be so many different places that he's going to. And also, could be crap.
Could be crap.
Could be total
50-50. Probably more than that shot that it's crap.
There's a chance that it's a Ty Schmidt
crap.
Yeah.
Code Red crap.
Well, that's 100%.
Because that could come from somebody who could know. Mm-hmm. Like it could be a member of Team 3.
In the know.
At the time.
Right.
Could be. Whenever they filter this information to Jerry or however Jerry ends up getting to it. And he's getting this from somebody that he believes is good. Been around a long time. Okay, you get run out of the business if you make shit up that is not right. Actually, I don't know nowadays, huh?
Yeah, it kind of just let you.
The Post-Gazette ain't.
No,
the Pittsburgh
the
Post-Gazette.
PG is legitimate.
They are not going to let you do
It's
that.
the PG or the Trib. You can.
But on the internet, people get things wrong all the time, and people the modern day now, and this leads to a good little transition. Welcome, professional hosting.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. With the internet, one person says something of kind of credibility, and then boom, it's taken and then spun in how they see or read it, how they understood it, which might not be accurate. It was just kind of they're taking it, and then it's completely gone. And then whenever it gets reported or caught onto by somebody that has a big microphone, it's already been at this, it's already all the way over here when it started over here. Like this Dalton Schultz thing is wild.
Yes.
Absurd.
It is wild, and I feel bad about it because I was very thankful that Dalton Schultz came on the program. That was his first time on the program.
Yeah.
Now, he's a gamer nerd.
Oh, yeah.
Like through and through. This guy's building computers. He's got a full setup. And I think he knows the program. Like, I'm very appreciative of that. Gave us a great conversation.
Yeah, fantastic.
I think I'm gonna try to play a video game again. What's a game that he might not be great at that I can maybe be competitive because I suck at all video games?
I think 2K golf that levels the playing field.
The golf one.
Yeah.
Because I'm not bad at the golf one.
Nope.
Because you don't have to do much. You got to go here and then boom. Mm-hmm. And then here. Well, boom. That's all you got to do.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's what we do.
Oculus too.
Yeah, well, is that video games? I don't know.
I would count it.
Oh yeah, that's video games for sure.
He said he did some design for VR, so he respects it.
Yeah, but he built a computer, so I think he's doing like those types of games.
Anybody can do that shit these days.
Yeah, Bill did it.
Bill's a talent.
Worried about Bill.
Why are you worried about Bill? He's more jacked than ever. He told me earlier today, he said, a company sent us like 14 T-bones, 3 grilled chicken breasts, and a couple of this. I'm like, I did not know that. He goes, I just want, they're in here. You want to?
Can I have them?
Like, Bill, do you want?
Did you say that?
He bought a whole.
Can I have them?
He bought a whole cow.
I think he's only eating protein right now.
That's why he drank. What was it? 4?
Oh, yeah.
There's no reason to drink 4 muscle milks in one morning.
Dude, he is.
He is. Well, he's got the dip set up in his office.
Exactly. We don't.
He's just cranking them out right now.
When Bill dips, he dips, we dip.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That entire thing. He is becoming a monster.
Yeah.
Anyways, Bill has built a computer.
Yes.
Dalton Schultz has built a computer.
Right.
He's a video gamer. First time on the show, we enjoyed chatting with him. He kind of got comfortable towards the end. We could tell with the way he was speaking, how he was saying his things.
Absolutely.
And it was cool. It was nice. It was like, we like this guy. Good beard.
Great player.
So he described being a Dallas Cowboy, and obviously we all know it's different being a Dallas Cowboy than any other team, but he talked about being a Dallas Cowboy, and he talked about being in the gym, and he talked about how there's a one-way mirror with people that pay to kind of do tours. It's a zoo, he said, pretty much. The way he was describing is like he felt like a zoo animal, is how I took it whenever he said it in the moment. But when they describe the Dallas Cowboys organization, they call it the entire organization zoo, as opposed to, I think, what he was referring to as zoo animal.
Yeah, people tapping on the glass.
For sure.
Yeah.
Trying to get your attention.
Like when you go to Indianapolis Zoo and you see the orangutan.
Exactly.
And you try to make eye contact.
Yep.
And then it looks at you and it says,
"Get me out of here."
Please help me. Please get me out.
Anyways, here's Dalton Schultz yesterday and what he said about the Dallas Cowboys. And I think he got taken out of context a bit by a lot of people. You enjoyed your time in Dallas. I'm not going to say that. But, when you get to Houston, is it vastly different than your time in Dallas whenever you're talking about all the off the field? Is it? Is that real?
That was one of the first things that kind of stuck out to me is, it feels like much more, I don't want to say college because it's not, but, the focus is just football, you know what I mean? And going back and telling some people how kind of being around the Cowboys practice facility and game day, describing some of the interactions and stuff that you see on a day-to-day basis surprised a lot of people. They're like, holy crap, that actually happens at a practice facility, and it's just, you think it's normal, and then you come to a place like this.
Like what? You don't have to out anything, but what are you?
No, dude, it's just there's people literally going on tours while you're lifting in the weight room, and they've got a one-way mirror for people to look at. It's literally, it's a zoo, dude. There's people tapping on the glass, trying to get people's attention as they're doing, power cleans or whatnot, and it's different. And I mean, that's the brand that they've built. That's that's what Jerry Jones likes. That's the way that they run things, and there's nothing wrong.
So I think what he was saying is that particular situation.
Yes.
Right.
But they were using it as the entire Dallas Cowboys.
The building's a zoo.
Yeah, a lot of.
That's
I would just like to clear up for Dalton, even though he did not ask us to do this. I'm doing this because I kind of feel bad that he's kind of got tossed into this. I don't think Dalton was burying the entire organization. I think he was talking about that particular situation right there, and he said he enjoyed his time and everything like that. And so I felt bad that it started happening, but the Dallas Cowboys culture is certainly something we're learning a lot about. And I did not expect to hear that random people can walk by your workout where those workouts get pretty, there's people, you're not
after it.
You're not necessarily in your best form. You're got cut out there. You got to probably be. I'm putting on a show almost. You feel that's an interesting. You got to be a cowboy. I think if you're not a Dallas Cowboy type, where hey, you're on display in certain different times where you're not other places. I don't think it's going to work out. Dalton didn't say it didn't work out for him. Obviously, he ends up with the Houston Texans afterwards. Has a 36 million. He's a good player.
Yes.
And a lot of people were saying he's saying that because Ferguson's good. It's I didn't get that sense at all.
No.
He was just describing his life. So I just wanted to kind of clarify that from our perspective.
Yeah, and from everything we've heard, that's what you expect with the Cowboys with the practice facility. Anyone can buy those. We always used to say, well, could the Eagles buy one of these boxes? And that's the way it is with the Cowboys. That's why they're the most, the
most
valuable franchise in all of sports.
Yeah, we are not. We'll be back on the other side on ESPN 2. We'll see you in 3. Now is a man who will be compared to forever whenever they're talking about GOAT conversations in the sport of football. That's because he won 7 Super Bowls, was consistently dominant for more than 2 decades at football. Ridiculously handsome, so absurdly handsome. An underdog story too, picked at 199 of the NFL draft. Not a top 5 pick, not handed anything, and then what did he do? He went to work, did his job, became the greatest of all time, and now a phenomenal businessman and a great representation of the greatest league on earth. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Brady. Hell yeah,
What's
dude.
up, my man?
Tom, I thought this was all potential gimmick rip. I didn't know if you were actually on the show. I'm so pumped you were here. Hey, we love you, dude. We love you, Tom.
I appreciate it.
When you're 40 years old and you've won 6 Super Bowls and you're already being called the GOAT, was there anything to you getting to the point of just being, I'm tired of Bill Belichick talking to me like I'm a 23-year-old? Because that was kind of the lingering at the end of your time at New England.
There was so much people just trying to create some division that most of it was untrue, but it's just the way the world works. And naturally, I think division division from within is a big problem in these team environments, and I don't like seeing any dysfunction in team environments. Obviously, my respect for Coach Belichick is pretty well documented. He was an incredible leader and coach for our team, and I tried to do my best every single day that I took the field. I knew that he did the same thing, and I think that's why I respected his coaching so much.
Whenever they talk about the Patriot way, that is normally the reason that is given, is like the Patriot way, the Patriot way, the Patriot way.
I've never used that term in my entire life. I think when people say it, I'm always like, what's the Patriot way? It sounds like the title of a book. I think what we tried to do was we tried to do things the right way. I think we tried to practice the right way and prepare the right way. What happened on game day was ultimately a reflection of what we practiced, and I thought we had great leadership from our coaches, and it filtered down to the guys who really drove the culture. We had so many guys that I played with over the course of a lot of years that really understood that, okay, I'm going to care about my teammates, and I'm going to care about helping the team win.
There's a guy on our show who is a diehard Patriot fan. Boston Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Tommy, I have to.
What's up, Boston?
I have to start and just say thank you. You know, my whole life has been incredible because of the fact that you have won 6 Super Bowls. And, you know, I'm a loser every day, but I'm a winner as a football fan because of you and what the Patriots were able to do. So thank you. What do you think the new era of New England with Mayo is going to be?
Him coming back into coaching, I think is great for the NFL and certainly great for the Patriots. He's got a great understanding of how things need to be done. I think Gerard does an incredible job relating to everybody in the locker room, all the coaches, and I think he'll do a great job.
Going into the booth, are you utilizing the same thing, hearing what people are saying about you going in there? And how do you balance that while still being a human?
The broadcast going to be 5 years from now is going to be hopefully more improved than the one that starts on day one. So I'm going to go in there with the opportunity to start and learn, and I'm sure by the end of the year I'll feel more comfortable. I really want to be a great ambassador for the NFL and the game. I love the sport. I love the athletes. I love the organizations, and I really appreciate how challenging it is to get there, again, like the Chiefs have.
T-Pain is a...
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this magical Zoo Thursday, March 7th, 2024. Hour 2 of the program starts now.
Sports!
Are amazing. I believe sports are happening right now, so I think we're only live on YouTube and ESPN Plus. So welcome fucking back.
I was going to say, fuck.
All right.
Get him out. Get him out now.
Yep.
The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer,
Dahn.
Cowboys Tone Diggs is here. And joining us live from Manatee, Ohio, is a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
Hell yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, a man who booked Chip Kelly to come on our show today.
Whoa.
In about 28 minutes from now, AJ Hawk.
What's up? What kind of sports are happening over there on ESPN and ESPN2?
All right, we've got spring training on ESPN. Need to see it. Who's got the hot back going into the 175 game season?
62.
Okay, who's got it going in there? All good, cool. I can't wait to watch. It's in the background. The guy that's doing the commentating is electrifying. What's his name? The one on the right, hair like this, kind of. He's
Orange hair?
No.
Talking about Boog Sciambi?
No,
not
it's
Eduardo Perez?
No.
Carl Ravish?
Yeah, Carl Ravish.
Carl Ravish.
Okay.
And Eduardo Perez.
Electrifying.
Yeah.
So I'm watching him right now. We're gonna see it, and then on ESPN2, it's F1.
No, that's not a sport.
What a fucking joke.
I didn't know they play that on ESPN.
No, me neither. They're finishing up their race. It got close. They're racing it.
Oh, nice.
Are they racing or are they doing the fucking time bullshit
Time
that
trials.
no one gives a shit
Listen,
about?
maybe I would assume in a lot of the F1 people's eyes, just by my conversation with Darius,
Of course.
because he's a big F1 fan.
Asshole.
They think we're not intelligent enough to understand F1.
What?
We do understand. You got one guy that wins,
Yeah.
and everybody else loses.
Yeah, Verstappen.
That's what you guys have. We got a race here Indianapolis 500, where they're 4 wide sometimes. 4 wide.
How's that?
Sometimes. You guys are stacked one by one, going through these tiny little streets. We don't need, hey,
It's a fucking time trial.
we're bored as hell.
Give me a break.
We're bored.
This is it? Where's the other cars?
It's a time.
They're not on the track because it's not a fucking race. It's a stupid.
So
So time trials happen in IndyCar and everything else too to see.
But they're time trials.
Who's
They're not
trying to
the
get on
pinnacle.
pole?
They're not the main event, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but this is what the races look like too, though. That's the thing. Like the races look like this as well. I assume middle back of the pack. There's some action at some of these races somewhere.
You would think.
But every race that I've turned on, it's been a one-man show.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Verstappen.
Max Verstappen.
Yep.
And Sir Louis Hamilton.
But he's no
He's
more.
looking for a new team.
Yeah, he's no more.
He's on Ferrari.
And we're not watching for the back, by the way. Any race you watch, you're watching for the fucking front.
Well, that's the TV. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's like, come on. This is so dumb. Or you just...
They're nice cars. Hey, very good cars.
They are nice.
Very
pieces
nice.
of
You
machinery.
take them down at a drag strip here in Brownsburg, probably get cooked by a funny car or two. But you do have nice cars. I want to let you know. Those funny cars too, those engines were made, you know, obviously there's incredibly intelligent engineers who've done it. But also there's just some guy who lives on a massive farm
Turning wrench.
in Indiana who's turning wrench, who also gets a, you know, we got like whatever 6,000 horsepower in this engine.
Yep.
And he only got into it because he was trying to beat Ned, who was building his own engine.
Couple acres over.
Yeah, down there.
Ned and Laird.
And then now they got cars that are just going, you know, quarter mile and however, whatever it is. So your F1 cars would be cute in that race. That would be fun to do it.
Sure.
But just watching them go one by one and the same guy win every time, like, it's not entertaining. You need Kyle Busch over there.
Yeah.
KY.
You need Connor Daly in F1.
Sure.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what we.
Kyle Larson.
But Kyle Larson, I guess, might be the greatest driver of all time. Has to be.
It has to be.
For everything, like legitimately has to be.
A lot of practice, though. A lot of virtual practice, though. Isn't that how they all learn?
Well, they're all getting a lot of reps nowadays with modern technology. But Kyle Larson's doing a lot of this.
Yeah.
A lot of this.
That Prime he's drinking?
Yeah, it's Prime.
I don't think it's.
It's hard to get your hands on Prime, too, from what I've been told.
Impossible, they say.
Logan Paul, good for him.
Yeah. He got a new flavor out.
Remember, he came on our program whenever he was talking about Prime, and he was like, you know how all of us internet influencers are trying to find something. He's like, this is the one.
Yeah.
Pat, this is the one.
He was right.
He was right.
Nailed it.
Hey,
What's the new flavor? Can't win a wrestling match?
Whoa.
He's the United States champion.
What?
He's the United States champion. He lost the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah,
It was
he
stacked.
did.
What do you expect from him? That thing's unpredictable.
Well, he's a dirty, cheap shot artist, and Randy Orton should have won that match.
Well, he did. He did screw
I
over
agree.
Randy Orton, but Drew McIntyre got the win.
He did.
So Logan Paul helped out Drew
Scottish
McIntyre, which I
psychopath.
think you all.
We love it.
Shout out to psychopath.
He's a Scottish warrior.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre, Seth freaking Rollins are certainly going to go at it at WrestleMania. But anyways, those sports are happening. So we are on YouTube and ESPN Plus. Our conversation in the first hour was with Sal Capaccio, talking about all the Buffalo Bills moves that were made just yesterday, about 6 days away from the salary cap kind of deadline for all these teams. The Buffalo Bills are one of 8 teams that are currently still over the salary cap. A couple other teams were a little bit over, made some moves to get under. This is obviously Sal Capaccio, who covers the Buffalo Bills, calling it a historic day in the Buffalo Bills franchise. They cut a lot of our friends, AJ, but this is kind of what this season's all about.
Yeah, I mean, don't you think they had to have some kind of idea that this was coming for most of these players? Like, when you see, like, these guys are way over the cap, players aren't dumb, players understand teams have to make decisions, and teams don't like to do this, but yeah, stuff has to happen. You're over the cap, you got to find those guys. Like, you know, it sucks for guys like Jordan Poyer, obviously. I mean, these are all really good players, too. That's the other thing that people don't realize. These are going to be valuable assets to other teams.
Yeah, I think in the thought that, you know, Poyer, friend of the program,
Dog.
leader, stud, like
Look at him driving his feet still.
Well, just remember the stories. And I saw a tweet that was talking about his 2023 year that I thought they were talking about this most recent year. But like going through who Jordan is, you know, for that Buffalo Bills team and how long he was there. Remember, he and Hyde are like considered, these two came in together to the Buffalo Bills. They were a tag team together. Like he'd been around there for a long, long time. Now, never mind a Super Bowl.
Yep.
So
True.
That's how people will talk about it. But you talk about he becomes all-pro Poe out there. One year he was overlooked and an underdog, had a historic season. The next year he was all-pro Poe. It's like he and Buffalo grew together, So for him to be on the streets alongside the rest of the safeties that are currently in the free agency market, teams can make some moves and bring in some big names, high-profile names, and all those deals will be done by Monday is what the expectation is. But, bad journalism out of me and Mad Mel. We were talking to Brandon Beane.
We were.
We were talking to if we would have done any research at all going into that call.
You were talking about the draft, though.
You say, hey, how do we get under the cap? What are we going to do? Did you ask him that?
Well, Mel Kiper Mad Mel didn't ask anything. Mad Mel talked directly at Brandon Beane for 15 straight minutes.
Yep.
He then got escorted out of there.
Yep.
What?
Yeah, he got escorted out.
They kicked him out?
No, I think they just told him to wait outside. Move a little left, like when people are taking a picture and they go, a little bit left.
Keep going.
A little bit more left.
Perfect.
That's kind of what happened with Mad Mel. They're like, can you go stand on it a little bit? And then he was just kind of hanging out. And Mad Mel had to make some calls anyways. So I got a chance to chat with Brandon Beane about a lot of things. And I didn't even think about hey, who are you in a miserable fashion going to have to just axe? Who's
get out?
I didn't even think to ask that question whenever you're chatting about it because from a human standpoint, today sucks, dude, I would assume. You know what I mean? That's not a fun thing to do. And I think whenever all these things are covered and talked about, I don't think people really care necessarily. Yeah, it sucks. Boo-hoo. It's the NFL wins Super Bowl. But it's there's a lot of relationships built up there between a lot of people, especially with how tight that team seemingly was and has been. I'm happy that they did it this early, they get another week ahead of free agency pretty much. But that has to be, those are tough days, players and front office.
Yeah, think about the front office. And this is a front office too. I feel like we've talked to many different people there. They're humans. They have relationships with these players. There's some GMs and some different people that like to kind of stay at an arm's length and say, I know I'm going to eventually have to cut them or move on from these people so they don't develop relationships. It feels like in Buffalo, they are one big family. So this could not have been easy for anybody involved.
We asked Sal about the Bison.
Yeah, I heard some of that. What is this talking point that they keep throwing out of whoever these artists are, air quotes, that if it gets too big, you're going to take away the detail. Get out of here.
Get it bigger.
No, it needs to be an absolute spectacle. They're saying, it needs to be so people can take pictures. Yeah, make the thing 100 feet tall then so people take pictures. It's like it's a monument that people drive thousands of miles to see.
World's largest buffalo.
Make it as big as the arch.
What are we even talking about here, dude?
First up.
The thought that everybody's phones have the little 0.5.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We can get a 50-foot bison into a photo.
Made for that.
Okay, we can absolutely do that. And I had the incredible honor of having the opportunity to set up Plum Community Days as a child.
Sure.
Through the soccer club.
Yep.
Whatever. Plum Soccer. Plum Area Soccer. Shout out Fred Lucas. Mm-hmm. But there was always an ice sculptor guy that would come in and he would set up his thing and then he'd do a practice run. And I would literally get to just watch, I'm a kid at this point, watching this ice sculptor do his thing for 45 minutes because it got out of me having to build a tent, okay? Because I'm just building tents around this entire field pretty much. And the amount of different chisels that he uses for different details, I was mind blown by as a child. Damn, this is a very descript ice sculptor. Now it's all going to melt away.
Yeah.
This thing's all gone. It's the middle of summer. This thing's dead. But what he was doing, they're telling, just as somebody that as a child watched Sculptor up close and personal probably 7 times in my life. They can't get a bigger chisel. What do we even?
Well, here's the question, Pat.
I don't understand it. How is that the excuse? For me, I think the headline is big ass bison. Yeah. Big ass parking spots.
Yep.
Did you hear that?
Well,
great news. Great idea.
That's genius, I think. Is
that a premium lot, though? Is that special premium lots that you pay extra for? I mean, you should charge extra for it.
Yeah, are we really going to trust this? We thought we were getting 40-foot bison. Now we think these parking spots are going to be 2x. That's going to be 10 more inches on the back end. Let's be real here.
Hey,
if we pull it back, yeah, absolutely, better than nothing. But stop.
I don't know if 10 inches is better. It better be a...
I'm not trusting it. Don't trust it, because what do we do with these bison? We're pissed off about
10
the
inches
bison.
is huge.
We're pissed off about the bison. Yeah, it is. I agree. We're pissed off about the bison, but
so
4.5 would help too. But I'm just saying,
be good enough.
We're talking about these bison being massive, and we're bummed at about it.
Soup
We
cans.
should not buy in to these parking spots, okay?
Yes.
Because just because it's 3 massive inches on the back end doesn't mean it's actually going to be a bigger parking
You're
spot.
right. 3 massive inches.
Yeah.
3.
See, look at that.
Massively large.
Huge.
Inches.
Three's huge. Let me just say that, especially in the parking lot scenario and others. But like, look at that. If that's the rendering, oh yeah, guess
Look
what?
at that
Instead of-
110 is actually going over 2 spots, and
yeah, it's touching.
well,
the other
there's
one.
no way that's the
Yeah,
accurate.
see, look.
Yeah, see, that's not the right
Hey,
rendering.
instead of 2 people
That
at your
can't
trunk,
come
you can
close to
have
what's
4 people now. Shut up. That's dumb.
What's a normal parking spot, and how much bigger are theirs? That's what we need to know.
I'll tell you,
Exactly.
I would assume that tent should be a 1 parking spot tent, right? That's what I
Yeah,
would have
you
thought.
would
Uh-huh.
That tent was going over the line.
Yeah.
Eliminating
I-
the spot in the middle.
Yeah, how about that?
And I thought the detail of the Buffalo was not to take away from like this photo here, the actual
Yeah.
stadium itself.
Yeah.
Not actually detail inside the Buffalo sculpture.
Because that wouldn't make sense. Because
No, because remember they said there's no emotion in this thing.
On the
Yeah.
other one, yeah.
On the video, they
Pat, you're
described
right.
the emotion in the face of the bison.
On
Yeah,
the cool,
who cares?
massive one.
your ice sculptor, was he like, man?
I want it to be a stoic-ass bison. Just get that thing,
Yeah.
bison in the headlights.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's what I want. I don't
Exactly.
care. Right?
Yeah,
Right.
Right before the Settlers.
16 feet is big, though, boys. Like, if you look at
No,
it.
it's not. Not compared to a stadium, it's not.
Yeah.
It's going to be dwarfed by that stadium.
Think about how
How
massive.
big is this stick? How big is this stick? How big is this stick?
That's 6.
compared to you,
5'5".
that stick is 6'2".
Not a baby. I'm in my cowboy boots. I'm sitting in a nice 16.
Rap sheet ever hold on to that?
Rap sheet. Right there.
Right there.
We got
And he's
to
holding onto it.
we got to have a 25-foot tape measure here.
Rap sheet
Yeah, he
needs-
can see over that.
Rap
He
sheet,
sees over
no,
that.
he cannot.
No.
This thing is.
That's
He's
tall.
not even Al, the neighbor from
Al Boyle.
Home Improvement.
Wilson.
Wilson. He's not even the neighbor. We're talking.
Yeah.
He's not even playing peekaboo. He needs to start wearing cowboy boots immediately.
Yeah.
Irish
Or the,
shoes.
yeah, exactly. The De Niro lifts.
From
It's
De
only
Niro.
12 feet.
So that's not going to be enough. You see.
Well, neither are those parking spots because we just saw them. Hey, check it out. This sucks. It sounds like if you're a Buffalonian, brother, maybe just have your eyes set on how cool the stadium's going to look, not the other stuff.
All right, let's talk about some stuff we saw around the internet that we appreciated just last night. The Chargers released a video of their head coach, Jim, and the Baltimore. Oh, we're going back on ESPN. Everybody tighten up.
Okay.
Tighten up.
Oh. Can we still sneak in a...
Think about how hilarious that is. They just came back to us just like not doing it. Yeah. Well,
Frozen.
hey, it's great to be back on ESPN.
Yeah. Who won? Just kidding. Who cares?
They probably weren't even competing for anything. Good luck for the F1. Hey, congrats to the F1 racers being healthy today.
That's right.
Staying healthy.
Stay safe.
Takes a lot of courage to strap
That's
yourselves into one of those rockets. A lot of those rockets, we appreciate that. It is an absolute honor to be back here on ESPN2. And AJ Hawk is right here.
Wow,
AJ! AJ, while we were off air there, we had a chance to chat about the greatness of these F1 cars. You really had a good take on what the best one should do whenever they're trying to drive those cars around those tracks all over the globe. What was that again, if you could remind the people, because I don't remember exactly how it went.
I'm not sure exactly what is going on here. I never watched the Netflix series on F1, so I didn't get I didn't dive headfirst like our good friend Darius Butler did, and he hangs out with Jay Leno, and Jay wears the Canadian tuxedos every single day over there. So I'm not really sure what's happening in F1. I know Verstappen wins every race, or every race seems to be a time trial, and he has a sweet private jet that continues to pop up on my feed.
He does have a sweet private jet. And as the official post-F1 time trial race show,
Yep.
it's only right that we give our breakdown. What Verstappen did on that track today.
It's masterful.
Did you see what he did, AJ? You're a man who drives with both feet in the United States of America, in Ohio.
True.
Some people call it a liability, but not in F1, especially with Verstappen on the controls. Ain't that right, AJ?
Oh, that's right. Is he? What's the? Who's he with right now? Verstappen.
Well,
Red
he moved over to
Bull.
Mercedes. Okay, somebody moved to Mercedes.
Yeah.
Louis moved
Sir.
from Mercedes to Ferrari.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, big
Because
move.
King Louis raced in the Indy 500 a couple years back.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Over here in America. Now, he did not win. The IndyCar drivers, I believe, got the best, but it's much different over here. They're racing next to each other over here
Right.
in America.
Because I care.
You know what I mean? They're going, they're doing this and There's some Robbins racing.
Fighting on the track.
There's a little spirit.
What's Andretti think of F1?
I assume Andretti because, Mario, Italy, right? Like, I think, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So probably came up in the F1 world, I'd assume. He's probably a big fan. I think they all are. I assume we would be big fans, too, if we understood it more.
Unless you win Le Mans, it doesn't matter.
Because I think every time we watch it, we just don't see, like, racing. We see driving at a fast clip around a really cool course.
Yeah. Sure.
That would be fun to drive around ourselves.
For sure.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool to see AJ in that brand new truck he has?
Oh man.
Oh my God. What is
Souped up.
What do you got?
F-150.
Souped up. Going around that Monaco. That's all I think when I'm watching F1.
Yeah, they're Super Bowl. Monaco.
So
exactly. That's exactly where my brain goes. They're Super Bowl. And I remember turning it on, just like you guys, because we were pitched, hey, you guys get Super Bowl because football, idiots. This is their Super Bowl. And we turned it on.
And we loved it.
Who's we? Who's we?
We're the F1 post-time trial race show here on ESPN.
The wrap-up show, right?
Yeah, wrap-up show.
Yeah. Well, I'll wrap it up. It's the worst sport on the planet. I am NASCAR and IndyCar forever. And if you watch F1, I'm sorry. I think you're a dipshit and you're an asshole. And that is directed at you, Darius Butler.
That's F1 pundit Boston Bonner. Obviously, everybody is entitled to their own opinion on things that they don't fully understand. That's the world we live in. Let's pivot back to a sport that we do know and love. A man joining us who's a multiple-time Super Bowl champion, absolutely jacked, and a man who might have a little bit more information on what's going on over there in Denver. No quarterback, no all-pro safety. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Schler. Stink, I know you're in the middle of lifting right now. Are we actually in your gym right now? You're in a gym right now?
Yes, I'm in the gym, so you can see equipment all around me.
Yeah.
There's Fuji. I've known Fuji. That's my trainer back there. I've known him for 30 years, and he is absolutely trying to kick my ass. And there's a game going on right now. As I always say, there's always a game going on, and if you don't know what that game is, you're probably it. Okay. And Fuji is it. I'm killing him right now.
Let's go, Stink. Like, we saw you at Radio Row at Super Bowl. I don't think Fuji has enough weights in that room to kill you. So we're proud of you, Stink. Thank you for taking some time.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, obviously you're very close to the Broncos. Cover the Broncos, live in Denver, played for the Broncos, legend for the Broncos. Right now, no quarterback, $85 million dead cap over the next 2 years. All pro, now sent from the safety, from the defensive side of the ball. What are our thoughts on the Denver Broncos, and how long do you think this is going to take here to get Sean Payton's Broncos kind of instituted and going, Stink?
I'm going to say thank goodness, right? Because the way Russ played, the way he's played the last couple of years, he's a deficient quarterback. He's diminished. He doesn't throw the ball in the middle of the football field. He doesn't anticipate throws.
What?
You can sit here and tell me all day long, 26 TDs and 8 interceptions. I'll tell you garbage numbers. Like the things he does, that he's just not good enough anymore. So we've got to move on from that. Justin Simmons is a cap casualty. I understand that, but look at the market right now for safeties. There are 15 safeties out there right now that you're going to get for less money, and that you're probably going to get, more years than you will from Justin Simmons, who just finished his 8th year in the league. So, I understand this is the cost of doing business. I would say this: for all those people, when a great player holds out and says, wait, I want more money, I've outperformed my contract, I want you to bite your tongue and shut your freaking mouth, because contracts in the National Football League should be written on toilet paper, because they ain't worth shit. All right? So when your team dumps a guy, nobody's screaming, hey, we got to do this, and but when a guy says, I want more money, everybody goes, onto your contract. Baloney. If you outplay your contract, sit out and get as much as you can. Hold them hostage if you can, because that's the way this league operates.
Well, Jonathan Taylor did that with the Colts last year. He got his money. Congrats to him, by the way.
Yeah, way to go, JT.
He got his money. Way to go, JT. But you're right. It's a cold business. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I said Chris Jones did the same thing as well last year, and he's going to get paid this year again.
Yeah. So his deal ended up, I think, being relatively similar. Jonathan Taylor ended up getting A lot more.
Ton.
He did. It worked out for him. Now, obviously, what you're saying is what fans don't want to see happen. And, because they played football, you're lucky to be in the NFL. But when days like yesterday happen and when things like what happened in Buffalo, what's happening in Denver, what's going to happen in 7 other cities over the next 6 days before they have to get under the salary cap, it's pretty alarming because I think fans not only think like, okay, are we in a rebuild? Is that what's happening in Denver? Like Sean Payton's trying to find his people? What do you think is happening with the Broncos? And how long you think we're expecting until we're, a tough division? That's a tough division.
Well, it's interesting because people here in Denver are like, well, Sean Payton's a thug, and he made, Russell, he said, I'm going to cut you if you don't take this, injury guarantee out of your contract and all this stuff. Like for 8 years, this place has been garbage. The Denver Broncos were a crown jewel in the National Football League, and they're not. They're irrelevant. And we keep putting Band-Aids on things and think that that's going to fix it. And I, for one, am sitting here saying, thank you, Sean Payton, for recognizing that this team is not very good. This team does not have one guy that's homegrown on this football team that's ever even come close to sniffing the playoffs. Ever. So ultimately, it is time to quit putting Band-Aids on gaping wounds, and it's time to perform some surgery. And I think that's exactly what Sean Payton's doing. You may suffer some pain here for a year or two, but if you went on with Russell Wilson for another 2 years paying him that ridiculous amount of money, you know what? You're going to be sitting right where you are right now 2 years, 3 years from now. So I, for one, am glad that they're actually moving on and saying, hey, we're going to fix this thing and we're going to tear it down and we're going to rebuild it.
Go ahead, AJ.
Stink, do you think this is kind of how Sean Payton saw this thing playing out when he took the gig, or what do you think he said to ownership when he did have that job as far as Russell Wilson and the future of the team?
Yeah, I think that Sean Payton came in going, hey, listen, I'm going to try to make it work, and I'm going to try to give you the best I can. But ultimately, if Russell does not fit my plans and he can't do the things that I want him to do as a starting quarterback in the National Football League, I need the freedom to move on. And so I think those things were very clear coming into this thing. He was very clear with ownership. They understood exactly that. And I think that's why, you've seen this go the way it has.
You have another set to do right now? What is it?
Oh, yeah, man, I am. Listen, you guys don't even want, I'm a unit. You guys don't even want to know.
I want to know. I want to know. I saw you at Radio Row. Do you remember seeing this guy?
Oh, my God.
Biggest neck I've ever seen
He
in
had
my
one
life.
of those, elastic, or no, what is that? Polyester. Is that polyester? What is
whatever I put on, whatever I put on, it looks like it does look like a scuba suit because that's how thick I am. Just like unbelievable. By the way, why don't you wear tank tops anymore? I miss seeing you in tank tops.
I got cold. It got cold. I'll be back in tank tops though whenever, spring, summer comes around. But I had a lot of shirts. I'm in shape for the first time, long time, and everybody thinks tank tops.
Yeah, you look good.
Come on.
Don't think that good shape doesn't recognize good shape. I saw you at the Super Bowl, and I thought to myself, my initial reaction is, Pat's hot. Like, you were sexy.
Oh, hey, Steve!
You're hot, baby.
Whoa! Hey, that feels good.
I said, that guy is fine.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. We did have a big hug.
Yeah.
I couldn't get my arms around the guy. I couldn't get my arms around the guy. So we appreciate you. Good luck with the rest of the workout. Thank you for all
Thank you, brother.
Hey, real quick, though. I just heard from a Steelers fan earlier today that Russell Wilson might be their quarterback. There's rumors, everything. We're in rumor season right now. He got pumped about it, kind of, because they're only going to have to pay $1.2 million, obviously, because Denver Broncos are going to pay the rest of the money. So it's not a big salary cap. But you said that he's not the same guy, and then you said the stats not good. Like Dane Orlovsky, he said he watched, great player.
That's right.
I think PFF had him.
Wow. Still got it. Yeah.
Still.
That's how they're pushing.
That's not the sentiment by everybody. I don't think what you're saying there, Mark.
Well, no. I mean, I think all the time I hear quarterbacks talk about it, and I think quarterbacks are protecting quarterbacks. I think that happens. And I tell you, he threw the ball behind the line of scrimmage more than any other quarterback in the league last year. Took more time to throw the ball than everybody in the league other than Justin Fields. And I think he completed 26% of his passes intermediate range in the middle of the football field, which was dead last in the National Football League last year.
Pretty good.
So you can sit there and tell me that he played good, and you can look at the numbers and say 26-8 is good, and I'll tell you that it's garbage.
Okay.
What I saw was garbage, and I'm just letting you know exactly how it is.
All right. Well, good luck on that next set of bench. We appreciate the hell out of you, pal.
All right, man. We'll talk to you guys later.
Hey, can Fuji film this, or is he actually? We're almost dying in there if he's not spotting you.
No. This is light. I'm still warming up.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, good luck out there. If you could tweet out what your max is today, we'd like to hear it.
It's a lot. I wouldn't even want to venture a guess. Well, I'm not even in the camera. There I am. I don't know where I'm going. Hey, later. I got to go.
All right. See you, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Schlereth.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell.
He's the 16-foot bison.
Yeah, exactly. They should model it after Sting.
Went big, boom, pow. One of those, boom, pow. And you know when the person's going to do the slap to the hug, too, about right here.
Yep.
Like when they're coming in, it's like, all right, that's going to be, looks like that's going to be, we're hugging here. Or coming in for full, or just going in for bang, or coming in for this hug.
The bro hug.
And I think us as humans do a good job.
We do, actually,
of kind of reading that, reading the clues as we're kind of greeting each other. There was a time where we weren't able to do it.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Remember, we're tapping in the front of shoes.
That's right.
Elbows.
Not stall, though, yeah.
But when he came in, I was like, oh, we're doing with big hug. And I go around. It felt like I was hugging a buffalo.
Yeah, he's a mammoth.
Yeah, I mean, his forehead to back of neck is 3 feet. Like, that's how far away they are.
Yeah,
that's how thick he is.
It was literally this one right here. I think I did. Yeah.
He's had like 200 surgeries too, and he's still probably benching 405 for 15 reps.
Think about what Fuji has seen in a weight room. With
For real. You think he dreads it? You think Fuji's like, son of a bitch, I gotta spot Stink today?
Let's talk about what Stink just said as a man who covers the Denver Broncos every day on his radio show in Denver.
Wow.
Okay?
Yeah.
We heard Sal Capaccio talk about everything happening in Buffalo, getting callers this morning saying that this was a necessary move to cut all these people. They understand it. They're bummed out about it. So that's how Sal Capaccio and the Buffalo Bills are handling it. Mark Schlereth, also daytime show, I think, every single day in Denver. He goes, need it. This guy, not as good as he once was. But was there a chance, maybe, that he and Sean Payton were never going to be,
Yeah.
Like, is there a chance that Sean Payton's calling the plays, right?
Yep.
Russell Wilson's learning the plays or not learning the plays, or how many plays is he getting from Sean Payton? What's being instituted into the offense? What's not being? Like, there's so many different questions that I think Team 3 could come up with to combat everything. I think a lot is going to be determined by how he plays next year.
Yes.
Like, he needs to go play in a good spot, I think,
Yeah.
with how a lot of people are viewing him. Like what Mark Schlereth just said, they're obviously Broncos fan in Denver, watch it happen all year. It's not just him that feels that way. There's a lot of people that think Russ is done. And then that's why whenever like Dan Orlovsky and all these people come out and they go, actually, if you watch the tape, he's playing some of his best ball. He's incredible. The team just isn't good. So there's so many different conflicting reports on his style of play, who he is, let alone his personality and everything else. If he goes somewhere and balls next year, I think that's big for his legacy. I think it's very, very, very meaningful for his legacy. So then you got to start thinking about, like, what's the best spot for him to have immediate success almost. And that adds into the conversation quickly.
Yeah, it's definitely the Vikings. I feel like no matter what, that would be his best spot. But as far as the Broncos situation, if that meeting really happened between Russ in the front office and Sean Payton after they beat the Chiefs, where they're like, hey, we're going to need you to waive your injury guarantee. Like, it feels like they just didn't like him, honestly, the new era of the Broncos. Because when he came in, obviously it was Hackett, it was completely different. It was all Russ. As soon as Sean Payton comes in, hey, this is me. So, like, whatever you do, it doesn't really matter because I don't really want you to be our quarterback. And if you don't like a guy, you take an $85 million cap hit as far as a dead cap goes.
Yeah, it's very interesting because whenever teams get new GMs and new coaches, there's humans that are involved, and humans have feelings, emotions, egos, pride, everything like that. So whenever you get a new GM, they have a team in their vision. But also, if somebody does really good and they didn't bring him in, they don't get the credit for that signing.
Yes.
Oh, you won with Boom's guy. You won with Nathaniel Hackett's. Like, that is something in those worlds that is held up.
But it is. You're right. It should not be the case. It should be, hey, I'm here now. Whatever is best for this team now. And it shouldn't matter. But you're exactly right. There's humans involved.
Yeah, there's humans involved. This isn't like in theory. This isn't like a in theory thing. So that could also play into the thought Sean Payton going in there. We've talked to Sean Payton. We enjoy Sean Payton.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We enjoy Sean Payton. Like, I was on the Colts team, punter, didn't do much. Second half on the sideline, had a hold, we missed the kick. And damn it. But his team beat us in the Super Bowl, and like watching that team, especially as I grew older in the NFL, was like that Indianapolis Colts team was so good. Like everything was so good. Sean Payton able to beat it. Like congratulations. Mm-hmm. And obviously he has a great shoe game and the way he talks. And like we have respect for Sean Payton.
Big time.
But we don't think that we don't know him well enough, but we don't think he's necessarily above that particular thought too, coming in like, hey, this is how I want my team to be. This is what I want my quarterback to be. Mm-hmm. And he envisioned this probably whenever he was off, whenever he retired out of nowhere and was away for a little bit, did some TV. He probably had a full like, this is how I would build my team right now if I had the opportunity. So he had a couple opportunities to coach in other places. He goes to Denver with the wealthiest owners in professional sport. I assume he laid this out. Like, this is what I want. We'll try this out. They had to give him approval early if that was going to be the case. So did that lead into a potential lack of a connection between Sean Payton and Russell Wilson? Probably. Like, that's just like human instinct, I think. But if Russ goes somewhere and does great, great. But it's Sean Payton. How long's his window now? What's he got? He gets 3 years to build this thing? 4 years? Like what?
Yeah,
is it?
I mean,
he got a monster deal.
The remainder of his contract at the very least. And don't you think part of it too with Russ is he wasn't getting some middle of the road quarterback salary. Like, so everyone's saying like, hey, look at his stats, like 26-8, like that's not bad. Like that's not what they were paying for.
Sure.
Like these next couple of years, he was going to be on the hook making serious big time money. Like you can't be okay with just like, 26-8's not bad. Like you need a guy who's going to go out there and play good enough to take you to a Super Bowl, because that was the expectation when they signed him. So if there was any like disconnect between those two and they didn't really like each other, it's like, well, we're on the hook to pay this guy a ridiculous amount of money and he's just not going to be able to get us there, I don't believe. So let's get rid of him right now. And then like that was probably part of it when he first met with him. It's like, hey, if we do have to blow this up, I need assurances that you're not just going to shit can me right away when the going gets tough.
Yeah, because patience is not a thing that's normal in the NFL. But if you have a legacy and you have a resume and you've won before, hopefully people, hopefully we'll do that, because patience does bring some good stuff. Not everybody's going to be able to do Houston.
Yeah,
but Houston had a long time of not being this Houston before it became this Houston. And that was a part of the conversation yesterday with Dalton Schultz that did not get reported about.
No, it didn't.
It sounds like they're in a good spot.
Yeah,
and I hate that.
Great, certainly.
Right here in Indiana.
Very good.
Let's pivot
Top
away.
5 chefs.
In all Houston, in the whole city.
That'll help.
Big city.
Come cook for the Houston Texans. Congratulations.
Yeah.
What a pitch.
And then what's going on elsewhere? They're charging them for dinner.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, just think about that. As Dalton Schultz is like, that did not get talked about. Anyways, let's pivot away from the NFL. Let's go to college football. A headline while we were on vacation was that a head coach somewhere went and took an offensive coordinator position at another school in the same conference. Huge headline.
Massive.
What the hell's going on? Especially because the coach that did it is one that is very successful, very well known, and on our particular program, a man who is very cerebral.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, offense coordinator for the Ohio State Buckeyes, a man who was mentioned in Jason Kelsey's retirement speech for changing football in the NFL forever, Chip Kelly.
Yeah, Coach.
How you doing, Coach?
What's up, Pat? How are you?
I'm going to be honest. I was in Hawaii, okay? I think I had, it was like 2 to 3 espresso martinis, okay? I had a couple of these little gummy things that just lighten moods. Okay, I had a few of those. Yeah. I was looking out at the ocean. My daughter was there. Wife was there. We're having a good time. Had the phone. I pick up the phone. Chip Kelly is now offense coordinator at Ohio State. Thought I was getting got, okay? I think that's how a lot of people felt. Yesterday, whenever you did your press conference, it was like the first time we really got to hear from you. I think you explained it in a manner that I assume people understand, but it's like you just wanted to get back to coaching ball instead of everything else. Is that the right read, or what do you think really was the reasoning to this particular move that made massive headlines everywhere in football? Not just college ball, but like football everywhere, because NFL obviously respects you as well.
No, I mean, I say it all the time, but the best part of football is football. And as the game has changed at the collegiate level, and we talked about that, I think the head coaching role has turned a lot more into being a CEO than a coach. And I understand that. And that comes with the territory. But I was at a point in time where I could make a decision on what did I want to do. Like, I really enjoy coaching. I really enjoy being with the players. I really enjoy the relationships you have when you're in a meeting room. I had not been in a meeting room since 2008. I became a head coach in 2009. As the head coach, you visit the meeting rooms. You're in there. But as you know, AJ, the head coach isn't in the linebacker meeting. He may poke his head in there and see how everybody's doing. But I got a chance to coach the quarterbacks in our bowl game because our quarterback coach is a great football coach, left to be the offensive coordinator at Oregon State. So I coached the quarterbacks, and I was in a meeting room daily for 2 weeks leading up to our bowl game against Boise State, and almost forgot about how much fun that part of it is, And as I thought about it, and I was at a point where I could say, here's an opportunity to go be a coach again, not a CEO. So it would have taken a real special place to get me to leave UCLA because I love the players there. I love the coaching staff we have there. We had a great situation. But the opportunity to come here and just coach football and not have to do the things that a head coach is asked to do now in college football appealed to me.
Hey, congratulations on chasing fulfillment, and happiness. Not a lot of people do that, man, especially in your profession. You know that. Go ahead, AJ.
Coach, I know you've only been on campus not too long, but you guys have had at least a couple spring practices already. What's it been like getting out there and, exploring your new role and obviously the whole new team trying to learn everybody's name and figure out where everything is? Where's the bathroom? Where's my meeting room? Like, how's that whole situation been?
Where's the plunger?
Well,
yeah, we know, Chip. Especially that Ohio food.
As you know, AJ, you can get lost in this building. So trying to navigate that has been interesting for me. I've found myself walking through the middle of the weight room 3 or 4 times trying to find my office. But it's been awesome. I think the culture that Ryan has here and the rest of the coaching staff and Mickey Mariotti in the weight room has been awesome. The players here have been fantastic. They love football. That's the one thing I can tell you from being here for the short amount of time that I've been here is these players love football. This coaching staff loves football. And you know what it's like being in Ohio. Football is the sport in this state, and it's awesome to be a part of something like that. So I've really enjoyed it. I've been here for 3 weeks. We've had 2 training sessions. We were on the field this morning. We were on the field Tuesday morning. So we've gotten 2 in so far, and it's been awesome.
Does it feel good putting together plans and for the actual practices and scripts and everything like that? I assume you're
that part. We were just watching practice tape when you guys called, so I just I've been able to do football like 8-9 hours a day. So the fact that you can do that, and I've seen Ryan get pulled out of the meeting, and I got to go to this, I got to go to that, and it was like, all right, I'm good. We'll get this. We got the film. We got the X and O part. So
hey, Ryan, good luck out there. Go get us an extra $10 million, pal. Go get it. Yeah. Good luck. I'm gonna go ahead and draw up a couple plays here and do football. And we're apologizing right now for taking you out of that to make you go back to the bullshit that you had to do as a head coach, which is interviews. But okay, good. We appreciate.
My goal is, Pat, is that I want to be as happy in my job as you are in your job.
My man. Well, I can help. I can send you stuff.
No, I'm good.
Okay, Chip. All right, you got it. No, I enjoy what I do, man. I'm very lucky to do what I do, and
I know
the fact that you chase that is cool because I assume, and this is just me being a doofus that talks about sports that has gone through my own self-journey, I think you're probably going to perform the best you've ever performed too. Like if you know what I mean? Like I think that's probably going to be the case. And they always say like, are you happy because you win or do you win because you're happy? I think it's the latter. And like obviously it's not easy to find a sense of happiness or fulfillment and everything like that for people. There's a lot of hard things that happen during life. But when you find something you enjoy, normally your best performances come too because you're preparing a little bit more, you're enjoying the process a little bit more. The things that other people might think like suck, you're like, oh, it's cool I get to do this. It's like that's what it feels like for you after 16 years away from doing what you basically got all of your jobs in your entire life set up from doing. Like that's a cool thing. I bet you're gonna kill it, Chip. Not that you would ever not, but I bet you're gonna kill it here.
That's the hope. I mean, and we talk about all the time. If you love the process will love you back. So the fact that you understand what your role is, how you fit in, and just embrace that, and it's liberating in a way where you're like, hey, this is what I have to do. And the parameters. And the one thing about being here is there's so many other good people in place that you don't have to do more than just your role. I got to coach quarterbacks and work with the offense. But, when you look over in practice and there's Larry Johnson and there's James Laurinaitis and there's Jimmy Knowles and there's Tim Walton, you look at those coaches on the defensive side, you're like, wow. And then you get a chance to work with Brian Hartline every day and Justin Fry and Tony Alford and Keenan Bailey. It's, everybody has a role. And it's going back to being a good team. I think when everybody on a team understands what their role is, You don't have to do more than your role. As Coach Belichick says, just do your job.
Yeah.
I'm excited just to do my job, and I don't need to do anything else. I don't need to do the other things that a head coach wants to do. I just get to coach quarterbacks and be with them every day. And this group of quarterbacks we have here is awesome.
Hell
The
yeah.
fact that I get to be in a meeting room with those guys every day is pretty cool.
Hell yeah. I love hearing that, Chip. Good for you, man. Congratulations. Now, you just mentioned a great coaching staff. That was put together by one man that I think we learned you've known very well. Tone's got a question for you, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, I know you've known Coach Day for a really long time, so I know this adds an extra wrinkle into this, but I know Coach Day's, I think, been a part of or calling the play since 2017. Then obviously you mentioned Coach Hartline, who was the offensive coordinator last year there. And then now I think you and him are listed as co-OCs, and obviously Ryan being an offensive coach. Have you guys talked about and how hard has the conversation been about play calling and who's going to do the play calling with the game plan? Because I know you as a head coach who did play calling in the past, like how was that process with you three together?
Yeah, simple. I said it the other day. I'll call all the good plays. And Ryan will bear the brunt of all the bad plays.
Hey, that's a head coaching job. You signed. Hey.
That's what you have to do as a head coach, right, Pat?
Amen. All right, Chip, get back to the film study. We can't thank you enough for taking time, brother.
All right, guys, appreciate it. AJ, we got to get you over soon.
Yeah, I'm going to come watch practice. I'm going to bring some of my kids over there, Coach.
Yeah.
I'd love to see you. We had Joey Galloway here today, and Bobby Carpenter's been around. I thought Jim would say there's a bunch of guys.
Bobby Carpenter.
John Cooper's been here every day. It's been awesome. There's such a OSU family. I mean, you can't. It's exciting to see all these players and how much they care, and the fact and how much they're around this building. You understand how special this place is.
Yeah, and how much Ohio State takes care of the alumni too. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this. You're going to get to see this. I think over the next year or two. You said you've seen Bobby Carpenter there. Yeah, you're going to be.
I'm seeing a lot of it.
You're going to be having meetings with Bobby Carpenter. He's running sprints with the boys in the winter workouts.
Oh, I know.
Could you imagine that at 40? At 40, this guy's running sprints with college kids. What a psycho. That's Ohio, by the way. That's Ohio, if I have ever heard it.
Just have AJ tell you about what Schlegel does every morning, too. So we'll see that whole deal.
Oh, jeez.
What?
It's awesome.
On staff again.
It's awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, the offense coordinator of the Ohio State Buckeyes. Hey, who's starting quarterback?
Who do you want?
Bobby Carpenter. Ladies and gentlemen, Chip Kelly. Thank you, Coach.
Seems happy, man.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, for now. Very happy.
That's such a real thing that not a lot of people will make that jump because it's a lot less coin, you know, when you get a coordinator from head coach job. But like Chip Kelly, been around a long time. I assume this is just like Von Miller taking the less than whatever it is. It's like, I've made money. Okay, I'm in a good spot. I'm a football guy from humble beginnings. I would just like to maybe enjoy football a little bit more. That's a cool thing to
Especially
make
as you
that
get older.
because coaches never do that.
No.
You see how miserable these coaches
you're
are.
right.
Mac Brown has told us, like, when he was at Texas, we asked him, and he said the pressure of being the coach of Texas for that long is when you won, it was a relief, and when you lost, it was devastating. So there was no happiness ever. You didn't hear a single, like, happy time in there. So you're doing all this work to not even achieve a happy. Like, that is tough, but you just got to do it because you're a head coach. You're not going back anywhere else. So Chip Kelly being like, I'm done with this shit. Like, I love that.
Yes.
I really do. And now, granted, he's going to have to deal with some stuff from those Ohio folks if that offense is not great, you know.
Yeah.
You know
but
what I
it
mean?
all starts.
He knows. Got to win. Got to win. That's all that matters.
Got to win.
Especially this year.
There's one guy ahead of him who's going to get it a lot worse first and foremost.
Who's that?
Ryan Day. I mean, if they don't,
Yeah, he's number one on that public enemy list.
But you know, if their offense sputters early or something, we hired Chip Kelly. Like,
that's still Ryan Day though too.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, what if Ohio could be a babyface turn for Ryan Day? Because I'm not saying it's not going to work. It's going to work. You hear out people that are that like seemingly stress-free and happy are going to perform their best. I think, especially if it's a mental
And
thing.
talent.
I agree.
It's just
I
like
agree.
a clearer thing like that. But if they start out not doing good, Ryan Day almost babyface. He needs to call plays again.
Yeah.
You know, that's not there's a chance that could happen too over there in the great state of Ohio, the Buckeye State, a place of no overreacting at all to anything.
Oh no, none at all. But that it does remind. I need to go see some of the practice. They practice in the morning. Did you ever do that in college? A lot of teams do it now.
I think we did it my last year a couple times. We never did it before, though. It was always afternoon or late afternoon.
Better in the morning?
I'm sure in science.
I think it'd be nice to get it out of the way, though, and then go to class because I knew your last class had to end by like 12:50, and then I had to ride a bus over to the facility, so I had to sprint, get on a bus, get my pads on in like 3 minutes, and get to meetings. Like now, they do all that in the morning. I guess then you can come back in the afternoon and get treatment or do whatever.
I had some incredible professors, at West Virginia.
Yep.
A couple of them, though, I didn't get to hear them do their job much.
Sure.
And it was normally couple of them.
Just a couple.
It was normally the ones that were close to the practice time because it's like, I'm not risking being late to this practice for whatever.
You have to say.
This incredible professor. Very talented.
I'll get the notes online. He'll put the notes online, right?
Bingo, yeah. Yeah.
Got a friend in the class.
When are the tests? Just I need to know when the tests are, and then I'll just cram.
Mm-hmm.
Those nights before were wild. I didn't like cheating in the whole test thing because I felt like it was me versus the class. Like versus the. That's how I did for the professors and for tests in even high school, I think. So always wanted to be super prepared for things that mattered. But boy, all the other stuff in between. I am not risking Rich Rodriguez finding me 5 minutes late as the kicker of this team. Like that is not what I'm not doing stadiums, okay, for the next 3 weeks for whatever you got going on. So I think morning would make more sense because you can just schedule afterwards. And if they run late or there's something that takes place, you can go into the night because I had like a film class, I think like 8 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I was at that one.
Long one.
Those were fun ones.
Yeah, those weren't bad.
The turbos, they used to call them, like 2.5 hours.
You're a morning person though, aren't you? You're a morning guy?
Yeah, I would be, and I'd like to get practice. I would definitely like to get practice out of the way in the morning too. But
do you think
we had guys leave practice to go to class at times? Like every Wednesday, we'd have certain like starters where they would take a class that was only taught at that time, and they had to take it to be on course to graduate, and they would legit be at practice for 30 minutes or something.
At Ohio State?
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, multiple guys like that.
They just invent a different time.
I wonder if that happened in West Virginia. I don't remember.
Probably not.
Does that happen in a lot of places?
Now everything is online, isn't it? Do they even go to class?
I think there was a theory I saw on the internet, so this means absolutely nothing.
You never know. Okay. You never know.
Yeah,
they've been
could be though.
But it's like the college.
They've been hit
in certain departments, I guess. Yeah. But in this particular one, it was like if you get a scholarship, it's used. You get a scholarship in the future, so you're just full-time football. So it's like your job. And then you can use the scholarship
at any time to graduate.
Yeah, like when I think I saw that like hypothesized by somebody because nowadays I would assume, and this is not a knock on any academia, okay? No. But there are certain fields of study that you can major in that are not, they're not college,
Sure. Yeah.
It's not setting you up to ever make a job that you'll ever be able to pay back the amount of money you're paying for college. In a lot of sports, I think, are doing that in a lot of places. Sports are your full-time job. If they end up moving away from the NCAA and doing like a full professional thing, is that what, like, do you just represent the school? Like, do you actually have to be at the school still? Like, how long?
Good question.
You know what I mean? Like, how long does this all... I'm intrigued to see what happens in the future with the whole inevitable professionalism of college football, seemingly. Now, I just said a lot of words that mean none of this could happen. And that's because that is the world that we're in as well. But that is, because right now everything's just going zoom, like changing so quickly like this. It's like, who knows where we're going to stop and where we're going to land at. But like the thought of a college football commissioner has been thrown out by a lot of people with very much influence in college football, say, and everything like that. It's like, then what does the academics have to do, especially if you move the transfer rule into the middle of a semester? Because like a lot of the transfer portal stuff has to happen early because you got to get enrolled for the second semester or the spring semester. It's like, is football just going to let that be the reason why, it's like,
everything seems very confusing. Like, what the hell does college football look like even 5 years from now? I don't think we know.
And Chip Kelly was sitting in meetings trying to figure that out. He's like, I'm sick of trying to, I want to, can we run a 7?
Yeah.
I just want to, are we, like that's what he got
Since 2008. It hasn't ran a meeting room since 2008. I get it. He's probably juiced to be around the dudes again, to actually do like coach football. That's why you start coaching, because you like to teach guys and make them better.
Yeah, every coach is a teacher if they're a good one. Obviously, we learned that through Coach Saban this past year. He's just a professor of football. But the whole head coach stopping in rooms saying, hey, how we doing? they might not even be in that conversation. In their head, there's probably something else happening.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Their head, their body's there.
Yeah, sure.
But their soul is.
If he's there, he's probably just checking on the position coach because he questions that the position coach is doing his job.
Yep. We working? Yep. Okay. Good. All right. Good to see you. Hey, good. Hey, you guys are doing great. Yeah.
Keep it up.
What are we doing? We're doing the thingy? Yep. That's what I thought. All right. See you guys. I need $14 million if we're going to beat Michigan. Okay? If that's what we're going to do, I'm going to need $14 million. I need you, and I got a meeting with a car dealer next, and I got a meeting with an insurance salesman after him.
The head coach run down the hall to put a suit on real quick, and then he sprints out and goes and gives a little 10-minute talk to a group of boosters, and he comes back, changes. Yeah, that's his day.
I mean, Saban just kind of talked about why.
Saban came out and said a lot. We'll talk about that in the next hour, but he did say, like, 80% of these guys just want to know if they're going to play and how much they're getting paid.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's like, that's not what a team is built around.
That's what happened.
And he said, maybe this doesn't work anymore because I wasn't able to change their mind. Like, I think he felt let down in himself.
Yeah, message wasn't landing anymore.
Yeah, he said that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I can't wait to see him on College Game Day.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
We'll be back.
DeBoer has a big test.
What's that?
Kevin DeBoer, it's going to be tough for him. He's got a big job.
You see what Washington is doing. All right, anyways, we'll be back tomorrow with a Feel Good Friday. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Take. Yep, done.
Nailed it.
Well done.
It's hard. We were F1'd.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly. 115.
We did get F1.
We got F1.
Yeah.
That'll happen.
I got F1.
Are we missing it? Are we missing the boat? Or what's
No,
what's our
absolutely not.
We're not. We tried it.
We're not smart enough to understand it? Is that what it is?
Yeah, we don't understand the intricacies of what's going on in front of us. It is an elegance, excellence that we could never fathom with our dumb American palates.
The
I get it.
engineering is just so impressive.
We need a movie.
There was a movie.
47 minutes. I need 47 minutes telling me why.
Actually, you know what it is? They were filming it. You're exactly right. Once the Brad Pitt F1 movie comes out where he is an F1 driver, the F1 boom will go through the roof. I mean, I won't watch it until that comes out. If that movie is sweet, I'll consider it.
Because I just watched Gran Turismo and Ford vs. Ferrari both this week. And, like, yeah, it gives you a real respect for racing, but there hasn't been an F1 movie yet. So
Well, the Drive to Survive thing, I think, gave it a big boost.
I didn't
Sure,
watch that.
but I don't care about that. Is Brad Pitt in that? No. Is Brad Pitt in this F1 movie directed by the guy who directed Top Gun Maverick? Yes, he is.
I don't want to watch
Oh, we're going to be in the damn F1.
Exactly. So give me that, and then I'll consider it.
So then we're just going to see the tail end of another F1 car the whole time? Because that's basically what their races are.
Yeah, maybe.
That's an hour.
Maybe.
How
of
old
the
are these
movie.
F1 drivers? How old are most of the drivers?
I think they're athletes. I think they're all fit. You gotta
But they're
be
like in their
small.
20s, right?
Well, they're super fit, yeah.
Some of them. I believe.
Brad
Lewis
Pitt's
Hamilton's
50-something years old. He looks great, but is he supposed to be a professional driver? in
Probably
this
an
movie?
aging, icon.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably too tall.
Making one last run at it or something.
He's tall, right? Didn't Brad
Like
Pitt?
5'11", 6 foot, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
he's
You don't
probably
see
6'3", I think.
Is AJ Hawk seriously questioning if Brad Pitt can pull off a role right now? Is that what he's trying to insinuate?
Oh, yeah. What's next? George Clooney can't do it? Shut up. Denzel Washington? Enough.
What's
You're
your
right.
problem?
Now that I
You're
thought
right.
of it.
I actually am right. Nick, thank you for calling. You're right. I should not question Brad Pitt
I hope
or
Brad-
George Clooney. Either one.
I hope Brad Pitt, while he is stuffed in that, I mean, he's going to be in there.
Oh, yeah.
He got John Hamm on him, too, I heard.
Well, of
So
course,
it's going to be
Brad
extra
Pitt.
tough.
It's Brad Pitt. I hope while he's doing one of these races, reaches into his pocket, grabs like chips, eats it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shrimp cocktail.
He might.
Subway sandwich.
He's such a good eater on camera.
He is.
He's like the great.
Look how cool that
Oh,
man
my
looks.
God.
Shit.
Are you kidding me? That's
Oh, yeah,
still.
he can't do it, huh, AJ?
Yeah,
Look at how
I take it
cool
back,
that
Brad.
human
I
is.
take it back.
I cannot believe it was an Indy car. That's a bummer. They should have got Brad Pitt in an Indy car.
Well, have you ever seen? There's a Sylvester Stallone and Sunshine from Remember the Titans IndyCar movie that came out in about 2000.
What?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, no one went and saw that one.
yeah, it bombed big time, but still, it's pretty good.
We need Brad Pitt in an Indy car stat.
Okay.
That movie's gonna be great. Sport fucking sucks. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
that's
people
just
are
word.
into it, though.
I
so
mean,
we
is it
gotta-
a sport? That's a question all along,
not
too.
do that.
Driving sport.
It is a sport. 'cause
I'm
I
not
think
touching that. It is a sport.
I think it's a sport because you compete and you can win outright. I think it becomes a
Yes.
competition when judges are the ones deciding because
Bingo.
you're competing for a score. I think it's a sport if you can score.
I don't think it's either because Verstappen wins every time.
Yeah, so
True,
it
no
is quite a monopoly, I guess.
Yeah, no competition.
I did see, I think, over break, ESPN ranked the 100 hardest sports or something like that. Or
Was F1 number one?
There's 100 sports.
I don't think so.
100 sports. Remember Dahn Jones?
Yeah.
You should travel the world.
Oh, he did. That was a good show.
I watched that show. I was a big fan of that
So
show.
did I.
I was a big fan of that show. I forget what it was.
Where'd Dahani go? Dahani was awesome. He was all over for a while, like all over the TV.
Didn't his name come up the other day? I think his name
Ran
came
out
up.
of bow ties.
He did have a good bow tie collection. He was jocked.
He was jocked.
He's very jocked.
Sweet hair.
Sweet sports, though. I'd watch that. I'd like watch a sport. I'd like, oh, I'd be pretty good. I should go.
He'd do like the log tipping or the telephone pole throw, that type of stuff.
I should go to fucking Finland. Looks like that's a sport.
Yeah.
I'd be pretty good.
I mean, the ice skating down a mountain, like that sport, sick.
That's a great sport.
Yeah, that's a race.
Squirrel suit.
Boxing is the hardest sport.
What do you mean hardest?
I think it's probably cardiovascular.
Endurance, strength, power, speed, agility, flexibility.
Leave me out of it.
Hand-eye.
Why, AJ?
Because, I mean, come on now. Put all these numbers and everything. Who's doing the calculations?
I explains it above. But
No, say the number. Dude, these numbers matter. These are real.
You're saying steer wrestling is the easiest sport?
What? That's what I did, isn't it?
No.
That's
top 15. Okay, keep going.
Okay, I was about to say, I did wrestle a steer before.
How's boxing number one and MMA is 6 or whatever when MMA encompasses boxing?
You wouldn't understand.
What's
But it
the
adds
easiest?
all of
Kind of
your-
just debunked this
Jake
whole
Paul
thing.
became a pro in like 5 years.
Well, did he
'cause-
actually, Foxy, or
He's fighting Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Probably because MMA just 5 rounds.
what's the easiest sport?
be.
What's the very bottom?
Usually 3.
Exactly.
Boxing, the boxing
Fishing?
cardio
Yep,
thing.
that makes sense.
The whole
Roller skating. Roller skating's a sport.
yeah, when they're racing.
It's not an activity.
Well, I think it's roller skating is the when they're going around in a circle. It's,
Derby?
Golf is the 51. Come on. Golf is one of the hardest sports.
I think this has to do with
This is just physical.
physical, yeah.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Endurance, strength, power,
Yeah, look,
speed,
there's 65
agility.
categories.
dumb.
What are you talking about? They cover it all.
Nerves? Is that NER? And why isn't golf a 10 on it?
Yes.
Oh, here we go. Here's the key.
Nerve, the ability to overcome fear. Okay, what's golf on nerve? 2.38.
What are we talking about?
What does that mean?
Horse
What does
racing
that
is
mean?
8. The nerves are on the horse.
I think it's adrenaline.
What
I don't know. It's kind of scary to ride a horse running full speed.
Yeah,
on a
definitely
track with horses
scary.
around.
I think I would definitely call that, but I'm talking about golf, the nerve. That's the sport.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
you're
sport
right.
is nerve. Like standing over a pipe.
Fishing. Okay, fishing.
Yeah, that's why it's last.
Last, it's 60, it seems like.
But
Yeah, it's got low numbers across the board there.
sport.
Last by a lot.
These fishermen love fishing. It was 40-some degrees on the lake. They were out there.
Oh, yeah.
Wide open.
Yep. First day that ice melts.
Wide open. They're flying to their spots, too. I seen these two, I think, racing for the same spot because there was a spat.
Really?
It
No.
was awesome. I was watching with my binocs. Oh, my God. Guy had double twin turbos on the back. The other one just had a one.
Oh, that
Yeah.
guy's got to go then.
The one had a head start, quite a head start. I think the one thought, easy breezy, beautiful day out here on the lake.
Sure.
Glass water. Nothing. Nobody. Chilly as shit. Jacketed up. Hatted up. Cruising. Sitting on that little fucking seat in the middle of the boat.
Yep.
That just has nothing else but like seat, so they could just stand, and then some seat pops out in the front that looks incredibly uncomfortable. Having a morning. And then this fucking big dog
Yep.
comes flying around. Like goes into like there's like little, what are those called?
Like the whale?
Inlets, like
Cove?
coves, inlets. There it is. Goes into this cove, and like I'm in eye shot of this entire thing. Parks that thing, and then you see the slower one like turn sideways, like let down. Like you saw it, like yeah. It was awesome, dude. You got to get your spot.
Yeah, you do.
Exactly.
You got to get your spot when
Yep.
you're out there fishing. That's a little nervy.
Oh, yeah.
That's a little nervy. What about the sunburn? These guys are getting absolutely cooked. These assholes are out here.
Yeah. These days, they all got the hook fishing shirts that are very actually fashionable.
Not all of them. Some of these people, I think, have spent every dollar they've ever made on their fishing boat.
Definitely.
Like this is they are doing this. This is my life. Okay, I'm going to work to get enough money to do what? Eat to survive and fish.
Yep.
And they love. It's awesome to watch. They're pulling some fucking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you don't think those guys who are cheating were nervous? Could you imagine the nerves on those guys?
When they were putting weighted
In other fillets?
Keister a bunch of balls to take them out there, because they check your boat.
Yep.
How'd they hide them?
Hey, that was Ohio, right?
I believe the guys were from Ohio, or the fishing competition was in Ohio.
I think C, all of the above.
Yep.
I think.
Well, you saw as they policed their own. They knew. They found it out. Those guys found them. Hey, here we go. Cut them open.
For those that don't know what we're referring to, a few years ago, there was a scandal that rocked the fishing world like something we've never seen before in the fishing community.
Yeah.
2 fishermen, we think from Ohio, in an Ohio fishing tournament on a lake, started dumping weights into the guts of the fish that they would catch. They'd get a 6-inch fish, and it'd be weighing more than a 22-inch fish. Won multiple tournaments.
Oh, yeah. A lot of prize money.
Thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Somehow, these guys at multiple lakes, in multiple rivers and creeks, are able to find the heaviest fish, even though they're not the biggest and longest fish. And then one day, they tried their old trick.
Oh, boy.
And the rest of the Ohio fuck said, wait, 1 minute. I'm about sick of this shit. They took a knife to one of these fish. Fillets that you buy at the grocery store were falling out of these fish fillets, though.
Yeah. Yes.
They were fish fillets falling out of the fish. Weights and rocks and pebbles falling out of the fish. Hey, the fish were hungry. It's a dumb fish. It ate a rock. What about the weight? You put it, fish was hungry. It's even more so. This fish eats rocks.
Yeah.
And I caught it. And then they ended up in like jail.
Oh, yeah. Had to give back hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And their boats.
Yeah.
That's a damn shame. That's a damn shame. I heard something about an Ohio Chick-fil-A, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get to a break.
Not good.
I did not, actually. So.
You don't want it.
It's not good.
Terrible.
Similar to
Chick-fil-A food, incredible. The restaurant, phenomenal.
Similar to an Iowa KFC situation.
An owner of a Chick-fil-A that does not represent the entire company, but it's certainly right there in the headline.
Is Matt Rife an Ohio guy?
Nope.
Heard he was training last night. He trains all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a weird deal.
There's been a lot of that on the internet, like just things being said and then like person wakes up from a nap maybe.
Whoa.
Holy sh!
What's going on?
We're in a different time now than we were
What?
before the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Internet's a wild place. It's the greatest place on earth, and at the same exact time, the worst place on earth.
That's right.
Always.
Tread lightly, my friends. Zach Ertz is on the other side. He just got to deal with the Commanders.
Hell yeah.
Congrats, Zach. Proud of you, buddy.
Oh, Zach.
Super Bowl champion Jason Kelsey told a story about him the other day in his retirement speech. I'm excited to ask him about his thoughts on that. We saw Nick Foles' reactions to the shout-out that Jason Kelsey gave him and his penis in the retirement speech.
Yep.
Nick Foles said, we all loved the speech. We all got a good laugh. That was in a video that was on the New Heights podcast.
Good chug.
Great chug.
Yeah.
Nick Foles.
He said after, still got it.
Yeah. When you're ready.
Yeah, there you go.
I became a massive Nick Foles fan.
Me too.
Over the last 3 days.
Yeah. 24 hours.
Yeah, pretty much. Love everything about him.
Yeah.
What was that, Tom?
Just got a clarification from at Steeler Nation tweeted us and said one of the fishermen is from Hermitage, PA. Not all Ohio guys.
Oh,
Okay.
so Pittsburgh.
Oh, no.
No, Hermitage is
idea.
Hermitage is
He was the ringleader.
Huh.
Who?
The Pittsburgh guy.
He's not in Pittsburgh, it's Pennsylvania. It's a big state. 6 hours, one side to the
Stone
other.
said it was basically touching.
Sounds like it is a Pittsburgh guy.
This is a Pittsburgh guy, huh? You see him?
Yep.
That's Joe Nardo.
He's the best of us, though.
Hermitage is right outside of Youngstown. It's like right on the other side of the border.
Joe's got a hammer.
Duh.
Especially when he's on that Doppler. Shout out to Shop 412.
Shout out.
Shout out. Rest in peace, Joe.
Miss
Thanks
you,
for everything
Joe.
you did.
Love you, Joe. Love you, Joe.
Joe Nardo is the greatest meteorologist in the history of meteorology.
Not even close.
Invented the word
Doppler.
Number 2.
This guy.
and meteorology.
He was probably worked for the CIA.
Don't you
There's a chance.
you think Joe Nardo was a rat?
He might have.
No.
Get the
compliment.
He was,
He was
a war
saving our
hero.
lives. He was keeping Americans safe.
Yeah, he's
probably.
protecting Pittsburgh from the inside with weather.
I don't know what you guys are trying to say here. I don't like it. I will let you know, I don't like what you just said right there.
Like Storm from X-Men.
Because what Joe Nardo did on that Doppler will never be duplicated.
No.
You can never duplicate the Nardo on the Doppler.
Ever.
And I'll double down on that every day of the damn week. Okay? That's the Nardo, baby.
Yeah.
That's right.
He was damn good.
He was.
That right side looks like he's like coaching wrestling too.
He's coaching
He's a
life.
priest on the right side.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
I think that was actually at a wrestling tournament with all the meteorologists from around the country.
Wrestling each other?
Yep.
And
The
Joe
meteorologist.
Donardo, you should have seen what he did to Al Roker. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Suplex.
That
Single
was bigger
leg.
back then, too, yeah.
Single leg. Joe Donardo snapped it off. Single leg. Scoop. Body cross.
Fall.
Hey.
Joe actually took the
singlet off. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Let's get to a break. Zach Ertz on the other side. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. Love you, Joe.
Miss you, Joe. Bummed out every day that you're no longer with us, Joe.
Gone too soon.
Talk Kurt Angle, everything he knows.
Kurt Angle grew up watching Joe Nardo.
Joe was an all-state basketball player. They called him the Flash.
Jumping Joe? Yeah, I know.
Well, that
I'm
was
from
in a different
Pittsburgh.
sport. He was track,
Oh.
too. He did a high jump.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Let's get to a break. Zach Ertz will join us on the other side.
Go.
Did you see what was happening in the women's CONCACAF last night? I think it's Zach Ertz. I think of obviously his wife.
yeah.
who's
Yeah, what a joke.
U.S. women's national team member. The CONCACAF is the hardest place to play. You can't even run with a soccer ball last night.
No. Can't kick it.
Did we beat the hell out of Canada in that?
Won in a penalty shootout.
Oh, my God.
God, that must have been the most boring soccer game in the history.
It was pretty electric,
Dude,
actually.
because there'd be Alex Morgan has a wide open run at this thing, and then the ball just wouldn't go forward anymore.
Yep.
In a puddle, she's full speed, actually, almost pulling hip flexor, quad, shin, while trying to kick the ball forward through a pond on the field. And then ball's going the other. Oh, fast break now for Canada.
Yep.
Because they pulled the ball out of the pond. They're going the opposite direction when America thought they were on a full speed rush this way.
Final against Brazil.
USA Brazil?
Yep. They beat Mexico 3-0.
So just real quick, Brazil's in the CONCACAF?
Yeah, I thought South
Yeah,
America.
that's interesting.
They are not.
But also USA's
How
in the
does Copa
Copa.
not know?
Copa America's in the States this year. USA's in it.
Brazil is not.
Feels like people are just entering random
This
tournaments
makes sense.
now.
Oh, it feels like people are entering random tournaments now.
Yeah,
That's what
now.
it feels now.
Well,
just
recently,
now.
like tonight, there's the CONCACAF Champions League. Inter Miami's playing.
See, this is what we've been talking about, AJ. There's too many things.
No,
they
but
just play
this is
an
actually
MLS game?
this is actually huge because an MLS team will
No, it's
make
not.
the Club World Cup and play against Man City, the best of the best, in a tournament.
I didn't even know there was a Club World Cup.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just learning that
Like
exists.
this is actually huge, to be honest.
Yeah, by the way.
Okay,
How
hey,
many
good for
times have
us.
you said that?
Good for the CONCACAF.
Well, you don't want MLS to play against the best teams in the world, AJ?
We are the best teams in the world.
yeah.
What are we even talking
You
about?
mentioned
The
15
Club
tournaments.
World Cup.
Man City ain't the best of the best, Gump. It's
But there is
Inter
a World Cup.
Miami.
You'll never walk alone, my friend.
Are we hosting? I see they're dropping a LeBron uniform. Are we hosting the club world championship?
No, I don't know where it is.
Inter Miami, the best team.
They should.
Okay, let's do a vote. Who has the best player? Oh,
We do.
do.
Miami.
So we host it now.
Yep.
Sorry. Balloon d'Or. You guys gave it to him.
Yeah.
Big win for Columbus Crew last night. 96 minutes.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah,
That was
right at the
filthy.
death.
Yeah.
Right at that.
That was sick.
Big
What's-
night for you, AJ.
What's U.S. Nations
Oh, yeah.
coming up? What's this?
The which?
The U.S. Nations Cup.
Oh, that's just the 4 top teams in CONCACAF playing a little 4-game tourney. Just to
Aren't they
semifinal
doing
and
that
a
right
final.
now?
Yeah, what's the difference?
That's women's.
What are we
dude.
doing?
They just run it back next week.
Would you
It's
guys
women's.
have
Christ.
a
Make
little
the
coup?
schedules.
Like a pickup game.
Jesus.
How do you
CONCACAF
keep
matters,
track of
dude.
anything? How does anybody schedule a game when they're all playing in 30 different tournaments on 5 different continents?
Well, you're international and you have your domestics. That's just how
Okay,
it goes.
the
These
more
aren't
you talk, the
domestic,
more
though. We're going to
confused.
Brazil.
Yeah.
What do we even say? They're not even in the CONCACAF.
You guys sound
And
like a
it's-
bunch of uncultured swine.
Thank you, Tony.
All I know is the United States is winning it. The MLS is the best league in town.
Yeah. Is
So-
Raina going to play for us this year? That's all I want to know.
Put him on the field.
Our
Hey,
guy's
he's having
going to play.
he's having a tough go in Italy.
No, that's because that league's
No,
not
like
good enough.
he's playing well, but the fans have turned on him.
Who
Well,
cares?
that's classic
Yeah.
Italy. We know why.
You wouldn't know shit about that.
Oh, I do. I do know a lot about that, Tony.
Let's get to a break. Mark Schlereth has sent us a photo from his gym with Fuji. Holy shit.
My God.
He's got
That is not a snake on his right arm. That is not a worm. That is one of his veins. Somehow.
got the Cena biceps.
Look at how fucking round this human being is.
Jeez.
Zito has forwarded me a quote that Mark Schlereth has sent to
That's called power.
the program. Hey, set your goals high. I mean, a body like this is unrealistic for you ass clowns. But don't let it deter you. Let it encourage you. By the way, Fuji says you're a bunch of soft-ass bitches.
Fuji.
I thought we had a good convo.
Yeah.
Come on, Fuge.
Fuge.
Known you 30
I
years.
love that, man.
We got no problem, Stink, okay?
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. And tell your nipple to stop staring at me.
Yeah, good Lord.
What a monster.
Turn the heat up.
Ice cold in there.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I don't think it's cold in there.
Man.
I think
Everyone else
He's just always rocked up.
Imagine, that is a double XL shirt probably.
Oh, yeah.
I need these companies to start making bigger shirts, more cold.
What if you're a 90-year-old grandma, though, and you're just getting a little workout in or
They
doing a
were
little
in the
hand
background.
bike, and Stink is out there just repping out.
Load it up, Fuge!
You stay out of the way if you're that old woman.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Stink says. I'd love to walk. He said, remember, he told us one time that he walks into gyms and then guys are doing bench and he goes, can I get in with you guys or whatever? And he goes, yeah. And he reps out their max.
Yep.
He just starts repping it out. And then he puts it down and then he just walks away. I let him know that the gorilla just showed up or something. Such a meathead, dude.
The best.
All right, let's get to a break. Zach Ertz will be on the other side. He better look good.
Yeah,
You better.
Guests on this show are jacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always.
You can't see it because of the way Sal's camera was, but Sal Capaccio,
He's jacked.
Yeah.
14-pack.
Yeah.
Jock.
Chip Kelly, he's been squatting 500 pounds for the last 18 years.
Powerlifting.
Yeah.
In Ohio with Anthony Schlegel, I think is what I heard every morning. Is that what Schlegel is doing?
Oh, yeah. Schleg's in there.
He's the strength coach again?
He's one of them, yeah. He's been back.
These Ohio State Buckeyes see the Michigan team beat them 3 times.
Can't have
Everyone's
that.
coming
All
back.
right. What do you need a strength coach? Yeah, you do. I've been watching. We do, yeah. We lost to Michigan, so.
Blow a conch.
I'm back.
Laurinaitis walks in there. You guys need a coach? Well, you can be, like
Nope. No.
GA or whatever. No.
I'm linebacker.
No, yeah,
coach,
we lost to Michigan 3 times. Why don't we?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Heartline.
Joey Galloway, Heartline.
Yeah.
Everybody's just like, so what are we doing out here? Okay. That's great news. Everybody's seemingly. And Chip Kelly's a weapon. People forget that.
Oh, yeah.
When you talk about offensive football. Jason Kelce shouted him out for changing football forever in the NFL. It's like now
I played against him. I played against the Chip's first year in Philly. Yeah. Talk about a week of practice where coaches were losing their mind. We were trying to practice a super quick tempo. Yeah, that went well.
How about Chip saying, all the good calls are mine, all the bad ones are Ryan Day? Sounds like Chip Kelly's calling the plays.
Yeah, great answer.
Yeah, and I think Hartline, who's going to be a head coach when, like next year?
They're
Probably whenever he decides to take a gig, I bet.
And then Ryan Day, obviously, has had a lot of success. I think he's like 50-3 or something like that.
Yeah. Top 3, though.
I forget what his record is. Like, they're all good. But I think that's like how football people view Chip, though. Like, I think there's a little bit of a difference between, like, how some fans might view Chip Kelly versus, like, how football people seemingly view Chip. It's like, oh, yeah, change football. Yep. Probably want to have that guy's brain around. Good for him. Let's get to a break. Zach Ertz will be on the other side. Got a lot to talk about with him with the Commanders, the future, what he was told. Is it the Cliff Kingsbury connection or is it something else? Is it wanting to be a part of something that's brand new, like the Commanders are this upcoming year? We shall see. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Take 5. What's that coming down the track? What's that coming down the track? It's the mean machine in the red and black. It's the mean machine in red and black. Nothing finer in the land. Ain't nothing finer in the land than a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan. Obnoxious Georgia fan. Go Dogs! Go Dogs! Go Dogs! Then you go to pick up a box and a bong falls out of there. What, do you have anything to say about that situation, or what do we got going on?
It's not a bong, first of all.
Whoa! The head coach of the Georgia Bulldogs, Kirby Smart.
In the SEC, you got to do that every week, man.
No, easy this year.
Like I said, there's an open invitation. Call Greg Sankey, come down here and get you some of this SEC if you want it. Be careful what you ask for.
Yeah, I'd like to make a small contribution to the Marine Corps Scholarship Fund. Give at least $15,000 and see if Richard will match.
I'll match $15K from
Match.
us.
Awesome.
$15K from you. We need Dick Smith FedEx CEO, $15,000. That's $45,000 to the Marine Scholarship Fund. And I believe today is the 248th birthday of the Marine Corps. So, University of Georgia legend, ladies and gentlemen, Matthew Stafford.
What's up, guys?
Shout out to this man winning $1,000 on this Feel Good Friday when AJ Hawk. There's a few older white ladies that told me I did not deserve to wear the G on my chest. And they said I needed to get out of Chuck's Seafood Restaurant. This is David Pollock's town. I told her right back to her face, I want to let you know, you can say and think whatever you want about me. I love this Georgia Bulldogs team.
That's what I want to hear.
You should take this in. It's pretty cool.
I don't hear that.
You need to, because you've done a lot here that has been fantastic. Have you ever thought anything bad about a kicker before?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Trust what I taught you while we were off air and just let it rip.
Yeah, Hot Rod was giving a little bit too many tips. Georgia! Bulldog! Georgia! Georgia! Oh, you're hyping it up. Georgia! Let's go! For $85,000 in drenched jeans. Do it! Any place that says we are the drunk, obnoxious fans, and any place that barks at everybody when they see them, that's a town for me. I got the Bulldogs winning big today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Listen, I'm just curious. I noticed that in every single one of those pictures you took, you're wearing the same suit. So I'm just curious. Were you only at the Combine one day? Did you only work one day? I mean, you talk about how you're the hardest working guy ever. You're there one day? Like, what's going on there?
Well, I don't know, Ty. I mean, are we in Milan at the fucking fashion show? I'm there for work, asswipe, okay? So, yeah, I mean, if you want to go and play grab ass with people, oh, hey, look at my Versace suit, look at my, listen, all right, very simple. Yes, I wore the same suit and shirt combo and tie combo every single day. You ever heard of Steve Jobs, okay? Turtleneck every single day. Take one decision out of your day. It's a very beautiful, nice suit. $79.99 off the rack at Macy's, okay? Very, very dependable. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not there trying to, get all the girls to look at me and say, oh, geez, Mad Mel, this guy's fucking sexy. I'm there to let these NFL GMs and pro personnel, staff know, hey, this is what you got to do to win a Super Bowl. I mean, the fact that you'd even ask that question tells me how big of a dipshit you are and how much, honestly, just how clueless you are. So I won't be taking any fucking questions from you for a long time, my friend.
Jeez.
You know what? As a matter of fact, fuck this. I'm done. Okay, I've given you guys enough. This is bullshit.
Whoa.
Fuck you guys.
Whoa.
What?
Whoa.
What did I say?
What the?
Guy, way to go.
Come on,
is Mango still there?
I don't got to do this. They act like I don't got anything to do. I mean, I got hours and hours of film I could be looking at. These fucking assholes are treating me, like it's a stand-up comedy special. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm fucking sick of it. Okay? I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. Fuck them.
Gee, sorry.
Guy.
Is he still?
Look how you made Mad Mel feel.
An honest question.
I thought it was a good conversation.
Nah, you did attack him a little bit. You attacked him a little bit. I think he overreacted, but that's classic Mad Mel. I think we can, besides the way that thing abruptly ended. What was that all about?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, professionalism, maybe. Just a tad bit.
It's all right. Draft season's Mad Mel season.
Hey.
What?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this magical Zoo Thursday, March 7, 2024. Hour 3 of the program starts now. Sports! What's all about? Sports is the greatest thing on earth. That's AJ Hawk. The Talks the Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, Tom Diggs is here. And there's some breaking news seemingly over the last few hours on the internet. Chris Jones posted a tweet that had a screenshot of a phone call that was lasting an hour and a photo of Andy Reid tackling Chris Jones after they won the most recent Super Bowl. So up there at the top it says 1 hour green phone. So unless he's there are people that do that. They're just on the phone with people.
Yep.
And they're not talking or anything. They're just kind of walking through life.
Yep.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I didn't know that. I had no idea that was happening until I ran into one of these people. They're like, yeah, just
hanging out.
They're here. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Who is?
It's a little weird.
What are you talking about?
Somebody that they're just like I walked into a conversation and somebody said something through somebody. And I just met these group of people. I'm pretty good with names. A name was mentioned that was not in the circle. But I didn't fully know because I just met these people.
Right.
We go through conversation. Call person I thought was potentially that person by the name. They go, no, here. And I go, who? And it was just somebody that was just hanging out with the group.
My buddy.
Yeah.
Was it a meeting?
No, it was like at a
hangout?
Like a hangout, yeah. I don't know what was going on. I didn't know if it was like a situation where the guy wasn't able to make it or if they just do that. It was a weird scene. But nonetheless, this just happened. Chris Jones, hour-long conversation, tweeting a photo of Andy Reid celebrating. Looks like Chris Jones is back, just like he said drunkenly at the Kansas City Super Bowl parade before that ended in very devastating fashion. And then obviously, that's huge for the Kansas City Chiefs, AJ Hawk.
Gigantic. The guy's an absolute disruptor, but he had to get a giant bag of cash, don't you think? I mean, to keep this guy around, like, he is so valuable. I just know from speaking to opposing O-linemen how bad they despise playing the Chiefs because of Chris Jones.
Yeah, and whenever they franchise tag Snead, we knew that Chris Jones could potentially hit the market, especially with how everything happened last year where he held out and he was at the game that he wasn't playing in, hoping for a contract, and the contract gets agreed to where it's pretty much the same as what it would have been with maybe a little extra incentive if they win a Super Bowl. They did, so he ends up getting more money, so I think they would consider it a success. But him going back to Kansas City, whenever he drunkenly said it, felt like more of a, I want to be a part of something special type talk. Yeah. I wonder what the number is. I wonder how they got to this point. I know the Katz brothers are negotiating the contract. They're great agents, good people, but they're also humans there as opposed to just like machines. I wonder what they agreed upon, what they didn't agree upon, but keeping a pillar like Chris Jones around from his 40 all the way to this past Super Bowl to his parade speech, legend. And congrats to both parties, and sucks for everybody else.
Certainly.
Got them all.
Sucks for everybody else. Another signing happened. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commanders signed this guy, tight end going into year 12, Super Bowl champion, absolute stallion and stud, always has a great fade.
Great. Always
has a great fade. He got mentioned in Jason Kelsey's retirement speech just the other day. Ladies and gentlemen, Zach Ertz.
Zach.
How are we?
What's up, guys?
How are you?
We're doing well. How are you?
Good.
We're doing well, man.
I forgot you went to Stanford. We had Dalton Schultz on yesterday. Now we got Zach Ertz on. This is becoming a Stanford tight end show all of a sudden. Kobe Fleener's on tomorrow. Kobe Fleener's on tomorrow. Zach, congrats on the new deal with the Commanders. Obviously, everybody linked you and Cliff Kingsbury. Is that a big piece of this? What did you learn about the Commanders going forward? Because obviously, brand new chapter. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Obviously, Cliff has been a huge part of my success the past few years in Arizona. And so when he got the job in Washington and I was a free agent, it was very easy for me to say, hey, this is a place that I would love to play for. They've essentially redone the entire building since when I first came into the league. New owner, new GM now, new head coach. And I've never heard anyone say a bad word about Dan Quinn. And so I'm extremely excited to play for him and get back on the East Coast is going to be fun.
Hell yeah, man. I think obviously Commanders fans have to be pretty excited about it all, about what the future could look like. You just laying out what you heard and your thoughts as somebody that's been introduced to this brand new chapter, it's going to get some people jacked up.
Yeah.
I think people are going to get a little zeked up over there about the future of the Commanders. Go ahead, AJ.
Zach, what does Cliff do, like, specifically as an offensive play caller? We hear people talk about the genius of what he is, and he spends 20 hours in the office studying everything and opponents and how to exploit them. Like, what do you like that he does offensively?
Yeah, it's obviously I was kind of raised in the West Coast system at Stanford with Coach Harbaugh and Coach Shaw, and then my first couple of years with Chip were so different, and then Doug Peterson was completely different. But they all kind of had similar terminology. But when I got traded to Arizona years ago, I pretty much had to like put everything aside I knew about offensive terminology and kind of rewire my brain just because it is so different from what I was in for so long. But I think the thing that's unique about Cliff is that he doesn't care where a play comes from. He doesn't care if it's a high school football game. He's open to all ideas. There's no totem pole that the OC has to have all the ideas, then the quarterback coach, and then the tight end coach. There's no pecking order with him. He's going to let all of his guys bring all these different game plan ideas. And he's going to get his guys the ball. That's one of the things he first told me when I got out there. He's like, hey, man, it doesn't matter if you're a receiver, tight end, running back. I'm going to get my guy touches. And so I'm excited about being back with him.
Yeah, and whenever you got traded, was it traded? No. Yeah,
Traded
you traded
to Arizona.
Yeah, when you got traded to Arizona, I remember it was a big deal because you were on a plane, sitting next to Kyler. The relationship kind of like, grew. And you said the success you had in Arizona led to you and Cliff Kingsbury wanting to continue. And the Commanders will be excited about that alongside everything else. But a lot of people remember you as Philadelphia Eagle.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Philadelphia Eagle, Super Bowl champion. Obviously, a lot of moments. And Jason Kelce in his retirement speech the other day told a story about you. And obviously, Jason Kelce chose to shout out people like in the way that he did through his retirement speech, obviously too many folks. But learning that about you, the story that he told was very cool. And when you're watching along and listening alongside everybody else, what are your thoughts? And did your mind go back to those times in Philly at all while Jason was kind of going through all of this?
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows how I feel about my time in Philly. Our foundation is still doing amazing work back there. And so my love for Philly will never change. So I just want to say that. I don't know what the reception is going to be. I'm all in on the Commanders, though, and so I'm excited about that. But obviously I played with Kels for 9 years, and just watching his speech, it probably took about 4 years for him to write that speech because he probably dissected it 10,000 different ways. And to hear him kind of go back through memory lane and tell stories about some of the things that I struggled with early in my career. And some of the best memories of my career in Philly were just with Kels at the cafeteria table talking BS and after team meetings on Saturday nights. And so he was with me through a lot of tough times in Philly. And I think we helped each other along the way. And so seeing him go out and seeing that speech and how emotional he was, I wasn't surprised, but I mean, you could tell how much he loved that city, how much he loved the game, and obviously he's going out the way he wants to because we all know he could still play another 2, 3, 4 years.
Yeah, and you can obviously tell how much love he has for you, too, because in the middle of it, while he's emotional, he talks shit on you. He goes, rightfully so.
Yeah, I noticed that, too. It was rightfully so. That was a tough day, obviously, for me, a tough week following that week, but it led to a lot of changes in my life, a lot of reflective moments. The city was killing me for a week. The media said I should never start another game for the Eagles. And in that city, you either got to put up or shut up, essentially. And I think I thrived from that moment on. And so it definitely was a big, I would say, pivot point in my career there.
I think that's what maturing is going through situations, adapting and evolving and learning from them. And like, you never know what that situation is going to be that's going to thrust you into your best, And boy, for me, I got arrested, for a public intoxication. And it was like, that was terrible. I was not good enough to be the distraction that I was. But that moment, I got killed by everybody. It like changed my perspective on everything, and I needed it almost. But I assume in that week when you're getting murdered by everybody, you do not see it that way, because I did not. That was a tough time and I assume that week was the longest week of your life over there in Philly. And now look, $5 million deal with Commanders. Year 12. Year 12, Ertz. It all worked out. Hey, Man's got a question for you, brother.
Yeah, Zach, obviously in Philly, you had Wentz and Foles, and then when you go to Arizona, you got Kyler Murray. Going to Washington, is it a different feeling when, there's so many questions with the quarterback position over there, or did Cliff Kingsbury already tell you, like, hey, we're going to trade up and get Caleb?
Yeah,
Williams,
what are you guys doing?
Don't even worry about it.
I have no inside information in regards to the quarterback situation. I've played with a ton of different quarterbacks in my career, all different styles. My first game I played was with Michael Vick. So I've played with a bunch of different quarterbacks. And Cliff, what he's also really good at is making it easy for a quarterback. And so whether it's a guy at 2, or they trade up, or they trade down, or they sign a free agent, or Sam Howell plays. So I honestly have no idea what their plan is at the quarterback position. But it's my job to create as much separation as possible to make their job as easy as possible. And I feel like that's what I've been able to do over the past 11 years of my career. And it's something that I look forward to being able to do again in Washington.
Just tell us, Zach.
I have no inside information. Call Cliff. Get him on the show, man.
Yeah, right. I heard all he does is just watch film pretty much and then go look incredibly cool.
And then go to that cool beach.
Yeah.
Bali or whatever.
All the way on the other side of the world.
Thailand, yeah.
Yeah, and then come back and just watch film all day and then do something cool.
Yeah, he loves ball. He's a big lover of football and watching film, and he's all about scheming up ways to get his guys.
I think it's hard to believe for people. Like A.Q. Shipley was on our program, and he described Cliff Kingsbury, and he's like, this guy's a grinder, man. Like, he is in there 4 or 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, and he's there all the way. Like, I don't think people think that because of how cool Cliff Kingsbury looks.
Yeah, the house, too, when he's sitting there.
Yeah, the picture on draft night with the whole thing. Like, the guy looks too cool to be a grinder. So, congrats to him, just being like the coolest guy of all time.
He's got it all.
And works his dick off.
Yeah.
I mean, baby, Cliff.
Keep going, Cliff.
Yeah,
Good luck out there, Cliff.
Round of applause for Cliff.
Yeah, hey, Cliff, way to go, Cliff.
Yeah. Keep it going.
Way to go, Cliff. He did coach Caleb Williams in college last year.
That's right.
And I think that's what he was telling Zach Ertz.
Okay.
What he's doing in there.
Don't you worry.
We're making a move.
It's either Caleb or we're going to bring back Tom friggin' Brady.
Oh, you ever heard of Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
You ever hear of Kirk Cousins?
He likes walking.
Coming back home.
Oh, did you see what happened in Denver? Oh, isn't that interesting? Oh, Russell Wilson.
I like him, too.
Look how cool he looks.
Yep.
You don't think to yourself, oh, that's like the hardest working human in football.
No, you don't.
You don't think, like, that is not what you...
Field turf out there.
Yeah, well, he's running sprints back and forth. He's doing the Z. He's doing the snake sprints.
That's the hardest working guy in the
back pedal forward.
Yeah, back pedal. Yeah, that's exactly. Zach, you've been there. Is that what's going on? Is that what's going on in the back there?
Yeah, I mean, he needs some freaking, I would say calf raises based on that picture. But other than that, he's thriving out there for sure. I don't even know if he still has that place out here, but I'm sure he's going to have some sweet spot in Virginia.
I've Zillowed in the Phoenix area. That house has been sold for so much money.
I bet.
So much money. That Zillow is a hot one over there. Tone's got a question for you, Zach.
Yeah, Zach, I think the Lions signed you the day after they won the divisional against the Bucks, and then if they would have held on, and if you guys would have held on in the second half, would you have been playing in the Super Bowl? Do you know that or any? What the situation was there?
Yep. Yeah. So the plan was initially, obviously, to come in for a week and learn the playbook, and then have an opportunity to have a legitimate role in the Super Bowl.
That'd been awesome.
And so when we were up 24-10, and then obviously everyone knows what happened and didn't finish the game. It was tough watching, man. I wanted to be out there, and I think just being out there, I love Detroit. I love Dan Campbell. Steve Hyden is my guy, the tight end coach out there. And Sam Laporte is a stud, man. So it was a lot of fun being out there, especially with all the drama that kind of happened in Arizona. It was great to kind of be back out there in a culture that was playing for an NFC championship. And so, yeah, the plan was to play in the Super Bowl, which would have been insane with everything that happened in the past year and a half.
Yeah, that would have been dope.
Yeah.
That's
it would have been awesome.
Yeah, that is like T.Y. Hilton signed in like week 12 or 13 with the Cowboys whenever they were going on a run. It was like, oh, that feels like a good career there. We thought JJ was going to, your friend, we thought JJ Watt was going to do that this past year. It was like, wait a minute, is he going to, because he was still running, they said he was still running sprints and shit, JJ. He was still staying in shape.
Are you surprised? I mean,
he's a psycho, huh? No, not as well as you, obviously. He's a psycho. Yeah. That's what I feel like. This guy is a psycho.
Yeah, he trains hard still. He sends me pictures of the workout cars that he's doing. I don't even know who's making them for him all the time, but it's like sets of 20 on lunges, sets of 20 on squats. I'm like, bro, take a deep breath.
Just one time. One time do that. It is. Yeah. But we thought he was going to do that, do a run. You to sign and then just, what do we hear? Oh, there's only a Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Cool.
All right, I'm preparing for a Super Bowl. If I'm going to play here, I'm going to be playing in. That's a perfect setup. I mean, obviously you want to be with a team. You don't want everything else to take place, but like that's a pretty good setup. Go ahead, AJ.
Zach, you mentioned like you played for a lot of great coaches through college and the NFL. Can you describe what it was like playing for Jim Harbaugh back in college?
Oh man, it was mental warfare for sure. I mean, I was 18 years old. Didn't know up from down at that point. And I was redshirting that year, my first year at Stanford. And so it was, the guy is the best motivator that you've ever been around. He would get under your skin for 6 days out of the week. And then on Saturdays, you'd want to run through a wall for the guy. And so he has your back more than anyone probably I've ever been around. He loves his players, and he's going to push them to get the absolute best out of them. I was only with them for 2 years. Obviously, my freshman and sophomore year, he left after we beat Virginia Tech in the Orange Bowl here. You know, beat Virginia Tech, or other side.
It's all right. It's all right. Stanford.
Yeah, exactly. But I loved playing for him. He was perfect for me when I was 18, 19, and I definitely wouldn't have been the player or had the career I had without him.
Every story about him's hilarious, it seems like, you know? Yeah. Like every single one.
Too many stories.
They're saying this guy was in a cold tub, full khakis, polo, socks, and shoes or something. Like that was the story that was told at the Combine.
Have you heard the story about his hatred for chicken, essentially?
No. He's come all the way back around.
He has, huh?
Yes. This is real.
He's in on chicken.
This is
he owns them now.
Yeah, he said high production,
low maintenance.
Yeah. He said I was wrong. I was wrong about these chickens. I used to say scared bird, nervous bird. Don't want
nervous birds.
Yeah, don't want that. Bird. Don't want that in you. Don't be eating anything. It's nervous. You don't need any more of that. You need to be great or whatever. I don't like the chickens at all. He has chickens at his house. They're his pets, and he said I think he said we get like a dozen eggs every other day.
Yeah,
high production,
phenomenal.
Low maintenance. I completely flipped on these things, and that's probably Harbaugh right there saying, "Hey Zach, I love these chickens. You need to get some chickens." Zach, we appreciate your time, man. What was your major in Stanford?
It was called Management Science and Engineering, essentially industrial engineering. But one more Harbaugh story. I can't leave on without giving a Harbaugh story.
Okay.
This guy says he willed himself to being 6'4" by hanging on the monkey bars every day, and drinking whole milk. So that was his secret to success: hanging on the monkey bars and drinking whole milk.
Believes it too.
Oh yeah.
That's the only reason I'm 6'4".
Believes it too. When he was a kid, they were all going somewhere.
Nope.
He was hanging.
What a legend. I'm so happy he's back in the NFL.
Yes.
Hey, let's pivot away from the NFL. Did you watch the U.S. women's national team in the CONCACAF Global Super Championship last night against Canada in that wet game? And what were your thoughts on it? How'd the family react to it?
We stayed up till about 11:30 watching this game, and it was in the first half when they scored the goal. It was like insane that the ball just essentially stopped from the back kick or the pass back to the goalie. So we were definitely fortunate on that. And then we gave the goal in the second half. Then we watched extra time. Didn't know what was going to happen. The last kick of the game, they scored the PK to make it 2-2 to send it to penalty kicks, and then Alyssa Nair dominated. So it was fun. It was fun to watch. Obviously, Julie's not a part of the team now. We got a little boy, so it's fun around here this time of year. But I think we're still definitely vested in the U.S. women's national team.
Yeah, I'd assume there's a lot of pride, I'd assume, with that, like an alumni of a team. You know, you would obviously want it to continue to go. Are we still the best? I don't know. Well, no, we're the best, right? We're better than everybody?
I mean, that's the American motto, right? I mean, do we ever say it otherwise?
Amen.
Yeah. I was starting to think that maybe you were taking a low shot at us, but why not?
Yeah, we are the best.
Yeah, we are.
Never.
Our league,
That
too.
was all American pride.
MLS, best league in the world.
That's right.
Bar none.
You guys do the
best player in the world. Best player in the world in MLS. You know
Who
what I'm
voted
saying?
on it? Who voted on the best player? Not me.
No.
I didn't vote.
Me neither.
Did you vote on it?
Nope.
AJ?
Everyone else did.
Nope.
I don't think any American.
No, it's a World's Award.
Yeah, that's on the other side of the pond.
What's it called? The Balloon d'Or.
Balloon d'Or.
Yeah.
Go.
Oui. Balloon d'Or. Leo Messi. MLS.
In our league.
Wait, our league.
Bingo.
Luis Suarez.
Bingo.
Come
No
on.
big deal.
Oh my God. And our women obviously always been the best.
Yeah.
Do you know what these tournaments are though? They all seem to be made up, but we want to win all of them.
Yeah, man. I don't really know. I thought the Gold Cup was North America only, and then I think Brazil's on the other side playing Mexico. So I don't know who won the game, but so I don't really know where these tournaments are coming from these days. So.
Gumpy, what's going on?
It's a load of crap.
Why is it happening?
Yeah, like I said, they're just letting random teams enter these tournaments. Like the USA is hosting Copa America. They've never been in that tournament
Which is insane.
before.
Yeah.
They
It's
want
awesome,
to test they want to test their teams against the best teams.
What's
in the world.
Copa America? That's
Uruguay, Brazil,
South
Argentina.
America, yeah.
But
South and Central.
yeah, USA's in the group with Uruguay, so it should be a good test.
And Messi's playing for us.
Yes.
No, he's on Argentina.
No.
What?
No, he's
Yeah.
playing for
He's on our team.
That's
playing for
dumb.
us.
All right.
How's that work?
I don't
Good
know.
question. Ridiculous.
I don't know what the deal is. This is disgusting.
Messi and prolific.
I mean, when are they? I watched that documentary. Everything's corrupt over there.
It is.
Messi's on the American team.
Should
in our
be.
eyes.
Thought he was changing his name to Lou Messi.
Come on.
All right, Zach. Good luck with the Commanders, buddy.
Appreciate you guys. Always here for you if you ever need me. It's been fun.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, Zach Ertz.
Yeah.
So nobody knows. That guy's married to World Cup champion. They don't even
They don't
fully.
get it.
So nobody knows what's going on.
That makes me feel much better.
Yeah, me too. Gump, why is it like that?
I actually do not know.
So like growing up, like you just sign up to go to tournaments, you go to anyone you want if you know
Sounds like it.
were able to qualify or
This
anything.
all started with Qatar being in the CONCACAF that one year.
But they were in that because they were in the World Cup because they were hosting the World Cup, and the host always gets a team in the World Cup.
Yeah, so is this like the U.S. is now in the Copa America because they're
probably.
2026 World Cup?
Oh yeah, so USA and Mexico
Yeah.
don't have to qualify. So these other teams have to come in and qualify.
Canada, USA, and Mexico are all
Canada
in
as well.
2026.
Yeah, that counts.
They got each Mexico and Canada.
How is Canada's team? Pretty good.
We're better than we've been, but not that great. No.
Have they ever had a squad?
The
It's
best team we had was the last World Cup. First time we've been in the World Cup since '86.
The Canadian women's team, though, good, right?
They are not as good as they used to be either.
Oh, used to be very good though.
Yeah, way better than they are now.
Yeah, I'm sure they were. I mean, what are we talking about? The United States women has just been beating the fuck out of Canada for
Canada
years.
literally won the tournament. Like how
What?
many?
Which
Yeah,
tournament?
Which one?
Which tournament, Goom?
Was
That's
it the
what
World Cup or the Olympics?
The
You
Canadian
remember it?
Nations title.
Okay, well, let's talk about curling.
It
Then.
was
You
at
remember
the.
that?
It was literally at the old office. Don't act like they never won nothing.
I don't remember. I
Yeah,
really
you're
Yeah,
talking about
obvious. Of
curling.
course not.
I really
We beat
remember
you in
that.
curling. Remember?
We did.
Yeah,
What are you talking
one
about?
time the last
won a gold
200
medal.
years.
For what? Curling?
USA beat Canada in curling once last 200 years.
I didn't hear that. What you said at the end, it broke up. U.S. beat who in what?
There's Mike up below.
Oh my god.
So
Oh, what's that?
curling is your guys' sport. Curling.
We've been
Maddie
curling
Hamilton.
we've been curling for 6 months and we beat Canada.
That's
They've been doing
soccer.
200
Jared
That's
Allen.
soccer.
Jared Allen was
Yeah,
almost
that's the
shown to
shit.
beat
That's
It's
Canada.
literally women's soccer.
Still.
U.S. leads the all-time series, 53 wins, 7 draws, 4 losses in U.S. women's soccer versus Canada, and has won 6 of the last 7 meetings between the teams, including a 2-0 victory in the most recent matchup at the 2023 She Believes Cup. I haven't heard you mention that cup
Yeah.
one time.
That's
I haven't heard you mention that one
about,
time.
That's the most important one.
She Believes Cup.
Yeah, I don't think that's the
believe?
most important one. The World Cup.
Whoa!
The World Cup and the Olympics are the most important. Call Zach Ertz back and ask him. He would know.
Get that
The Olympic and the World Cup are more important than that.
She believes that we will win.
She believes that we will win.
Can you run the opening intro real quick, just so people are reminded about this
please.
program after what you just said about the She Believes Cup? Boom.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk.
Fuck.
If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Okay, perfect. That was Gumpy talking about the She Believes Cup, not any of us.
You can ask anybody who plays. That is the truth.
I play.
If it was the He Believes, could you imagine?
Oh yeah.
No, it would still be. It would still be the World Cup and the Euros.
Didn't
and the
that
Copa
one player
America.
on the U.S. women's team come up with the She Believes Cup?
Yeah, ask AJ. Ask AJ about that.
Yeah, AJ, who's the She Believes Cup?
I blacked out a long time ago.
What are you talking about? We just did the intro.
I'm just saying, there's so many. How many different tournaments can Gump talk about and act like he knows what he's talking?
He does.
He does.
I answer every question about it. What do you want?
They just ended the Caribou Cup.
The thing
But
is,
how do you keep track? How does anyone set a schedule when you're playing all like? Do these guys have a schedule like 6 months out? Do they know?
Because there's
what year they're playing
international
for?
breaks.
Okay,
Like you have your
what you're saying is it might as well be a different language. What
Well, you
you're saying
don't listen. You just keep talking instead of listening
Maybe
to what I'm
that
saying.
might be right. I told
you
you
ask
every time.
questions, then you don't listen to the answer.
well, in our defense, though, like it
International
feels like,
Cup's not an answer to me.
it feels like you withhold
International break.
information sometimes. We have to ask the question to get the answer, and it sounds like we have no idea what we need to be asking questions about. We just learned about the She Believes Cup. We've been talking about it for 6
bad
years.
guys. You just learned about it.
You're our
Well, you're supposed to teach us.
Yeah, you're supposed
You
to tell
are the
us.
one.
I've been talking about She Believes Cup for years. You never listen.
You've never mentioned the She
Listen to
Believes
this
Oh,
Cup.
I was talking about She Believes Cup years ago.
AJ, the international break is when players go back and play for their countries. So all the club teams kind of take a break. The international teams in the international breaks, they play in the Copa and the CONCACAF and the Europes and the everything else. Those tournaments are happening. Then like the Champions League and all that, the Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, the Super
Serie A.
like all those.
What's the best league? Where do you want to be playing?
MLS.
English Premier.
Yeah, that's layup.
Gump.
Boom.
Gump.
Top competition.
It's on top.
Number one.
MLS, number one.
Above Champions League.
These are all of those leagues where all the international players, because they're representing their countries, go and play for it, because
Bingo.
that is the NFL. You know, that's the.
How long is the international break? And is it always the same time?
International breaks always 2 weeks, and that's just for like qualifiers and stuff. So when you get to the summer and the domestic leagues are done, that's when the Euros are. That's when the World Cup is.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
That's why I don't bother.
What's that all about, Gump?
You tell me.
Ty just snored into
Yeah,
the microphone.
every time I say anything
He's had
about
2
the
cups of
fucking
coffee.
beautiful game,
He's awake.
that's what happened.
Me too.
Stupid
I
American.
nodded off. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
You had 2 cups of coffee
I
today.
know. I'm actually wired.
What? You just got a heavy breath there? Or
No, I fell asleep because we're talking about all this bullshit that is boring as hell.
What about the United States team? We're winning it all.
Well, yeah, I mean, duh. And MLS.
But
is the
what are we
best
winning?
league.
I don't know. We're not winning the CONCACAF anymore. We're winning the Copa.
We're winning trophies.
When are we playing
If
the Euros?
USA wins the Copa America,
That'd be
that
huge.
will be massive.
Forget about the titles of the tournaments. We're winning trophies. Okay, it doesn't matter what it's called. If there's a ball on the pitch, we're going out there and we're putting that ball in the net.
I agree. Last question from me, and I'm not happy about it. Messi's not playing for America.
I don't like
What are we
that.
doing here?
He's such a
I thought that was
joke.
part of the deal. That's why he came over
This
here.
is
to be-
corrupt FIFA. Just not letting
Olympics,
us,
everything.
not letting the guys play for our team that we should be having.
What's the deal? Isn't that guy like Miami now?
He is.
They're canceling spring break because he's down there.
Playing tonight.
Messi's mine.
This was a hell of a pass right here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Jordi Alba.
Oh,
So does
top left,
Messi just
Suarez.
is Messi either walking or sprinting when he plays soccer? It feels like
Or just standing. He does a lot of this, actually. He does a lot of, and from what I gathered from watching internet videos, his security guard is very happy when Messi chooses just to stand.
That's absurd.
Because he is sprinting the entire field to be the close. It's like I'll put the baby Mackenzie on the island in our kitchen or whatever, and like I'm walking the.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'm playing
Perimeter.
defense.
Yeah.
This guy's doing that for a full soccer field for Messi, just kind of chasing him alongside. But Messi is the most chill, I think, superstar I've ever seen. The guy that just dominates. Ruud van Nistelrooy used to chill and score goals as well. But Messi's everywhere. Yeah, that's his security guard.
Think of like the awareness you got to have to not run into people 50 times a game.
Well, and also, how about everybody that's at the game on the sidelines? Like, yeah, that's normal. That's Messi's guy. He's sprinting around.
So does this guy have a free pass? Like, hey, if someone comes on the field, I am taking the guy down and killing him.
This guy has like 275 confirmed kills. Yeah. Like no one is messing with this guy.
We don't know if that's confirmed, but we're just saying like that would feel like that's what that person would be.
I saw a photo of his face. You look in those eyes, a lot of kills.
He's got to be more fit than Messi because he's running further.
Yeah.
He's got to be a sicker fuck than boom.
Yeah, that guy's a dog.
Yeah.
That guy's an absolute beast.
He's smiling, but you can see it. His eyes aren't smiling.
Think about his cardio. That guy's never smoked anything in his life.
Nope.
Ever. Never smoked.
Just people.
That's right.
Well said.
Bad people.
Bad people, yes. Not good people.
Obviously for a good cause. For something good he was doing this.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Always.
Let's talk about something that happened in the football world that is disgusting. I thought we held in high regard rivalries and something meaning a little bit more maybe.
Of course.
Chicago Bears head coach sharing popcorn with Green Bay Packers head coach.
Excuse me?
Well,
We're sharing popcorn.
What?
Rivalry.
Add that to the list of things I are wrong with America when I talked to Sal earlier.
They're sharing popcorn at this Marquette. Look at
what?
They're having popcorn and cookies.
You can't say they're sharing it.
No, they are.
I'm guaranteeing that he put his left hand. Eberflus looks really cool, by the way.
He does. He looks fucking awesome.
I do have sources that he snagged that popcorn right out of his hands. That's mine now.
No, I don't think so. I think he took a hand.
And your eyebrows suck.
LaFleur did
eyebrows look good.
LaFleur did one of these. Hey, you want popcorn? And Eberflus said, yeah.
Yeah, he reached over.
Yeah. And then LaFleur did that. Nah, just fucking with you. No way.
Nah, he waited. It was just all kernels and bullshit at the bottom. Gotcha, bitch.
No, remember Packers Bears, big rivalry.
Yeah, except the Bears never fucking win. So how big of a rivalry is it?
Used to be.
LaFleur
His daughter's
just took
touring to school.
I get it. LaFleur just took a shot at the Bears like a week and a half ago when they got Sean Mannion to come on the staff. Apparently we have more to offer than the Bears do.
Oh, so you think Eberflus said, we're going to have a little sit down, okay? Don't be saying what you're saying. You think Eberflus potentially telling LaFleur? I heard what you said. Don't do that. Hey, you did.
I think he was probably just like, hey, don't make me look like a fucking asshole in front of my daughter, please. Okay, like she's here on a college visit. Like, just be cool. Like, hey, Matt, nice to see you. That'd be great.
What was Matt LaFleur there for? He's just a big Marquette fan.
It's
not too far from Green Bay.
Yeah. So
something to do.
Yeah.
I like your angle though. This is probably like when Tony went and met Johnny Sachs in New York, just a meeting of the family. Say, hey, if you don't deliver me your fucking cousin. Okay, I'm gonna kill your whole family.
Bring a shitstorm down on you have never fucking seen.
Yeah,
bingo.
I mean, maybe there's a chance that happened.
MCDC's not doing that shit.
No, yeah,
no chance.
That's why he's winning the division.
Yes, thank you.
He ain't going to Detroit Mercy games.
These two are playing for second.
I like that they got good camaraderie, good competitive banter.
Yeah, I could care less. Eberflus looks cool.
Very cool. LaFleur looks cool too.
He does.
Yeah.
If they got in a fight, it would really do a lot to juice up the rivalry.
It would.
That's what I'm saying. Right there, we get a little popcorn problem. Oh, that'd be great.
There is no rivalry.
There is a rivalry. Chicago.
We're in the same division.
AJ just saw Urlacher at the Super Bowl and spit in his face. I saw it.
Thank you for doing that. Yeah. Keeping rivalries alive.
I would not do that to the great Brian Urlacher.
Ever.
You know that. No.
I didn't see him. You guys saw him?
Well, we saw his guy.
But for the story and the rivalry.
I did see his guy.
His guy was on Theo Vaughn.
That's who that was?
Yes.
Chris
okay,
Brown.
so that showed up in my, because Theo Vaughn.
I talked to him at the Super Bowl.
I will watch a Theo Vaughn video if it pops up.
Oh, he's awesome.
I will watch it. Just how is this guy's brain going to go through this one?
Mm-hmm.
Excited to watch it. He was talking to somebody that looked familiar. That was Urlacher's guy. Okay, so I did see that. You saw Urlacher at Super Bowl?
No, I saw his guy and talked to him, the border guy.
Was Urlacher there? It didn't seem like...
I don't think he was.
He was there. He should have rode his bike up there. Didn't he ride his bike like 12,000 miles or something like that?
Every year, yeah.
Lives in Arizona.
From Arizona. He could have rode over.
What an animal.
Dog. I think did his kid just commit?
Yeah, to Notre Dame, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
All right. Congrats, young Urlacher.
I think.
Shout out Jackson.
Urlacher has gone into politics a little bit.
No.
Yeah, and he's hanging out with Border Patrol agents.
Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of, I heard Aaron was on a podcast today that came out and he talked about everything.
Aaron was on a podcast?
What?
Yeah, there was a tweet. I don't know what the podcast is, but there was a tweet of everything that he
Ronella?
talked about.
Was he talking about being an archer where he's wearing
I don't think so.
a
I'm just-
ghillie suit in the backyard in Malibu?
I saw the list. I'm just glad he decided to do it on there and not here.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you, Alex.
I only saw the one where he was talking about, play action to Jordy Nelson.
I did see that one.
That's all I saw.
What did he say?
He was just like,
recalling
God,
it.
It was so fucking sick throwing deep balls to Jordy Nelson, especially on
He was on with Eddie Bravo.
Did you just look that up that quick? Is that what you do?
I clicked.
over there?
I
Is that what
clicked on the
Roger's
thing in
doing over there when he got a little crazy eyes?
right now? No, when you said that, it made me wonder who. Well, yeah, if he went on with Eddie Bravo, Eddie Bravo is not scared to dive into conspiracies. Eddie's hilarious. Eddie's a big football
First
fan.
hour was all regular football talk. Then
NFL policy talk. The next 2 hours included mentions or discussions of the following: election fraud, the real Anthony Fauci.
I don't know what half those
germ
things
theory
are.
versus terrain theory.
I know.
The
I
Great
know all these
Awakening,
things.
U.S. border, weekend Bernie's, Joe Biden.
He's
Okay.
used that one before.
Operation Northwoods. We were in that fire.
Ooh,
Operation Paperclip.
That's fun.
Klaus Schwab. Of course, George Soros, Trump, New York City, fine. RFK, who's Rogers supporting, by the way.
Quote.
He was hiking. JFK assassination, Tartaria, Egyptology, Rockefeller influence on history and education. Of course, got to talk about
Really?
that.
Yeah. Touched it all.
Ancient
on.
giant trees.
Yeah, what?
Where'd they go?
Ancient giant.
AJ, you gonna listen to this?
Tesla, Library
Oh,
of
no.
Alexandria, and much. That's not the end.
Where did the ancient giant trees go?
Oh man,
I haven't heard the ancient giant trees combo in a while.
Yeah, I mean,
Can't wait to dive in.
I can't wait to listen.
that dude hits a hole in one, becomes a Olympian in archery.
Yep.
Bud.
Hikes a mountain with presidential candidate, and then goes on with Eddie Bravo and talks about everything that has ever been chatted about on the internet. And people were like, "How would you describe Aaron Rodgers?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of one, bro. One of one. I'm sure he's going to throw the football really well for the Jets next year, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're actually talking about
Are you
that.
surprised only 2 hours?
Of that?
Yeah, that's only 2
Yeah, I
hours.
don't know how you cover it. He must have just lumped a couple of those together. I don't know. And to be clear, a lot of those words were, I did not fully understand what they were, but boy, I like that they had titles.
Yeah.
You know, like I like that they were titles and that there were people that as soon as they heard that, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Listen to this.
Egyptology? Yeah.
Ancient giant trees.
Finally.
Wait until.
Don't people like other
Library of
podcasts
Alexandria?
do that? They put the times of each conversation.
Oh yeah, well, I think we have
Just the guess.
yeah, we have guests and stuff like that. Yeah, 3 hours is a long time though. Hey Aaron, I'll be excited to see when he's throwing. When do you think he's back?
I can't believe they got an hour. They did a full hour about football.
NFL policy talk. You heard that? That was probably.
Yeah.
We got to change this.
Has he gone to the
Listen to this. I wasn't allowed to go to a Halloween party.
Yep. Draconian rules.
It's bullshit.
Right. Said that a couple times.
I'm excited. But I did hear that he was in a ghillie suit in his backyard in Malibu.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he had his bow and arrow shooting
Whales.
down to the.
He's crawling around
Yeah.
No, I think he was just standing on like the corner
Yeah, in
of
like-
the top of his neck.
in the ghillie suit.
In
Yeah.
the ghillie suit, yeah, like this. That's what they
Could
said.
see him clearly, but
Neighbor was like, "Dude."
What are you doing?
Just
not
like how
using it right.
Tom
Aaron.
Brady used to always practice in a helmet and shoulder pads because that's what you play in. So Aaron
Aaron.
obviously in a ghillie suit all the time because that's what he's going to be
in.
playing it.
Yeah. He even had it all the way down his arm, obviously, and his hands were even painted.
Yep.
Hands were painted. Whole thing.
Face as well.
Okay.
He's probably, that does seem like something, the archery, whenever I saw it, like he would be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, pretty damn good.
That'd be
at
something
that.
that he would be probably incredible. I would assume he'd be very good at that particular thing.
Think he tried throwing the arrow first.
Let me see here. Let me see.
Javelin.
Hold on.
Shoot.
You remember when Rogan asked Elon if he could shoot an arrow at the Cybertruck? After Elon said a bullet couldn't go through, he goes, I bet I'd get an arrow through that thing. So they do that, and obviously it worked or whatever. I don't think it can turn really well or be utilized that efficiently, but if somebody's hunting you with an arrow, I think you're okay in that Cybertruck. Imagine Aaron going, hey, Elon, maybe I can throw one.
Probably throw one through here.
Hold on.
What a guy. That's your best friend.
It's amazing. I mean,
That's amazing.
that podcast's going to be fun to listen to, I think.
What a one of one. Like that needs to be whenever there's documentaries about him. I'm excited to hear people try to explain him, and who he is. It's like, you just put me in a box. Well, guess what? Andy Dufresne, I'm out of that box already. Yep. I'm in another box. I'm in this box. I'm in this box just because you said I'm not in this box.
Nice try.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Good to see you. All the time.
I'm in the box.
And he reads right? Isn't that like his hobby? His hobby is reading things. Like that is literally.
Oh, yeah. Very curious. Very curious.
And then he could jam on a guitar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just never ends with this guy.
He's gotten much better at the guitar.
What if he's hand-panned?
He was good. I think he's probably
absolutely hand-panned.
Hand-panned. Oh, yeah.
Jordan Poyer's wild, the release there. I mean, I guess we should have potentially seen it coming after what happened last year with the whole free agency thing. Mm-hmm. But, like, Mitch Morse, gone. Like, he's a staple up there.
That's brutal.
Tre'Davious White, gone.
Micah's a free agent. Like, he wasn't
Mike
cut, but Mike.
Did they ask any of them to take a cut, you think? Did they ask any other guys to take a pay cut?
I wonder. I don't know. I do wonder that.
I don't even know if that would help that much. Like, they did all that, and they're still over the cap.
Yeah, 8 teams still over the salary cap limit. They have to be under by next Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's going to be a lot of hard moves made in a lot of different teams, in a lot of cities. And this is when, if you got paid a big contract a couple of years ago, it's not necessarily the best time to have that. I remember the first time I went out to NFL Network to do NFL AM, which is the former morning show that was on NFL Network before Good Morning Football, but it was hosted in L.A. Call time 2 a.m. It was live 6 to 10 on Eastern Standard Time. So you just do some math there, 3 hours, 4 hours. You're doing that in L.A. They're doing that again, I think, with Good Morning Football.
Yes. Yep.
They're moving Good Morning Football back to L.A., which they're going to have access to phenomenal studios. That new NFL-owned studio setup outside of SoFi is beautiful, but those hours are going to be wild.
So Schrags and all them, my bad, they got to move.
That's what Brant said this morning, I guess, on Good Morning Football. We'd like to let them know, like, we appreciate your dedication there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But I went out there and that was like my first ever production meeting or whatever, and I forget what GMs. There's 2 ex-GMs in the room, and they were on NFL Network at the time. That kind of easy come, easy go. All of the people that used to work in the NFL were on NFL Network at some point, and they were just looking at basically how much somebody's being paid, and then they were just judging how their year was the year before. What's your first thought on this player? Didn't have that good of a year. Okay, gone. Like the way it was a cap casualty segment pretty much. And the way that they were talking about it as people that used to make these moves was like, damn, that was like an eye-opener to me. It's like, if you get paid the big money, at quarterback, obviously, they're going to have to live with it unless they decide not to,
right?
Like in Denver. But if you get paid big money at any position in comparison to every other player at your position, you need to live up to it, or you are the first one smoking out of town, even though just a year ago or 2 years ago, you were the most highly sought after person by the same exact organization. It's wild, but this is exactly what this week is all about pretty much, AJ.
Yeah, and players should have some kind of heads up or idea. If you have a big cap number about to hit the team and your team has to do some stuff to get under it, like, you shouldn't be shocked by it, I don't think.
At this stage. But whenever you're negotiating the deal, they're like, yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, that's a good deal. Give me that. And then you're a couple years in, and it's like, oh no.
Come on, chopping block.
I am dead. Yeah, I thought about that whenever I negotiated my deal because at punter, listen, we need to be wasting $8 on a punter here. Let's make sure if I have a couple bad games, I'm not just getting fucking cut immediately.
Right in the middle.
My salary cap. Let's go ahead and do that. That was a strategy. But so everybody that tries to break the bank and do it and have earned it and everything like that, unless you're like the guy, they're going to run you out of town quick, and that's a bummer.
Yeah, it sucks. And like the $8 million or whatever, we were talking about how many draft picks they have. They have 10 or 11 draft picks once they get the comp pick. How much money rather space do you need for all those picks?
Yeah, what is the number? Just because it's all slotted.
Yeah.
Not as much as it used to be, right?
Yeah, because it used to be able to be negotiated and moved.
Especially for them because they're bottom of each round.
How about Caleb Williams not using an agent?
Yeah.
He said he has lawyers and his family will help out, but like with the way the NFLPA and the NFL have agreed on the draft picks being slotted at a salary, it's like
pretty simple.
Saving
pay a lawyer hourly to do your deal.
Yeah, instead of the percentage. NFL agents are only allowed up to 3%. Those are negotiated down sometimes to 1.5%, 2%. But still, you get to save. It doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're talking about millions and millions of dollars, 1%, 2% kind of adds up over time.
Absolutely.
How about the 180 on Caleb?
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. Seemingly.
Yeah. Good for the league.
Great.
And he's going to the NFC, so I really don't care.
What the Commanders, like,
Yeah.
you're launching a team?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Kids from there?
They've done it before.
The Bears are taking him, aren't they?
That's what everybody's saying.
Unless they get a king's ransom.
They put up during the combine what a potential trade from 2 to 1 would look like.
Yep.
It was a lot. It was a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stuff. And that particular organization has done this in the past to move up to get a quarterback and paid for it for a bit. But if you're trying to build a brand and a team, hometown guy who is electrifying to watch play football, and seemingly every time he talks, people like him more. That's good for business as well. It's like, that's not a bad way to. I bet you there are some very hard discussions happening with the Commanders right now.
Yeah.
Now, I think Dan Orlovsky said after watching the film, Jaden is his guy.
Yep.
Over Caleb.
Number 1, yeah.
I think that's what Dan Orlovsky
That's
said.
what
On
he said.
Rich?
And
He
he
said
said-
on Rich. I think he said on Rich Eisen. We should call Orlovsky. He's golfing right now, right?
Yeah, Stream Song 36.
Just the last day?
Yeah.
Has to be.
so
How many
he
more
did have-
days can you just walk? What is that, 15 miles?
Yeah,
Probably.
At least. So he had Jaden as number 1?
I think so.
Yeah, he
I think
did.
I saw a clip
He did.
from him on Rich.
But he's going to drop to 3, so we don't have to worry about that.
No, he's going.
You guys are just hanging out waiting, huh?
He's going to drink.
Dano,
What's up, buddy?
congrats on finishing your golf trip. Way to go.
Hey, baby Dano.
Way to go, Dan.
Hey, it was a banger.
Did you expect to see that? man?
Holy shit.
What up, boys?
David Coonan. David Coonan.
Coonan, we're live.
Coonan, we are live right now. We are live on the air right now. Okay? You know that. We know that. Coonan, we are live.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coonan, you
Classic
should know that, Coonan.
Classic
Should know that, Coonan.
Dipshit.
Kind of in your world, Coonan. Dan, hey, we saw a clip on the internet. I think you were on Rich. Jaden above Caleb is your number 1 quarterback after watching the film. Is that accurate?
I would take Jaden 1, yes, over Caleb, yes.
Is that from film study, interview? What is it from?
I've never interviewed on him. That's just tape for me. Yep.
Okay, is there like for the Chicago Bears or for any team?
I would have as the number 1 quarterback, so whoever's taking 1 and taking quarterback, I would take him. So, yes, Chicago, I would take Jaden.
Will that change by draft time, you think, after like pro days and everything like that?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't get this chance to spend time one-on-one with those dudes, but I don't think so. I think Caleb's really good. I just think Jaden does stuff within the pocket better, more consistently, and I think he's a better natural thrower.
His highlights are absurd.
All right, safe travels home. Tell Coonan we said what's up.
Thanks, buddy. You're the best, man.
You're the best. See ya. So, and he can run. Like, not that Caleb can't. Not that I'm saying
He can
Caleb
run,
can
run.
It's a different. Yeah.
He'll run like. I wonder if he'll run.
Right here. This play right here. He's
an
right
skirt.
from everybody.
Skirt.
Mm-hmm.
Skirt.
Wait, he was the first player to throw for 300, run for 200 in a game?
Mm-hmm.
Again, it was this game.
It was
the
this game.
Florida
Yeah.
I mean,
New England, baby.
Dan Orlovsky's saying New England. What's that? 3?
What's his dims?
He looks tall, right? Doesn't he?
I think he got measured at the combine. Let me look.
Yeah, I thought he was the.
Look at that, dude. That's, in the new NFL.
Can't teach
Looks
that.
like fun.
Yeah, the ability to be able to do that is welcomed a lot more. Now, granted, can't take hits. I assume he's smart about that. Dan Orlovsky, after watching film, says in the pocket he does better stuff. Not even like this stuff. In the pocket.
He did not get measured at the combine.
Yeah, I was going to say he also took a lot of big shots.
And
there's a play where he tries to like jump over a D lineman and he gets fucking drilled.
It's good. Goes to his toughness.
Exactly.
Yeah,
he had Neighbors,
against-
right? Who
against-
people are saying is the number 1.
Neighbors and Brian Thomas are both going to be first rounders probably, but he got drilled. We were the Alabama game we were watching right here. He got drilled by what's his name? Who's going to be a first rounder for Bama?
DJ
Dallas Turner.
Dallas Turner. There it is.
And he came in one play later. Like he's a tough son of a bitch.
Yeah, the NFL though.
No, I know.
You're gonna have to not take those. I'm pumped for that. That's a whole nother storyline here because Dan's gonna be put on TV.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I asked him if he's gonna change. He said, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that's gonna get loud then, especially around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like 2 days before draft day.
Yep.
It's gonna heat up.
Yeah, and also another quarterback guy, Chris Sims has Drake May as the worst quarterback. He's 6th overall.
Under Penix.
Under Penix, under Bo Nix, under J.J. McCarthy.
He's got tiers. He has Caleb and Jaden up top.
Caleb's his own tier.
Sorry.
Then below that tier is Jaden.
And then J.J., Bo Nix, and Penix, and then Drake May.
JJ above him, too.
Mm-hmm.
How about that? Lewis Riddick said he was hearing that JJ could sneak into the top 5, especially with what people were saying about his meeting and all that
They
stuff.
have both the Vikings and the Broncos potentially taking JJ.
How about Drake? He should have threw.
He should have.
Yep.
Should have thrown.
1,000%.
Should have thrown. Like when everybody else did. Now, granted, it doesn't matter. None of this matters.
Nope.
No.
Okay, none of the fodder seemingly matters, especially whenever it comes draft night to the decision makers, even though they might be thinking the same thing we're thinking. They could be completely different. But it's like, just throw. Like, what do we... He had the opportunity, too, because the other two declared early that they weren't going to. Jaden and Caleb declared early they weren't going to throw. So he goes, oh, yeah, I am going to throw. It's like, all right, here we go.
He's going to end up in New England.
Drake?
Yeah.
At 3.
For sure.
And you will be pumped about that.
I'll
depending upon how he plays.
I'll be hopeful, yeah. I mean, again, it's like, hey, I'll be very pumped, and I'll act like we won the Super Bowl, but, I mean, you don't know for so long. For so fucking long. Look what happened with Trevor Lawrence. It was an entire year of 2-14, with like a 2-15.
Yeah.
Like, and then
anybody be patient enough.
Exactly.
Well, now everyone's going to expect, if you get a guy in the top 5, to come in and do what C.J. Stroud did last year, too.
And C.J. Stroud throwing at last year's combine was very fresh on my mind whenever I was learning about all these people not throwing.
Yeah.
And then C.J. has the best rookie year in the history of rookie quarterbacking. It's like, if you could spin it, just go spin it.
Yeah.
Like, C.J. proved that it does not matter. But I guess if there's a lot of question marks, you want to be in a much more controlled environment for your business at stake. Drake May is beloved by his teammates. He's very loyal to North Carolina, which I think is a good trait to have as your starting quarterback. He can throw great balls. It's like
what D-Butt said about him and his family.
Yeah, they talk shit. Very competitive family. He's big. It's like all the upside. Like all it takes is one person to be like, yeah, I like this guy.
Well,
that's all it takes in the draft. And we talk about in theory and measurements and all that. All it takes is one fucking human being like, nope, I like this one better than the other one. That's what we're doing. And then who knows? But he has it all, seemingly.
Yeah.
And him not throwing, though, made me think, like, does he dot his arm? And it's like people that are around him are like, no, this guy can spin it.
Well, that's
Someone
why it's
told
like,
him not to.
yeah, who around him said, hey, no matter
his
what.
agent or whatever said it probably said, hey, well, there's not like the risk reward isn't worth it.
Caleb's not throwing. Jaden's not throwing.
Which is exactly why you should throw.
Bingo.
Well, that's what some people would say.
Yeah.
An agent said, just wait till the pro day. Then we're hearing pro days now are just
fugazi.
Big song and dance. It's like almost just another combine, like another.
It's a scripted like 30 throws from whoever your guru is.
It's basically a show. It's like a show, which is good, I guess, if you're,
Anyone going to wear shoulder pads and a helmet like old Johnny Football did back in the day?
That'd be awesome.
Hey, he's been telling his stories a lot more.
Yep.
Feels like Johnny's feeling better about it, like the human he is, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel like that? Congrats. I hope you're happy, Johnny.
Baby John.
You gave us years of entertainment, Johnny. You gave us years of entertainment.
Great.
Obviously.
Did that bar open up? Remember he had a bar opening up.
Shop bar.
Yeah. Yep.
What's that? What is a shop bar again?
I don't remember.
I thought it was like a bunch of, like they have a bunch of different type of shots, and it's right on the corner in College Station.
But how is that different from a regular bar who also has a bunch of different kind of shots?
Is it Johnny Football's? Is it Johnny Football's bar, or is it not?
Yeah, but he told us it's a shot bar.
Like that's a type of bar, which I'm not familiar with.
It's like live betting and lightning bets. I'm not sure if you recall that whole situation. It's kind of similar.
What's that? We're just saying the same thing?
Yeah, except one of them is much cooler because it is that type of bar.
A shop bar does sound cool, but so you have better bartenders, mixologists, so they know more things they can make?
I don't
sure.
What is a shop bar, AJ?
Shots are usually straight. Well, they're not.
No.
No, they can do cool concoctions and shit. You ever seen Bar
I
Rescue?
was thinking it was like, Kilroy's downtown in Bloomington, they got that big wall of all those drinks. There's like 100 different
The Long
combinations.
Islands.
Yeah, stuff like that's what I assumed it was.
Yeah,
when I
me
heard
too.
it.
So full bar.
Full bar, but
See, in my head, it was like 6 feet deep.
Kind of small.
Like a sub shop.
Sure. Yeah.
Almost.
Like a pop up. like a pop-up bar almost.
This is not his, but this
Maybe
is
it's a part of a building.
I googled shop bar, and this one says like over 150 shots and drinks. So maybe they say like, hey, we make a lot. Of
And he said it's like outside, like they have a massive patio, is how he described it. So it might be like that, where it is a small little
the
little
shop
bar, like a sub shop, and then outside is where the party is.
Huh.
We're gonna find out.
He spoke as if we should know what it is, though, so it might be a regional thing. You know,
Must be.
That's what I was thinking it was.
Yeah,
They
maybe,
just call it something different.
like some people in the South say theater.
True.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe it's like shot,
Pop
like
and soda. It's like
yeah,
that.
it's pop, but yeah,
It's
there's
pop.
people
Definitely
that
pop.
say
It is
soda.
absolutely
Could
pop.
you imagine?
Absolutely.
If it was a shop bar, like you had to walk in with your gun and fucking
You got to shoot a target.
just shoot somebody to
That'd
get
be
in.
It might. It might be.
Jack Carr walks in. I want to get around for the bar.
Shoots every single target. Reload.
Yeah, everybody's getting a drink in here. Jack Carr's in town.
Miss you, Jack.
Love you, Jack.
Love you,
Thank you,
Jack.
Thank you, Jack Carr. Save the world.
Thank you, Jack Carr.
There's another season, right? Of
Yeah.
Has to remember he had to put the pen down.
Yeah. It's actually a prequel series.
Yeah,
Is the one
it's
that's coming out
different.
first.
Someone just joined.
Is Chris Pratt going to be in it?
Yes.
Partially.
I do appreciate that Jack Carr understood the assignment whenever he killed Arthur I. Fischel, and he knew what was potentially at stake. One of the most significant sniper shots I've ever taken. This man's done a few Thors.
He gets it.
He knows.
He knows. I mean, there was no one shot on that tour that was going to save the world
More.
than that one.
How about the story behind that gun up there? Bent.
Yeah,
It was like a state fair.
Tim
type-
and Bill.
And then he goes 2 times into a target.
Yep. All right, I got
All
it.
right, I got it. Let me go away. I think he bent the bullet around the Thunderdome
he did.
and literally hit Artie Fischel.
Right in the temple.
First one.
Boom. Afterwards, after he saved the world, we got a chance to catch up with him a little bit. And he said, "Was that good?" It's like, duh. Yeah, Jack Carr.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Come on, Jack Carr.
There's like, that was just like a next level experience watching one of these snipers operate one of these. You know what I mean? It was wild, AJ, because I shot it and it was like nowhere near. Like you go to State Fair, they say knock out the star here, and then they got so your first 10 shots are nowhere near it because, and then you gotta get it in. There's never enough to really do it. It's like a gimmicked barrel or whatever. These things aren't, especially airsoft guns that you're just buying at Dick's or whatever, which was the only thing he had available.
Yeah, true.
To save the world, obviously.
Yep.
It's like that thing is not like the most accurate.
No.
Just
Yeah. I'll make it accurate.
we just so happen to have a camera zoomed in just on that part. Hey, if you could land this in a 10-inch by 10-inch spot from an elevated position, that would be perfect. That's what's going. You're going to save the world. You do this, Jack. No problem.
I got it.
Not my first
Aiming
time.
at this basketball hoop over here. Just
Got him.
amazing. This for Jack Carr. Oh no, Jack, that was not for you.
All right, this one is.
This one.
Oh no, Jack. That was not for Jack.
This
Carr.
one is.
This one.
Yeah.
This one's for Jack.
Yahtzee.
Yep.
All right, Jack, we'll shoot for you tomorrow, bud.
Yep.
Thank you for shooting for us, though.
That's right.
Yes.
All right, let's get out of here. Tomorrow's a good one.
Oh,
Huge
God.
one.
Are you
Kidding me?
Feel Good Friday?
Oh,
Come on.
have you heard about tomorrow's show yet?
I
You
heard
haven't,
some
have you?
whispers, but I haven't heard the whole pie.
Oh,
No.
boy.
AJ, has it made its way to Ohio? What's happening tomorrow on this program?
It has not. Can you tell me?
Oh,
Come on, you're gonna have to experience it.
Yep.
Yeah. You're going to shit your pants.
Yeah.
I talked to the CEO of PBR last night.
But what would
Yeah,
you say?
that's right.
I talked to the CEO of PBR last
Do you
night.
agree with our thoughts?
Uh-oh.
Sean Gleason, I think he's running a good league.
Yes, he is.
I think he's running a good league. Okay.
Here we go.
Safety glasses, obviously. He's not, in this. I don't think that's not the photo I saw of him on Twitter, but I do appreciate that this is the one that was found of him. Guy's a dog.
I think he sent this picture for Todd.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, safety glasses is one thing. Wearing a helmet's another thing entirely.
Born after, what is it, October 20th, 1994. You got it.
Yeah, we learned from PBR Buckle, which is a PBR blog, I believe.
Correct.
that if you're born post 1995 or 94, October 15th or something like that, you have to wear a helmet. It's rules.
Makes sense because I'm not born post 94, 95, so that's not my PBR.
And also, the Bulls, we just immediately echoed amongst our conversation about the treatment of the Bulls and what's potentially going on with the other Bull.
Of course.
That's not real, I guess, in the PBR. Maybe other places.
Sure.
But in PBR, they got this thing called a flank strap, I guess, and it's wrapped around, like, I don't know, rib, hip of Bull. It's a cotton thing. I learned this last night. It was actually kind of interesting. I did not know this was the case. It's tight enough to be felt, but loose enough for the Bull to think that it can kick it off.
Sure.
So the Bull is attempting to get that fucking thing. That is
makes sense.
That is what the Bull is. That's why. Now, granted, there is some. I assume there's some hyping or whatever, but like that thing in the back right there. That's a flank strap. We'll have the CEO Sean Gleason on at some point to explain this more. But I didn't know that was the case. Everything that I'd heard about it is we got spurs, we got this, we got that. These Bulls actually like born and bred to buck. Like put this thing on as like they are training to be these Bulls in the PBR. I did get some potential worrisome news about the Bull we saw jumping.
Yeah.
They did not think that was an American Bull. They think that Bull is potentially...
It was a Mexican Bull.
Mexico Bull.
But they're thinking it's potentially...
yeah, Tony had
around
it for lunch.
He's going. He travels around to like circuses or what?
Nah, I don't think he's traveling much anymore, except for like hamburger buns.
Yeah, he's traveling through people's butthole.
Yeah. This particular Bull
I disagree.
is one of the greatest freak athletes that we have ever created on this here rock floating through the sky. He is nowhere near done, this Bull.
No.
You think, wow, that's got to be it. Got the guy off. Got him off real good, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Easy,
Got him off real hard. Now, he's doing a celebration jump now. Maybe a couple of them.
Clicking the heels.
See ya. Look at this fucking Bull.
Look at that. So explosive.
The power.
Oh.
Raw.
Kick old buddy right in the face.
Power.
Oh. Still going,
He
still
almost
celebrating.
Flipped himself.
I wonder why they don't just take big old dumps on everybody while they're jumping around.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, it's had to happen.
Like right there. Well, you know, just...
They're so riled up and pissed.
Wow.
That Bull might be dead.
Yeah.
Definitely dead.
Might be dead.
No chance. You don't kill a bull like that.
In
They
Mexico?
did, I think they did.
In Mexico, Tony?
That was not a PBR Bull.
Nope. They take care of their bulls.
The PBR Bulls are rock stars of the show.
I'm sorry. Have you seen John Cena's adaptation of
Ferdinand?
Okay, those bulls are celebrated.
I love that Bull.
Yeah,
it's a good movie.
That was a great movie.
and they go down in history.
Is that animated?
Yes.
it was great.
First time I saw John Cena. First time ever. I had just got back from a vacation where I watched Ferdinand on the plane. First, no John Cena, obviously. John Cena's obvious. John Cena. I'm standing in Gorilla, about to go out for an NXT thing, and he walks in, and John Cena's doing the John Cena. He's introducing himself to her. We know who you are. You know, same thing as like Peyton Manning did.
Yeah.
And he goes, John Cena, I go, Pat McAfee, Ferdinand was awesome. He goes, okay, and then he just walks by. I thought I had to be the first person ever to say that.
Definitely.
Like everything that had to be the
Definitely.
first. That's a good movie.
Great movie.
Very good.
Oh, a little sad in there too.
Yeah.
Really tugs at the heartstrings.
It does.
You're like 40,000 feet. You got this fucking bull heart situation.
He voices a bull or what?
Yeah, Peyton I think's in it too.
He is. My daughter just started falling in love with the Minions and Despicable Me movies. Those are incredible movies as well.
Yeah, adults enjoy those movies.
Yeah.
I'm pretty bummed.
Steve Carell. They appeal to the older people.
Watched Toy Story again last night. That holds up.
Yeah.
Oh, one?
Yeah, the original.
Pixar also does that because they know they're for kids, so they get those, adult jokes in there too.
Well, I've heard about those.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard about.
I'm not talking about the dongs.
This one's
Ferdinand.
For Ferdinand.
This one's for Ferdinand.
Okay.
Ferdinand. Yeah.
Of course.
Boom.
Of
We knew that was
always had to be.
Ferdinand died, right?
Nope.
Shut.
Everything dies at some point, but the life that lived was great.
Amen.
The life that was lived was great. Rest in peace, Ferdinand.
Love you, Ferdinand.
Maybe.
Ferdinand might still be alive.
Yeah.
very
He
possible.
lives on in us.
If he is living, he's living well.
There we go.
That was Peyton Manning or that was Ferdinand? I can't remember.
To be clear, I got to see the full body to know who's who.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I don't recognize.
That's one of the
They
one
did
of the
Payton's
bulls.
bull kind of wrong.
Oh yeah, you're right. Skinny and kind of looks like a goat.
This leads me back to that bison up there in Buffalo at that new stadium.
Yep.
Let's get it right.
Make them bigger.
I did appreciate the artist's take that it won't be defined enough if we make it too big.
That was quite a bill of goods from old Sal Capaccio.
I got a text. I think it was from your father.
My dad?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know if it was his old number or his new number or not. So it was a 317 number.
Oh, I forgot to check that.
And the information that he gave me.
What happened?
What did he say?
Your dad got a new number, right?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, anyways, there's a 317 number, and I assumed only he could have this information. And he said the rigging around the stage is 18 feet.
The what?
The rigging around the stage is 18
Oh, the black,
feet.
the. Okay, let's see.
So that's a 16.
It's big.
It's not big enough.
Not big enough.
Think about
Definitely.
you're doing this.
Think about
You're outside a stadium. though.
Yeah, think about how big like the Vegas stadium is. That's
Yeah,
what-
but you're doing this. That's what you're doing. You're doing
Yeah,
this.
it's supposed to be
pretty
like,
big.
hey, this thing is crazy big. This
Well,
is
you want to
huge.
do
Let's
that
take a
6
picture.
miles away.
Look, listen. You just.
I want it bigger.
Will it be that big compared to the parking spots and tents is my worry.
Definitely not.
Because if it's that tall and it's really long, that thing's going to be huge.
It's not going to be really long.
They told you not to worry. We got the parking spots. We got the big fucking bison. Please.
I'm just worried I'm not going to be able to see the 8th chin underneath this fucking bison because the detail.
No detail.
That's what I'm worried about.
Maine. I don't know how many chins.
Who
Kid's gonna be
knows?
3 feet tall, but have a lot of great detail and emotion.
Yeah. Thanks, artist. Make it big, construction people. Tell the artist what he wants to hear. Build that motherfucker.
Oh, you're
so
saying
high.
that the contractor and the construction workers should do what's right here.
Okay.
Order extra.
Oh, the detail.
Hey, who makes the call though on how they craft the dong and ball situation?
Josh Allen.
Somebody has to say either we put it on there to make it realistic, or we just don't even do it.
I think Sal actually.
It could be Capaccio.
I think Sal Capaccio does it.
Okay, good. I'm glad. He'll make
modeling
the right
for it.
It was actually measured. That's the most amount of snow that they've ever had.
Yep.
That's the amount of snow that they've ever had is up to where his dong was.
Yep.
Because they never wanted it to be covered by a snowstorm.
Mm-hmm.
So, Sal Capaccio, what a legend. He came in here, he was selling that new place.
Oh, yeah.
I got a virtual tour of this thing.
Yep.
The parking spots really stole the day for me. Those better be fucking good.
That animation or that
not
representation did not clear it up for me.
No, it's the.
Call Sal back.
We'll see.
Call Sal back.
It's probably drumming. It's probably practicing.
Should we listen to the voice in the animation or when it's explaining the parking lot?
No, we should get to the parking lot in the video and we should say, Sal, is this what you saw?
I fear Sal's a little biased because I'll tell you what,
Sal is
all
not.
he said was people are really happy what Von Miller did. I haven't seen that once, actually, on the internet. Actually, he was trending yesterday, Von Miller, and I did not see that one time. Like, man, shout out Von Miller.
Is Sal on? Sal Capaccio, friend of the program.
What's up?
Sal.
There.
Sal, you were fantastic, okay? Full microphone. You were fantastic earlier today. And as we're wrapping up the show, we wanted to visit something you said. You talked about the parking spots being bigger because they're thinking about tailgating. And we loved it. I loved that.
Yeah.
We watched the video again, and I think we could pull it up. We watched this video again. The parking spot, Sal, it looks smaller than the Lucas Oil Stadium parking spots in the video. So we want to know if you saw something different than what we were shown in the middle of this video. Here, we're running it right now. Obviously, it's the artist. Let's fast forward a little bit.
Parking spot. That's a field goal post.
Baby goal post.
Let's get to the parking lot. That's great. Oh, up,
There it
boom.
is.
Oh,
Boom, boom.
Whoa, you see those tents?
That's taking up 2 spots.
Listen. I will tell you, I don't know exactly what spot of the area that is. The stadium hasn't been built yet. We have people, myself included, that have had a stadium experience tour, and I'm just telling you what we've been told. And this is happening in some way, shape, or form somewhere over there.
Sal.
Just shoot it straight.
Basic ass car right here.
Yep.
Basic ass. That's tight.
That's very tight.
My truck ain't fitting in there. I got an electric vehicle. I'm saving the world.
Well,
It's big. It ain't gonna. And then this, two. Did you see something we didn't, Sal?
Be honest.
Please tell us.
Wait. Wasn't what I was seen. It's what I was told.
They lied. Okay. All right. So we have faith that the people that we're talking know, though, that we're going to have some big-ass parking spots.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, they're actually the Stadium Experience Tour, which is what you're watching the video from, and people can go through the season tickets, the club holders. That's actually going to be starting soon, where they're going to send out letters. If you're a club holder, come on in. We're going to explain everything to you, season ticket holder. And I got a chance to walk through there, and that's what they did and told us.
It's a sidewalk. Okay. That's not good. This is not drawn to scale.
Are we worried?
This is not drawn to scale. All right, Sal, we appreciate you. That's our big high hopes. We're turning our attention away from the Bison.
Yep.
Because this is 18 feet here, we're being told. So is 16 feet that's pretty big. If it's going to be that big, sweet. But the parking spot thing is the whole, that's the balancing act there. Like, parking spot's genius. That's very smart. And then we watch that video and we don't see it. So we're just going to take your word for it. We're pumped about it. We are pumped about it, right?
I promise I'm not lying to you. It's coming, boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sal Capaccio.
You got it.
That's a great way to end today.
Thank you, Sal.
Sure, Sal would never lie to us.
No, he wouldn't.
I completely agree. He was just told this. Are we sure someone is
no one's
just
lying to Sal? He's a respected member of that community.
Absolutely, absolutely. But Buffalo's kind of in like a, hey, we need some good PR here. Tell them the detail on these spots are perfect.
There it is. Yep, universe ball.
Spots will be better.
This is the most important universe ball you've ever shot
for Buffalo.
Yeah,
I was going to say bigger than Jim Irsay.
Yeah, I would argue yes.
How about him?
Yeah, that was.
That was a big thing.
Oh, man. Who would have thought? Buffalo's
Damn
fucking
shame,
lying.
Buffalo.
Get your shovels, bitch. Gonna need you this year.
No, they're going to have big spots. That was a
Canopy
bad
doesn't
shot.
close.
Slipped out of my hand. The universe didn't know.
Well,
it's just, I feel bad for Buffalo.
Let's get out of here. We appreciate you all for watching. AJ, great work today, pal. You killed it.
Boy Hawker.
Baby Franker.
Big thanks to Mark Schlereth and Fuji for joining us from the gym.
Yep.
Big thanks to Zach Ertz coming and talking a little soccer.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zach.
His nipples are always hard. It is a medical condition, we were told by Mark Schlereth.
Okay.
That's
Good enough.
He says that. He said that.
Sources
That's
close
a
to
lie.
Mark Schlereth have told us. Chip Kelly, thanks for taking the time.
Thank you, Chip.
Sal Capaccio twice.
Thank you, Sal.
Thanks, Sal.
Appreciate you, Sal.
And we'll see you all tomorrow. You're the greatest people on earth. Thank you for allowing us to do this for a living. Be a friend. Oh, we got F1 today.
We
Thank
did
you,
get
man.
F1.
Thank you.
We got effed.
We got F1'd. It was a good 15 minutes, though.
Who won?
I was Ruud van Verstappen.
Yep.
Ruud van Verstappen.
RVR.
How about them coming right out of F1 and I'm frozen?
That's the best.
I enjoyed that. I would have done that for 10 minutes if.
Oh man, that would have been
Oh,
awesome.
it's so good.
Oh yes.
Next time.
People panicking behind the scenes, calling people.
Wait.
I got too excited. Like in my head while I was frozen, because we didn't find out until we were told we weren't on air that it was happening. In my head while I was frozen, I was like, I'm gonna do this for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought to myself, wait a second, we're an F1 wrap-up show right now.
Yeah.
And I got real excited.
Yep, gotta discuss it.
Here we are. We
do
are an
this.
F1 wrap-up show. We need to make sure we handle this properly, professionally, because there's a lot on the line out there at that track they were racing on.
Obviously.
There is.
A lot on the line.
Racing. They are racing each other.
They are, aren't they? They're
Yes,
racing the clock, they're racing each other, and they're racing life, aren't they?
Absolutely.
That's what happens every time you strap yourself to one of those rockets flying around single file order in tracks around the world.
Exactly.
Correct.
With Mr. Vanderstappen at the top.
Yep.
Just leading the way. He's the head of snake.
He is.
Yes.
You guys have been doing a great job against him. Way to go. Let's get out of here. Ladies, just tell me how many people are watching. We need to get out of here. Too many. You need to be doing different stuff with your life, but we appreciate the fact you allow us into yours. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. That's for real. Go ahead and say something nice to somebody. We're in this thing together. Team on me. Team on three. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a good one.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.